Mineski going to be taking the stage. When you look at their season, at times you could say it was a little bit rocky, but they can definitely make up for it here. It's not going to be an easy matchup. They need to take down the powerhouse lineup of Secret. But hey, a rocky season doesn't mean anything if you get that powerful finish. You can wash it all away and actually manage to move forward here in this elimination series. I mean, how good would that feel after having the Rocky series as well? But now we need to look at their competition in Secret. And taking the stage right now, we have Team Secret. They had already a tough road in this competition. In a lower bracket matchup, they had to go against, or in that upper bracket matchup, they had to go against some very tough competition. Now, into the lower side of the bracket, facing elimination much earlier than we would have expected. It is going to be Secret taking the stage. Puppey going to be leading this team out onto the stage and also going to be that strong leader in the game. What do you think they're going to be able to do in this series, Lacoste?
Team Secret definitely a better team overall throughout the season. They showed better performance, but once you come to TI, it does not matter. Mineski, I think they're the second best performing team of the underdogs. Infamous, definitely the first one, and Mineski, they were just one win away from the upper bracket.
This to me is reminiscent of the TI7 EG run, which ended with a 2-0 in the lower bracket when they lost to Team Empire. You've got one squad, underdog, limited expectations. Like, I hung out with Boogie and Potato for like the first couple days of the group stage. They were memeing about, you know, hey, we just don't want to be last, you know? As long as we can play at the main event, we're fine. So they're coming in, they're just going to play some dodes and have a good time. Secret, they're the ones actually feeling the pressure. They're supposed to win, right?
It's so funny when you actually look at how everything does start shaping up with this TI in particular. I feel like this matchup is such a microcosm for the overall story. You have so many of the underdog teams going into teams that have the potential to be two-time champs, which has never been done before in history, and that's really the story of this one.
Yeah, I mean, Secret have a long way to go finding themselves in the lower bracket for Puppey to be a repeat champion, but it is a possibility. And for me, Secret, as much as the talk around them is often they underperform at TI, they're not VP. They're not a team that completely crumbles and has this internal instability and chaos and teammates who, you know, maybe aren't getting along too well. Secret team is just so much better right now.
Yeah, and you remember they were the one team, like the lower bracket, that could take a game off of Liquid. They were the last Western team outside of Liquid in that TI7 tournament, and you can argue that they didn't have nearly the same amount of talent. This is a squad that expects to win. And what the cool thing about this specific series is these are like sister teams. Secret threw a party yesterday to launch a new beer that they just created, and Kenshi and Oren and a bunch of the Mineski staff were there. You know, it's they train together. They're scrim partners. Like, this is a very comfortable matchup, which to me just leads me to favor Mineski even more because
of the beer.
What? No.
It sounds like I mean, if he's saying Mineski's favored to win this series, then yeah, I think it's the beer, Lacoste.
Look, Kyle, how was that party?
Were you at the party? Yeah.
I made an appearance. You know, I had to see. It's Secret. It's quite good.
Doing research.
Yeah.
Man, for research purposes only.
Raging Potato, his secret ingredient. Every night he's got to have a Long Island iced tea, and that's like what gives him that comfort. And he definitely had one yesterday, so he's going to be in a good headspace. This man right here, Ninja Boogie,
I've never heard good headspace and Long Island iced tea in the same sentence, but Kyle always bringing first to the panel. But it is true, right? I think one of the first things, because we actually talked about this on our ride over, and you were kind of talking about the fact that there is a relationship between these two teams, and you kind of did use that term, they're sister teams in a way. I want to go back, though, to the idea of comfort, because we saw them. I know you can't base everything off of looks. I've been told that quite a few times, but when we look at these guys inside of the booth right now, when we're looking at Secret, I mean, we saw Puppey, the first thing he's doing is laughing when he's sitting down here. It doesn't seem like they're feeling any of that pressure, especially when Kyle just said he favors Mineski in this series.
Puppey just he does not care. I mean, he's been to a lot of the tournaments, pretty much every single major throughout the season, and one thing I love about Puppy is that he says it's my way or the highway.
Yep.
It's how it is, actually. When you hear them talking to some of his teammates, and this is the thing that I like about him, but it can also be a double-edged sword because they can be the victims of their draft as well. Because he's so stubborn, he's going to pick a lot of the same stuff, even if it's not working. I'm the guy who's going to make it work.
Yeah, I remember there's a story about we had a talent sitting on a scrim that 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And there was a point during the draft, like Midwin was memeing around, and Puppy was just like, shh, talk, I'm thinking. Everyone's quiet, he's into the draft. Like, this is very much his team, his baby. And I agree, if both teams play their highest level of Dota, Secret would take it, but it's TI. This is not the same. And I gotta think, like, Secret, where their confidence at Epicenter, they finished last. This is not the same team necessarily.
There are a lot of truths in what you're saying right now, but the wide truth is the fact that this isn't just a regular tournament. Like, this is TI. That's a big true W there. But I do want to kind of continue talking about Puppy and the leadership style, because when you talk about all the different leadership styles, right, I think the most important thing, which they definitely do have, you bring up the potential weaknesses to any leadership style. There's going to be weaknesses. But if you have a squad that rallies completely behind that, that is the leadership style, and everybody is going to be able to either contribute in the way they need to contribute, or on the opposite end, follow when they need to follow, I feel like that's a really big plus.
Yeah, and Dota is so unlike any other professional sport or even esport where you're often building a team around a star player, that superstar. You're LeBron James. Dota, you build around the star captains. They're not the star player in games, but it's such a strategic team game that it's the Puppies, the Kuros, the Zhao Wei's, these captains who are the guys you build a team around.
ROTK's nickname is Iron Fist. Zhao Wei is the director. You know what PPD's reputation is. We've got to know Kuro through the interviews. Like, the best teams often have a leader that is in charge, and that there's a lot of good and there's a lot of bad. It's definitely a tough job. It's much easier to sit in this chair, let me tell you.
If we need a nickname for Puppy, what would it be, Kyle?
Top dog, obviously.
Top dog? Makes a lot of sense.
Kyle had been thinking about that one. He was
It's off the cuff, baby. Come on. I'm working with
dog.
you all week. It starts to rub off a little.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm going to take that as a compliment due to my incredibly strict leadership style. I do want to kind of continue to talk though about Secret, because we talk about the fact that yes, they're going to be comfortable here, but it's not like Puppy hasn't had his own dark period, right? Like, there was that dark era. For anybody who hasn't necessarily been following as long, God's really, what has his journey been in professional Dota and TIs in particular?
I mean, TI, the results just haven't been there. They started, TI5. Secret came in as the heavy favorites. They were the team everyone looked at. That was when Ortiz was on the squad, as well as S4. That was the team that was meant to win it all. They won every tournament leading up. They fell short. And for Secret, the expectations have always been high, and they just haven't quite fulfilled it at TI.
Yeah, and now on the side of Mineski, when we talk about that potential underdog performance, what would we need to see from them to be able to take down Secret?
Well, they definitely could pull off something cheesy against Team Secret, but Team Secret is the team that will punish small mistakes. They're going to transition that into objectives, and
we're going to need to see if they're going to be able to do that. Who's going to take this elimination series? It's getting started right now.
Team Secret versus Mineski. Game 1.
Team Secret, the DPC points champion and multiple-time major winners, came into this tournament on a roll, whirling off 10 straight wins in their first 10 matches, only 7 wins in 10 matches since. They find themselves up against the last hope for the SEA region in Mineski here in a lower bracket elimination match. I'm joined by Gunnar and Febby here going into the series. Febby, I want to cut to you quickly here before the game. You played with this Mineski team in majors this season. They're a good presence in the SEA, but they come in as underdogs in the series. What do you think they need to do in this draft to have a chance against Secret?
I think they just have to play like how they played in the group stage. Their quality of Dota was pretty solid throughout the whole group stage. Whenever they have like their comfort heroes, they look like they know what they're doing. They look like they're playing top tier Dota. So I assume like that's what they need to do. So I was kind of listening to the panel, and they kindly briefly touched about Puppy's stubbornness. and I was wondering if Poppy was going to be so stubborn that they're going to open Race King, because last series we saw Infamous another underdog team, a similar position where Mineski is in right now. They won Game 1 and Game 3 with Wraith King, and Mineski, they picked Wraith King over their last 3 games, and they also beat Mineski. They also beat Secret and in their group stage with Wraith King. So kind of curious if Poppy is stubborn enough.
And Gunnar, as we move into the first picks here in the draft, I wanted to briefly touch base with you. Mid1 is a player that Secret has counted on all season long to create so much space. He's won so many disadvantageous lane matchups. He has struggled in this tournament, and he finds himself up against Moon, one of the best technical mid laners right now. How do you get somebody like that going in a draft?
A lot of times, mids, when you're laning, it's kind of a confidence thing. So if you are winning a lot of lanes, you're going to win more lanes in the coming games if you feel good about yourself. A lot of players have been getting a lot better at the laning stage. They've been practicing 1v1s a lot more than in the past couple months, and they have, a long time. People are buying more region in the lanes. These bracers, these wraith bands, people are kind of mixing up the builds. There's, Shadow Fiend's going bracer as their first or second item. These mids are going a lot more aggressive on each other. So I think the quality of the laning stage has gotten so high that it's hard for these, this Sumail in 2015 to just kind of rock a tournament and never lose a lane.
So we do have first phase picks coming out. Mineski take the Mirana away from Secret. That has been a YapzOr staple, but as you see, Raging Potato 3-0 on that hero at TI. Secret counter with the YapzOr Rubik. Since he joined this Secret roster, YapzOr has 45 LAN wins as Rubik. That's 10 ahead of any other player-hero combination. And of course, we expect to see the Zai Tidehunter. More or less what you guys expected from this first phase so far?
Yeah, the Tidehunter's been kind of a staple opening of the tournament. Usually it's Elder Titan Tidehunter, but it was banned by Secret, so they can't do it. It's usually a strong lane in most matchups. If you really need to, you can cut with Anchor Smash. He didn't really get hurt by the double Stout Shield nerf because he has a built-in double Stout Shield. So it kind of goes back to a Centaur, right? It's kind of like the older Centaur. It gives you some team fight. Your stun is unreliable in a sense because it's a 150-second cooldown. So you don't get to blink just like Centaur Stomp a hero or Axe Call a hero. But in the team fights and holding high ground and being kind of the frontliner, he's one of the top picks.
So this Rubik Tidehunter is cool also because it kind of blocks Mineski's favorite picks, which are Enigma, Wraith King, and Beastmaster. Tide is obviously good against Beastmaster and Wraith King, but Mineski picked it anyways. Tide can just almost one-shot the Wraith King babies. And Rubik is pretty good against Enigma. It's pretty hard to play Enigma against the threat of them stealing the Black Hole. So yeah, I think the Secret came to this draft thinking about those favorite picks from Mineski.
We did see that hero matchup last game, the Wraith King Tidehunter. It was okay in the lane. If the Wraith King would ever skeleton while he was in the lane, the Tidehunter would just kill them in 5 seconds. One Anchor Smash, they die, respawn, Anchor Smash is off cooldown, kills it again. But Hector just kind of walked to the jungle and used the skeletons there. And Tidehunter's not going to walk all the way into jungle for 20 seconds, waste another 10 seconds killing the skeletons, and walk back and waste a minute of his time just to slow down, the Wraith King's farm. So at the same time, it kind of deals with the skeletons, but the Wraith King can just jungle.
Now, Nico Baby, one of the new additions to the Mineski roster here coming into TI. Febby, you had a story from earlier on in the season. Mineski spent most of the season with Ajit, but Nico Baby has been on their radar all along.
Oh yeah, back when I was in the team, we were kind of thinking about Nico Baby because he looked pretty solid on the teams that we faced against. So I think he was on CG, if I'm not mistaken, and yeah, he looked pretty solid. So we're thinking about picking him up or other players, and yeah.
One of the nice things about him as a player on this team is that he is a versatile, going from a position 1 hard carry to a position 1.5, this Juggernaut type of hero. He used to play Juggernaut a lot in the qualifiers, and it would try to give the spotlight to Moon. But usually when he's his heroes like Wraith King, and he plays Anti-Mage a decent amount as well, he tries to put the spotlight on himself, and I think the team plays around it really well.
Yeah, absolutely. As you see the second phase bans coming out here, the Ancient Apparition taken out by Secret. Still, I believe Alchemist is still on the board as a possible pick for them. And the Tinker ban, what?
That's a Moon special.
Okay,
he picked it
all
on,
right.
I know Febby was praising his Tinker, and I believe he quoted Moon in the group stage. Moon said, "I'm the best Tinker," I believe. Right, Febby?
Yeah.
I like it.
I'm surprised Mineski didn't ban Alchemist.
Yeah, This is
Yeah.
a really scary Alchemist already for Team Secret if they pick it on 4. The AA is banned, and it's against the Wraith King.
Yeah, occasionally I think the second phase bans kind of are a huge tell about the picks, and I think that AA ban is definitely in that category.
A lot of teams don't use their second phase bans to move on to the second phase.
Yep.
They use their second phase bans on the 10th pick, the Wraith King. But Wraith King doesn't really need counters. Like, Naga is the biggest one. The Brood, I think, is more for the game as a kind of scary hero.
And the Visage pick here, this looks like it might be a core position Visage. I mean, obviously, we haven't seen it mid-Rubik in a very long time, but this was a mid-1 special back when this hero, we saw this hero a lot in the mid lane, but we have seen it almost never in the last couple of patches.
Oh, right now, Team Secret wants to deathboard Mineski really hard because Mineski's heroes, they're pretty slow. They have like, I don't want to say no deep push, but it's pretty hard to defend when Team Secret's heroes are all grouped up. Arrow is not going to do anything. Wraith King's just going to want to farm. You know, Witch Doctor, he's just a Witch Doctor. Right now, Mineski needs some deep push fast.
We also talked about how if Secret is going to give it this Wraith King, how they're going to play around it, around this Midas Radiance timing. Before this Midas Radiance timing, Wraith King is going to hit jungle, and he's going to TP to Tri-Camp, and he's going to hit Tri-Camp, and he's going to walk to his other jungle, and then he's going to farm that. And if the other team is taking all of your outer towers, you start to lose your jungles. You start to have to push out lanes and expose yourself. And if you don't have this Radiance, you push out lanes really slow as the hero.
Yeah, this Wraith King hero, it's like a baby Alchemist. Its farming speed is crazy due to its babies, and like, sure, like the other teams can pick counters to one-shot the babies, but they are not gonna have any interaction because only Wraith King's just gonna farm the jungle, right? So.
Yep. Wraith King,
But the downside is like it's very slow. So I think Team Secret is abusing that by picking Visage, and they're gonna wanna up the tempo.
Now, the Omni Knight coming out from Mineski obviously does very, very well potentially against that core Visage. If you're worried about the physical damage output coming from the birds, the other nice thing is you have really powerful stuns on the first 3 picks in the draft, so having an offlaner that's light on disable not going to hurt you in this one.
The really nice thing about Omni this game is he has a built-in skill good against Visage Birds, and then his common item builds are Solar Crest and Crimson Guard. So he has like already, without even having to think about your build, you're going to counter the Visage.
Yeah, they needed a Crimson Guard, natural Crimson Guard getter because Crimson Guard is that good against Visage, and Omni Knight is that hero. Right now, Mineski needs some melee frontline fighters, brawlers for Moon. I can think of Tiny, Ember, those kind of heroes that can fight with Mineski's heroes.
So it looks like a really nice Ember game for Mineski. He's going to have the Heavenly Grace from the Omni Knight. He can go in. The stuns are a little limited on Secret. They have a root from the CM, which is much stronger against Ember now, but Rubik's stun is kind of, you know, low duration, and then the Ravage is an ultimate, and you're not just going to want to be worried about an ultimate every fight.
I wonder if Team Secret is going to pick Troll, because Troll looked really great against Wraith King when Liquid played it.
Sniper, that's one of the better heroes against Visage.
Yeah.
His range is so far in the Shrapnel, it kind of burns down on the Visage's passive. His birds get a little squishier, and the birds can't get onto you. You just Shrapnel in front of your base if they go high ground, and he's one of the better physical damage base defenders in the game. His attack range is so far, he can sit there. If they ever try to commit on the Sniper, the Omni Knight would just brace him, and then the fight would be really hard for Secret to take in the base.
Absolutely. Do you think Mineski possibly looked to punish the Visage in lane with Moon's pick here?
They could, but at the same time, it could be a dual or tri-lane in the safe lane. And Secret does run Nisha in the mid sometimes.
That's true.
With his like Morphling, and I believe even
Medusa.
Medusa. I think he also arc boarded.
Absolutely.
So they both of them. I believe he actually played mid before Secret on one of the teams he was on.
And look at the sniper ban coming out from Secret. Yeah.
I think that was a bait. Like, Mineski's probably going to pick Ember, and then Secret is going to pick something like a Nisha Morphling, like Connor mentioned.
Mineski take away the Alchemist.
Oh,
and that is
good.
the first Alchemist game for Mineski in the last 2 patches.
With Wraith King too. I think like these 2 heroes kind of collide together.
I think one of the Wraith King or the Alchemist is not going to go the Radiance, obviously.
Sure.
I think the Alchemist, if they put it mid in a favorable matchup, he can go this Medallion Armlet Blink build. And he kind of plays a lot faster pace with the stun. He'll get 2 points in spray, 2 points in your Greevil's Greed for the early lane and some jungling. But once you get this max stun, you get a short cooldown at level 10. You can run around set up stuns for the arrow on the Mirana.
But don't you think about, like, as Secret just switching up Visage in the safe lane like a Monkey King against the Alch mid? I mean, mid one is 18-1 in his last 19 games as Monkey King.
I think this is a very good Monkey King game. It's really good against Wraith King. If you ever kill him once before you ult, you drop the ring around the Wraith King and he's instantly dead the second time he's alive. Only scary one is the Guardian Angel from the Omni Knight. It kind of counters your ult in a way.
You still like Ember, you were saying, Fabian?
Yeah, I think Ember or Kunkka looks pretty good for Secret too.
Okay, both of those certainly in the hero pool of Secret.
Yeah, because I think like Team Secret's draft, they can't go late game. I think they have to try to end it early mid, like get a really huge advantage going.
What about a Timber Saw?
Oh, the mid one Meepo, they're pulling it out.
Yeah, so I was telling you about if they were saving strats or not, because the last few games, mid one just played those like normal mid heroes. You know, they weren't as
unbelievable.
Yeah.
All right, we have a Meepo in the hands of mid one. He looked good in his debut on this hero, but this is the TI main stage. And to give you the last word on the draft, here is promo code BSJ.
I think the best way to deal with Alchemist is to invade his jungle. And what better hero to do it than a hero that can farm while also invading his jungle at the same time. This is a high-paced lineup from Secret. They have no real scaling damage, though, and they have so many beefy cores on the side of Mineski. I fear that if the game goes past maybe the second Aegis, 35 minutes into the game, Secret's going to struggle to kill any of the heroes on Mineski. But if they can shut down all the farm of the Alchemist, it'll also bleed into the rest of the lineup, and they can just take map control and accrue a massive net worth lead and be able to end the game off that. So let's just find out. There's only one way to know. Take it away.
That's right, there is only one way to know, and that is in the game. Everybody has predictions about this matchup, and most of them are siding with Secret. It is, just no other way to put it, a David versus Goliath matchup. This is Team Secret, the top DPC points, the best team coming into this international, who faltered against Evil Geniuses, but are they going to lose to Mineski as well? Have they lost all momentum, Blitz?
They have not, because the team they lost to, EG, is absolutely surging, and there were very many moments in that game that Secret could have won. But who knows? This is a TI. You genuinely don't know. Maybe Secret is similar to VP, where their trajectory, unfortunately, is just to like make it to the top 12, and then it's like.
It might be. We'll have to see. As Mineski, they certainly have. Well, I'm sure they was feeling good about things with the last pick, Alchemist, but that Meepo has got to be a cause for concern.
What's really funny is like most times in this tournament, you have not been able to last pick Alchemist. Like this is not a 22 pick that you normally see. And it's just funny to see, like, we've trump carded you, and Secret was like, no.
Do you think Mineski was sitting there going, like, is this real? Is this a trap?
You know what it's like? It's like, it's too good to be true. They're looking around, and they're saying, like, that's free money? You want us to move on in the tournament?
It's like the stage could explode or something if we pick up this Alchemist? Like, what's happening here? This has got to be a booby trap.
And they, you know, they're fine. They're happy about it.
All right,
this is good.
So the mid one Meepo, and we're gonna see Secret immediately smoke up and trying to get advantageous laning set up. What are our lanes that we want to see from Secret? What are they looking for here?
I think they probably want to. Okay, it looks like Secret anyways is gonna, for the time being, aggro for the Tidehunter. I could very well see Zai just go for the Gush level 1, just so that they can set up the first blood. What they're trying to do here, Cap, is secure bounty runes, but KP is going to get real suspicious once he realizes that nobody's in this top lane. And this should alert Mineski, don't battle over this bottom rune.
Yeah.
This is death right here for you guys.
That's why Ragey Potato puts himself a little bit farther away from the bounty rune, tries to scout out, and they see Zai running forward, just trying to establish that dominance. He's going to go for the Gush level 1, as you said. Yabzor is going to be nailed by the arrow. Nico Baby doesn't feel good about this fight, though. Is going to stun up Puppey instead, and Ninja Boogie. Mineski chose to take this fight, and they will choose to watch Ninja Boogie die. Fade away first blood to Yabzor.
Didn't I just say, don't take this fight? You're not going to win this fight.
And look at Raging Potato. He's trying really hard to get the bounty rune, but he gets caught by the telekinesis. Now body blocked as well. He went for the level 1 arrow. That's 2.
Okay. Obviously, I'm not in the game, but at the same time, I feel like once KP scouted at that top area, I feel like that should have been like a clear cut. Okay, we're out of this. There's no longer a fight that's happening here.
Odd situation, but Mineski, I guess, feeling pressured because they have an Alchemist to get that extra bounty rune. The weird part was is they were guaranteed 2 at top. KP got both of those. They do swap the lanes up. He's going to be laned against Nisha, trying to give Nico Baby a more favorable setup.
You have to be careful in those like tri-lane situations. I mean, Tide Gush level 1 is actually such a sick spell. 110 damage, 4 armor reduction when nobody has armor at that point. This is something that the Chinese do a lot too. You know, when they go for the dual aggro offlanes with Tidehunter, they used to do it a lot when Monkey King was a thing, if you recall.
Yeah.
They would bring like +2 heroes, you just get Gush level 1. Monkey King thinks he can just trade hits with you, and it's a free kill.
Yeah, so many Monkey Kings back then fell into the trap of thinking their Jingu allowed them to be able to fight anybody, but so much minus armor allows you to be able to win a lot of these man fights. Raging Potato just trying to find what farm he can off of the jungle, but is sharing that experience with Yapzor currently, who's just chasing him around the map with his boots first.
And mid-matchup, it looks like things are going just fine for the Alchemist, which is anticipated. The weird thing about both these heroes is they play in a very similar way. They both want to just hit jungle creeps. They don't really care too much about how the laning phase goes. They'll recover at other parts of the game, which is why laning phase-wise, it's not really worth watching either of these heroes. It's much more, I think much more of this game will be determined by how the side lanes go.
Yeah.
Like, particularly this bottom lane.
And we see this Meepo last pick. We think of it as a counter, but not because of the laning phase, right? But because of the way BSJ stated it, that you're going to be able to both farm and invade the jungle against this Alchemist with a Meepo.
Yeah, and it's one of those heroes that threatens all the lanes at once, which is so important. It has the ability to punish him in team fights at all times, despite what Alchemist gets. The upside for Alch, though, is his item build is going to be very good against the Meepo. As we see this mini fight going on, Raging Potato still has the arrow and the leap. That's why Yapzor, being a little bit more careful, isn't level 2 himself yet. Raging Potato trying to line up the arrow right now, and Yapzor going to dodge it.
Telekinesis, toss back Raging Potato, and he will be fine. It's going to be all of his leap charges gone. It does leave our Tide versus Omni Knight in a 1v1, which I'm thinking Omni Knight should eventually win that because of the Purification nuke, but we'll have to keep our eye on it. The one that's probably going to be battling a lot is that top lane with the Wraith King and Witch Doctor, but trying to manage into a Visage.
Visage tri-lanes are always just really, really strong.
Yeah.
You never feel bad about playing a Visage tri-lane. This is a hero that we haven't really seen often, and it's really interesting because you don't normally see Nisha play these types of heroes. When Secret has had success at this tournament, it's been when he plays more of a hard carry. That's why I feel like Mid-One's also been struggling, just because they've been putting him in a little bit more of a sacrificial role as of late. This time around, I feel like this is a good confidence booster game for him. You saw at the end of the EG series last night where they rubbed his head. They were trying to tell him, like, probably like, shake it off.
Yeah.
You're still a superstar. This is one of those nice statement games.
Do you think that this is why Secret pulled out the pocket strat in a way, right? Is just to be able to get that fast win against Mineski, build up some confidence, which has seemed to be quite the theme here at the International. Everybody's been talking about how important it is to be able to have confidence, not be having nerves when it comes to playing on the main stage. And a young player like Nisha certainly could suffer from it.
Yeah, I feel like Nisha has actually done quite admirably here. As top lane,
Arrow's going to be able to follow that up, and Nisha's in big time trouble. No levels to the Gravekeeper's Cloak, which means no armor with which to work on. Ninja Boogie's going to be chased away by the 2 supports of Secret, but the damage is already done. First kill, rather, for Mineski.
This is going to give them a slightly early gold lead. Of course, things are a little bit offset considering there is a Meepo and an Alch in the game. That's why I don't know if like the gold lead is deceptive.
Yeah, maybe they're both kind of the same in that way. Puppy's going to be found out just a little bit off base, but Nico Baby is going to be threatened here, and if they trade out carrying for support, it's well worth it for Secret. They need a few more shots, and there it goes. Nisha, with the double rounds of Soul Assumption, is able to get the kill, blowing every bit of his mana, but as he said, does manage to get the core for support trade-off. Now Mid-One's going to rotate over with one of his Meepos, securing the bounty runes. That is, I guess, something we didn't actually talk about. The movement around the map from a Meepo and being able to pressure the side lanes also leads into better bounty control, which is crucial against an Alchemist. Secret do pick up 3-1.
Bottom lane just feels like we're going to get a trade of farm. It's always awkward when 2 heroes are pretty evenly matched, but that might change right now. Zai going to get gone on here. Ninja Boogie's here with the Maledict too, one of the best ways to deal with the Tidehunter.
Quickly cancels his TP in favor of an anchor smash, seeing Ninja Boogie, but there's just no hope, no escape for Zai.
That's actually going to hurt him quite a bit. The fact that he had to use his TP too.
Yeah, he's going to have to do that walk of shame back to the lane, and where is he going to go? Because now it seems like Mineski had the level 6 on Omni Knight. He's got those high levels of purification. They feel comfortable with him laning against the Visage, especially with this kind of level advantage.
Yeah, please keep in mind too that Visage is not one of those ultra late game threats. Like, this is definitely a hero that is meant to end the game and meant to end it at a reasonable time.
Yeah.
So this puts Secret in sort of a weird timing window, which you don't really expect from them.
The 2 levels of Heavenly Grace, it's certainly a value game for it. Whether it's the Grave Chill that's going to be coming out or slowing down or taking away some of the slows or stuns coming out from the Crystal Maiden. So KP should have a relatively free lane here, but he always has to be careful of that Meepo rotation. Mid-1 is well placed right now in the jungle to do just that. Nico Baby closing in on level 6. They're going to try and pressure Zai right now, but from a bit of a distance, just poking at him with the Maledict, nothing major. While top lane, they're going to go on KP. But again, both off laners seem to be indestructible right now.
Yeah, let me say, whenever Omni has a good start, it's so hard to kill him in the laning phase. All this guy really needs is levels. He's got high base HP, good armor.
Yeah.
It's not just the fact that you have to get rid of his base HP pool. You have to assume that he's going to get at least one purification off. So, and his Heavenly Grace, it actually makes his effective HP closer to like 1600, 1700 HP. And that's not even including Magic Stick, which is such a value item on him because it just continues to bump up your effective health.
Ninja Boogie, you can see, trying to keep some vision around that mid lane. They're going to try and actually go for mid one right now, but without Unstable Concoction, they don't really have a great way to control up mid one. He does drop really low with the Maledict, and that last pick actually does it. He could not TP back to the base fast enough.
Cap, that was 3 levels of Maledict.
That is a really high level, but understandable against like somebody like a Tidehunter. These tanky heroes.
I'm very surprised, though, that he's level 5 already. I think that's the bigger surprise.
Yeah.
I mean, that Ninja Boogie, the 5-position Witch Doctor, is already having this much impact. He has already been involved in 4 kills. All 4 of his team kills, in fact.
It's funny that that slip up from mid one, he very clearly thought he was going to be okay. Otherwise, he just would have TP'd right away.
Yeah, I think he realized it a second too late. Because you don't expect a level 5 Witch Doctor 5-position at 7 minutes. That's not really something that happens very often. So I think mid one was just caught out of surprise.
Oh, they're trying to force out the lead from Raging Potato, and that's where Zai is going to be able to clean him up nice and fast. What a cute play. Baits him into leaping down on the cliff. A gush and an anchor smash rapidly finishes them off, even though he had leap charges. The play just came too fast. Telekinesis toss back, a gush being used, but Moon does have Chemical Rage. Secret instantly know that's no longer a target they can threaten.
My favorite part about Secret, by the way, is Zai just walks by mid, anchor smashes so that Yapzor can get the last hit.
The blurry line between 3 and 4 position. Mid one definitely in trouble here. The Maledict is going to take out this Meepo. He's going to try and keep away, but he's gone. There's way too much damage. He buys a raindrop just to try and survive, but it's still not enough.
That was so much damage that they pumped out onto him.
Yeah.
It was like 800 instantly, and Ninja Boogie, he's really putting on a show right now. Level 7, putting up deep wards for his team. And he's doing all the right things right now. He's putting pressure on the map. He's the one rotating to get kills.
And Ninja Boogie has been integral to Mineski's success. Has played a leadership role, a loud voice in the booth, and guiding Mineski.
And this has opened up so much space for Moon. If you look at his Radiance timing, we always talk about what's a good timing. Anything below 12 minutes is usually ideal.
Is Zai just dead here? The Maledict is going to do so much damage. He picks up the phase boots on his way through the side shop, and the Maledict does finish him off, but Ninja Boogie spots him, and the Ray Fire Blast from Nico Baby will get that kill. KP trying to pick up the bounty rune, and he does. Very important here. And now he's actually going to try and kill Puppey. Look at this with the Heavenly Grace. Okay, that's now gone, so that slow is going to last a while. He does have stick charges. Another round of Heavenly Grace, a purification coming up in 1 second. He's going to finish out Puppey, and will he make it away too? He doesn't quite have the mana for a TP out with the birds chasing him as well. It's going to be different. But with a Soul Ring and all this regen, they just can't can't chase this Omni Knight down. Oh, net after net, but Raging Potato not held long enough. Able to leap away.
You called it David versus Goliath, but Mineski do not look out of place whatsoever right now on this main stage. They're bringing the fight to Team Secret. I feel like Ninja Boogie is outplaying them. This guy is very farm first support at this point. He doesn't even need the tome.
Yep.
Like normally you have some level 4 Witch Doctor that didn't have the best laning phase. He has a point of heal. He's trying to buff up his safe laner. None of that has happened in this game.
It's just all offense, 3-0-4.
And you saw at top the issue with going on a farmed Omni Knight.
Yeah.
You're just not going to do it. The amount of HP that this guy has,
They just don't have
to do
like the greatest burst either.
No,
to
this
really
is a
handle
sick
him.
Omni game. If
Yeah.
you look at Secret's lineup, what you really need to deal with an Omni is burst. You need the ability to get in, just blow him up.
Look at this. Raging Potato is sitting on the high ground just perfectly. They do manage to get a scan on him, so they're going to run around. But Mineski simultaneously got a scan onto Secret. Now, Nico Baby's going to be spotted here. He does have stick charges. That'll be enough for the reincarnation, so he should be fine. If anything, he's going to turn around and Rayfire Blast with the arrow landing onto Puppey as well. A smoke leading to a death for Team Secret, it seems. The paralyzing cast, still not enough. One more shot for the Mirana. Is it going to do it? But Deathward very rapidly changing targets there from Ninja Boogie. Smart play by him. He's going to die to mid one for sure. And that's going to be a dominating streak. That is actually quite concerning, giving that to mid one. All that gold and experience. Look at Nisha, though, being bullied by KP. Just doesn't slow down. Pops a Heavenly Grace on himself. That's 4 levels. That's going to last a long time. Has a ton of regen to it.
Look at him just run. Mid one.
Do they need the rotation? Is anybody going to help them out? They're going to bring more heroes to Tika. They're going to blow the Ravage. They have Puppey TVing in as well. They use everything they have to bring down the TI finalists in KP.
But during this time, Moon has just been farming away, and that gank was really expensive. If you notice, they dropped 1 ward and 2 sentries. All of it is gone. That was 300 gold that they laid out. Their Observer ward instantly got dewarded. That was not the typical 1-for-1 trade, and that's why the gold lead didn't change whatsoever.
8-6. 4,000 net worth lead for the Alchemist lineup. But how deceptive that is with Amiibo, we're yet to see. We're also yet to see this Alchemist make his first move, but it's happening now with that smoke up, heading into the enemy jungle. Puppey is there. The captain trying to function as a smoke breaker right now, as actually going for wards. They know where he is. They know where Puppey is. They don't care about Puppey. They want to be able to get a kill on mid one Meatball. They found him. Thanks to that deep ward they had, they're going to be able to get the paralyzing cast from the Maledict and an arrow to be able to finish him off. Now Ninja Boogie tossed into the Alchemist with the freezing field as well, but Ninja Boogie's pretty tanky, but here comes the bird to be able to lock him down. The Stolen Death Ward is able to finish off at least one of these supports of Moon's. Quite tanky, especially with KP behind him. Secret can no longer fight, and if anything, maybe with Nico Baby, they can pressure that tier 1 mid tower.
And that's such a smooth move. They know that they can't split up the jungle that much, so they're waiting for the Meepo to come. They're being patient. They let the Crystal Maiden walk by them, and more importantly, they also saw the ward get placed down.
Yeah.
That is, again, an ideal situation for Mineski. They see the ward get placed down, they get the Meepo. All it really costs him is the 5-position Witch Doctor, who has been so valued at his position. Just the pure amount of damage that he's putting out so far.
Yeah. Whether it's the warding game or it's the rotations, Mineski seemed to be 1 move ahead of Team Secret.
Yeah, Secret need to wake up right now.
Yeah.
This is... I think a lot of people, myself included, and you, thought this was going to be a relatively free matchup for Team Secret, and it is not looking like that at all.
And Ninja Boogie, he goes for that suicidal play to catch the ward that they spotted out earlier, but does die in the process.
This should alert, and it does in fact alert Secret to the fact that they had the ward, obviously off of the gank. But the bigger thing is they need to protect this mid-tower cap.
Yeah, they're doing a good job with KP, just like, because he's so strong, he can plant himself in the mid lane and just chip away at that tower every once in a while, get a hit or two in. The main force of Mineski's at top lane, where they're going to take that safe lane tower, trying to mirror Secret right now. We're doing the same at bottom. And this is definitely concerning, because mid 1 Meepo still needs some time to come online, and this is going to maybe run into a window where the Alchemist gets his Radiance +1 item and starts dominating.
Yeah, maybe not, as Zai is coming in. Moon doesn't quite have the ultimate yet. They are going to open up on him.
They do have the Mirana nearby, but with no Chemical Rage, no regen for Moon, he's just going to get popped.
Very nice
Secret
move.
shutting down the Alchemist. They needed something like that.
Yeah, I really like that play by them. They rotated multiple cores. They saw the Alk TP, and they knew it was going to be worth it. They want to continue to play in that bottom area anyways. That's why they cleared out the vision. But Mineski still comfortably ahead, 5K. Of course, it is an Alchemist game, but conversely, you have a Meepo on your team.
Yep.
This hero should also be artificially ahead. But they've done such a good job of controlling mid one.
Mineski also have another crazy farmer, Wraith King, who's been one of the heroes of the tournament for sure. Just because, unlike Alchemist, he hasn't actually been banned as often, especially not in the first 3.
Yeah, he's got his own flash farm mechanic.
Yep.
With the Skeleton Brothers.
With the boys.
The boys come out.
The Vlad's complete for Zai. Doesn't have Ravage, but feels he's tanky enough that he could sit and challenge KP Zombie Knight in the mid lane, making sure he doesn't get any more damage on that mid tower. As you said, they need to protect that. Look at that win probability, heavily favoring Mineski right now. And a smooth 72% now. Moon's gonna show up with the Heavenly Grace helping him out. That's added damage as well, where he can swing onto the tower, or in this case, swing on his eye. Kraken Shell quickly cleanses off that stun, and is gonna be able to find a way to safety here. With no Ravage, Team Secret, they may have fainted like they wanted to be able to fight, but they're gonna back up, knowing that Mineski is much stronger than them and will lose that mid tower. There goes that map control. Now Puppy's gonna be found as well. Off the Moonlight Shadow into the Rayfire Blast. Unstable Concoction as well available. They just burst down the captain of Team Secret and manage to get the control of the birds in time. Nico, baby, he's going in deep here, and Secret think this is a little bit too deep. They're gonna try and turn things around, but they do have the Omni Knight to be able to help out this Wraith King, give him a few heals, give him the Heavenly Grace, and bam, there goes Midwatch, just like that. Nisha's gonna be surrounded by so many Secret heroes as well. They're diving into tier 3s. They don't care who Secret is. They don't care they're top of the DPC system. They're gonna dive these tier 3s and punish Secret for trying to dare to fight Mineski and their Alchemists.
I'm so surprised that Secret decided to go for the fight. They don't have vision around that area. They just get assaulted. Once they lose Puppy, it's a 4-on-5, and even though you are by your tier 2 tower, Mineski have such good heroes at diving. The Omni Knight allows them to reset. The Wraith King ulti allows them to play aggressively, and no hero can challenge the Alk at this point in the game.
Look at that. Moon handing out some serious damage. Just the length of that fight, whether through the acid sprays, the unstable concoction, or even the radiance, really proving that this Meepo cannot, it's not online. It's not ready to fight Mineski.
Yeah. If you're Team Secret, we're always going to give you the benefit of the doubt. They always have this aura that they can turn games around. We saw it in the game against Alliance where they came back from Mega Creeps, but they need to start waking up right now, Cap.
Get that alarm bell going. They do have an arrow, slides right past Vault of Secret. They're going to try and take this mid tower with the birds, with mid one joining them as well. The Crimson Guard as well as the Glyph being used here. But the rotations are just not there for Mineski. They are conceding this tower. Rage of Potato once again trying to go for a deny, but just half a beat too late.
Yeah, they know this time around the fight comes with the Ravage. They don't have the Wraith King ulti or the Omni Knight ult. That's a good move by them to reset things. And for Secret, I really like this move. Ooh. They know that they have the cooldown advantage.
Yeah.
And they're taking advantage of that. They need to make plays like this to try to get themselves back into this game. This is where it starts.
But Mineski, they may choose to take the fight even if they don't have the cooldowns. They're going to show up now. They do have the arrow, unstable concoction, ready to go. They're trying to focus down KP, but there goes that Ravage controlling him up. KP almost dead, gets off the purification. That last nuke from the Visage wasn't good enough. The Rubik managed to seal purification, but doesn't save mid one in time. The freezing field is out. They're trying to finish off Puppy. Nico, baby, will actually die 5 seconds away from reincarnation, but it's still Moon with the BKB, with the Radiance, with the buybacks coming out from Secret. He's a little bit timid going into the high ground. He's going to try and chase down side, maybe finish off Puppy. The unstable concoction, though. The Radiance hits him. The Radiance burns out Puppy, yes, but now with a stun on himself, never mind. KP's here. They have that Heavenly Grace, and it does so much for this Alchemist. KP, though, doesn't protect himself so well. Now he's just going to die in an East of the Moonlight Shadow, almost saving him. That's still in vision. And just the high ground hits as well from Secret will finish him off with buybacks. Now Secret should be able to secure Roshan and maybe get the kill on Raging Potato as well as he tried to run through vision. Laid out by Secret in the river. Finally, Secret gets themselves the W that they desperately needed to get some control of this losing game.
Yeah, they committed 3 buybacks for that. They're not going home without that Roshan. Bounty Runes at bottom Zai. The stolen Moonlight Shadow allows him to just get in, get out, grab it for free. Ninja Boogie gonna battle Zai over this rune. And mid one pressuring top lane. He does have this Aegis, and they need to do a lot with it. This is where you get as much map control as you possibly can. Because the next fight in, you won't be so lucky. Mineski will have all those P ultimates up. And I think in a pure 5-on-5 fight, you're not winning.
Yeah, we're going to see this again. Look at that. KP
They ignored
barely
Puppey for way
able
too
to
long.
walk away. Just a huge freezing field that does manage to finish off Nico Baby. Look at him. He was just 5 seconds away from the reincarnation. That had to hurt.
Yeah.
Because if he actually has a second life, they chase down Puppey, they chase down Zai, and maybe they're the ones who control the Roshan pit instead.
I actually think Moon got a little bit too ahead of himself. Part of it is you see a CM at like 100 HP and you're just like, whatever.
You could say Nico Baby so close. And yet, Secret had now been able to knock down that net worth advantage that was once sitting at about 10K down to round 7.
Yeah, this is always the scariest part about playing against Secret, because you know that at any time they can make these kind of comebacks, because for the large part of the season they were the best team in the world.
And they've got one of those great comeback mechanisms, one of those great high ground defenders too in Zai's Tidehunter with the Ravage. They're currently smoked up, looking for a play right now while Ravage is just about to come off cooldown. They're going to go for Nisha here in the bottom lane, but this is where the rotation is going to come from Secret, but they may not be here in time as Nisha is just going to get beaten to a pulp. They're going to try and deal with his familiars as well, but that's where Secret shows up. They're going to be able to catch the backline first. Rage of Potato falls down, right up in. 3-man Ravage with the Nisha burnt down, dropping onto 3 of them with the ensnares as well. Here comes the Eaglet, the unstable concoction goes out, they just finish off Mineski. They thought they had the free kill. Moon's going to come back in, though. Another round of unstable concoction does manage to nail the Meepo. Can he focus it down in time? Mid one needs to be able to get this Meepo out of here. He's trying to chase away from Moon. Monk spots him, does manage to get the unstable concoction, and no, he doesn't finish while finally he turns back around, takes away that Aegis, but at what cost? Mineski, and now just himself. He does manage to get off the unstable concoction for a moment. Yapster's going to burn out, but not before he gets out the Rainfire Blast to make sure that the Alchemist dies.
5-man team wipe and the buyback from Ninja Boogie. That'll be 6. Secret, they needed to do a lot with this Aegis, and they are recovering in this game. They're going to grab this tier 2 tower up the top. Top lane is going to get pushed out. They're going to get more and more out of the map. And Mineski, they played such a clean game up until this point, going in 1 by 1, trying to take that fight. Not even by their shrine.
Yep.
They walk onto the low ground where they don't have vision. It just feels like they're getting a little bit too ahead of themselves.
And his Secret's credit, that was a well-laid trap, right? The power of Nisha's hero is not necessarily in his hero, but in his familiars, and him being able to be the bait for them. He's awfully tanky, and even if they finish him off, there's still the familiars to help them win the fight. That kind of secret maneuver is why they're so respected, why they are a team to be feared, even at a net worth advantage. Mineski now holding a 2,000 net worth advantage.
Oh, that feels so bad considering they're up by nearly 12K at one point.
Yeah.
You cannot afford to make mistakes like that against a team of this caliber. You will get punished.
Let's talk about the late game right now, because is there the pressure for Mineski to play that flawless game and end it against Team Secret? It's weird, right? Because we've got, on one side, we've got a Visage, not going to scale great. On the other side, Tidehunter, Meepo, Yapzor, Rubik.
I sort of feel like Mineski will win this late game just because Meepo can never get BKB.
Yeah.
There will be a sheer amount of stuns for him that I think it's hard for him to come back through. Plus, Wraith King BKB is going to be so strong.
Let's not forget all the Aghanim Scepter he can hand down. There's some sick Aghanim Scepters in this game.
Yeah, all 4 of them are great to give out to his team.
Yeah. They're going to be able to get the Force Tap Telekinesis onto Rage of Potato, who just wanted to be able to grab the Haste Rune and get away. But the fast moves from Secret punishes him. And now
this has
Secret
been such a value Aegis. Losing it in that fight, whatever. They got so much map control. They continue to get map control. They're starting to make plays around the map. Don't poke the bear cap.
So in turn, it's Secret. They need to be the ones to show that they can play flawless. They won't fall into the same trap that Mineski did. They do have the pressure on them to take objectives. They're going to be able to take that tier 2 mid. And looks like heading up to top as well, where one of Mid-1's Meepos is already pushing that in. Mineski Respawn playing the other side of the map. Not wanting to challenge Secret for team fights right now. But need to find space. Open territory for their Alchemist and Wraith King to farm.
And it's Secret that continue to play really aggressively. They're going to take this tier 2 tower up at top for free. Looks like Mineski want to go for a trade and take the bottom one, but I think Secret defend this tower. It's way too healthy for them not to. Moon's going to get lifted to start.
Yapzor knows that he has the leap to be able to get away. Mineski tries to catch him, and instead it's going to be Moon who's caught with a chemical rage down. He's going to turn and fight. Mid-1 needs to be careful of his meepos, though. Is he going to be able to get one of them out? He's stunned up. The unstable concoction. Good Ethereal Blade. But now tries to jump away, but there's too many shots. Now the cast. It bounces back once again and again and again and again. He dies. A Tidehunter is going to fall inside of that. Puppey tries in vain just to get out a good freezing field to bring down these heroes, but Mineski, they're too damn strong. They've already brought down the cores, and they know the supports are food, and so are the objectives.
And they're right in front of the base with the creep wave. Tide's gonna buy back. They don't have to buy back on the Meepo. That's even more important. And this Alchemist with AC is gonna take your base so quickly.
With no Ravage, with no Meepo, how can Secret possibly stop this push? Zai tries to slow it down with an anchor smash, hoping that he's going to lure Mineski into diving the base. Mineski, maybe going to play a bit scared. No, Nico baby, he wants to be able to find a kill. Great arrow blast into the arrow, doesn't land. Had to throw it around the birds there, and as a result, just a slight sidestep was able to get him out of the trajectory of that arrow. But Mineski going to be up one lane of barracks here, 35 seconds. They're probably realizing, hey, Mid-1 cannot have buyback, otherwise he would have blown it already. Let's keep it going. The Solar Crest trying to slow him down alongside the Anchor Smash. The physical damage definitely being hampered here. Uh-oh, Wraith King. He's going to lose his reincarnation for free. Not sure if it matters, though. As Mineski,
they should back out.
They're going to back up. You say it, and they do it.
No Chemical Rage, no Wraith King ultimate. You still had 15 seconds, but I don't think it's worth it at that point.
Yeah.
You can still get shrines, you can still reset. Learn from Navi's mistake.
Yeah.
Do not overstay your welcome.
Yes. Mineski were gifted a comeback opportunity.
Don't make the same
Navi.
exact mistake.
Don't go for the throne. Just secure one lane of barracks. Get maybe another objective, take shrines out, but control the map from there. And I feel like that's what a lot of the meta has been about this year. It's been breaking the enemy, so at some point you're stronger than them and they know it, and then just trying to control the map as best as possible. And for a lineup that has an Alchemist and a Wraith King with Midas, they're gonna benefit from that control.
Slowly extend your lead. Mineski, this 5th pick Alk, Secret thought they had the answer. With this Meepo, they looked excited, but Mid-1.
Are they going to make this mistake, though, that they leave the Alchemist alone a bit too long? The Moonlight Shadow goes out. Do they know? Do they know? He's going to pop the BKB and Chemical Rage and Secret. Oh, shit, we got to get out of here. Zai, he's going to be slowed down by the unstable concoction. Pop for a moment. Defensive force down is going to be able to get him away. Look at Nisha defending himself against that Moonlight Shadow, but he's going to be Yule Scepter at the same time. It looks like Nisha's probably going to fall, but Moon, if they trade this out, it's going to be well worth it for Secret. He's going to be able to get off another round of unstable concoction. Do they have any more disables? There's the Ravage to be able to finish off the Alchemist, and now Mineski have stumbled into a fight that maybe they can't win, but they feel confident about. They're going to go for the watermelon first. Raging Potato controlled up. Immediately Yule Scepter forced down under the high ground. Zai's going to be able to get away. Yapzor to get under the heel. He managed to get protecting Secret. They're going to be able to get more force stabs out, but they need that one Meeple to be able to get away. That's why the Familiars drop, trying to get him out, but he doesn't make it. The proof is not in time. Secret fall, losing their Meeple to activate their shrine, but on full retreat now, as they know Mineski, they're going to be able to clean up whatever they can get their hands on. That's going to be the captain of Secret. Puppey will fall. Zai shows up, trying to slow him down. A Force Staff to help him get away, and a TP out. Spawns him, Great Fire Blast, that'll catch him. Even as the arrow slows down the damage, Puppey can do little with this kind of respite. Nico baby, not gonna lose his reincarnation either.
And they know that the Meepo doesn't have buyback. They just saw him buy the Hex. He can't possibly have the gold for it, and this could just be Mega Creeps right now.
This could be Megas. Mineski, they see their opportunity. They say, you last pick Meepo us. It doesn't matter. We've got an Alchemist. We've got Moon on our side. Arrow comes out with perfectly behind with the telekinesis. They're going to be able to bring down their reincarnation. The first life gone of the Wraith King, but Moon beating up the tier 3, finishing off the Familiars as well. Secret just trying to slow him down, but Moon, he only has one thing on his mind. That's objective. But with 12 seconds left for the Meepo, Mineski are going to play it safe and disciplined once again.
They're going to reset themselves off of the shrine, get control of this area. They still have to be careful because Moon did use his buyback there. That leaves Secret some opening. Meepo does take the base very fast, but Mid-1 has just not had a good game. 7-7-7. You're the last pick.
I heard some of the other analysts talk about this. They say Mid-1's had a quiet tournament. Would you agree with that?
I think in the group stage he was fantastic, but on the main stage so far, it's not the mid one that we've seen throughout the year. They need him to play like the superstar he is, but
Team Secret smoking up.
they gave him the perfect situation. They gave him the last pick. This was the hero that he wanted, the last overall pick. They're going to walk into the high ground here. They've got to be careful. They've got the high ground advantage.
They're going to be able to jump on a Yapster almost immediately, but Forceap immediately comes down. They're going to be able to cut him with the Frostbite for the Mapo. He's in trouble with the unstable concussion. They're going to be able to bring down mid one, and look at Moon go. He is tearing through Secret. They are falling apart now. The Ravage used defensively, but it won't matter. He falls. 90 seconds for him, 60 seconds for the core, and now Nisha's going to die as well. He does manage to finish off the Wraith King's first life, but he's got another. Guess who's back? Nico Baby helps Moon get the triple kill, and there's only the buyback out from the Visage.
And this game might just be done. 50 seconds with the Meepo, even if you use buyback at this point, they've lost so much. They're pushing in all the lanes right now, and the team fights, they just get harder and harder with this Meepo.
Yeah.
At this point in the game, you're supposed to be so many different items ahead of everybody. You're pressuring all 3 lanes at once. No one connects to the map. But this hero, the biggest weakness of it, you can't get BKB.
Yeah.
All of these stuns add up.
This is crazy. The utmost respect for them because they did blow the buyback on Moon. They want to make sure they get Roshan first. So they're still going to be able to assault the base while Zai is dead. They know he doesn't have buyback, but they're not trying to rush things too much. They're going to pick up the Aegis and Cheese, get that second line for the out, and then try and go for the Mega.
This feels like a veteran team.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of teams are just trying to rush things, but the best mark of a team that's getting better throughout a tournament is learning from other people's mistakes. Na'Vi rushed that game, subsequently, they're out of the tournament. Just because you're ahead of Secret, they made that move at bottom. I think that kind of shook them and said, we're not out of the woods yet. We haven't won this game. You can't act like it either, so they make the smart play, the safe play, they reset themselves, they go for the Roshan, and now you take the racks with so many lives up.
There is just 12 seconds. Nico Baby's going to try and strike while the Tidehunter's still dead, but no arrow follow-up. Good force stats from Secret, but still, Mineski, how do you stop this Juggernaut? How do you stop this Alchemist? Moon and Nico Baby beating down the top lane of Barracks. Mid lane is completely exposed as well.
You've got to take 7 lives. Moon's got an Aegis. Nico Baby has his own built-in one.
You've got the cheese, you've got everything that Omni Knight provides you with Guardian's Angel and the Purifications. I mean, this Heavenly Graced Alchemist, don't forget, it gives you 28 bonus strength. That's just damage that he's going to throw into these buildings. And there he goes.
Look at him just ignore them.
Focusing on the melee barracks, the rest of Secret looking for anybody to be able to go to, but Moon takes that opportunity to turn and finish off Nisha. Instant buyback, Puppy in trouble, the Maledict's gonna take him out inside. He may be in trouble as well, but Nico Baby doesn't want to extend himself. He knows Megas is the focus. Moon looking to be able to finish off that range racks, he should be able to get this time. Device goes off. Defensive force tap. Moon going back in with a BKB, trying to get this Meepo. Unstable concoction, locking them all down. Focusing the one with Soul Arrow. Force tap does manage to get him wiped with the arrow, down with the other Meepo. That's gonna finish him off. A buyback coming out from Secret. Now they have to hope, pray that Mineski will feed their lives away off for the greater good, but no, it's going to be the arrow coming out on Nisha. Controlled up, great paralyzing cast. Nico Baby trying to finish him off. That's going to be his first life. Second life coming up for him and the Alchemist. Unstable concoction, ready to go. On the Meeples, controlling them up. KP protecting with the Heavenly Grace. Look at him just beating down those poor little dwarves. They're going to die soon. Moon, he may also fall though. It's been going to survive. The Starstorm, not quite enough. The Scythe on the Elk is actually going to live through this. Nico Baby, he's controlled up as well. Mid-1. He survives through it all. Mineski, they die. And they don't have buyback on the Alchemist. They have buyback on everybody else.
This is your only moment, I feel like, for Secret. There's no buyback on the Alch, but is 100 seconds enough time to do it? They make the miracle hold, but it costs them all of their racks. Meepo, probably one of the best heroes to do it just because he can deal with the other lanes simultaneously. He's got lifesteal, and I think Secret are well aware of their position. They're up as 5. There's no out buyback. They've got a window of 80 seconds. Once you take down this tier 3 tower, you have to go for the throne. You are not trying to trade racks here.
This has been the International with the most comebacks.
The buyback from Nico Baby. An opportunity has been opened up for Secret. They don't have Ravage. But all it takes is one fight.
The tier 3 Secret
And there's no clip either.
Move to the tier 4s, holding on to the buybacks. They're going to try and make sure the Rage of Potato as well. KP can still buy back. Nico, baby, he's going to make his jump forward. He does have those extra lives, but he's probably going to need it for the Omni-Knights. He dies so fast. And sure enough, KP buys back with just 5 seconds left in the clock. Can he get there in time? Can he actually save Nico, baby? He's going to pop his BKB. Rage of Potato going forward. Instantly gets controlled up, but does have the Ult Scepter another leap away. They're trying to finish him off. Heals coming out. KP can't provide enough. Goes the Ethereal Blade. Finish him off. Now,
They've got
another
a
buyback.
Secret has been doing this.
Tier 4 is actually going to fall.
Yeah,
Secret
has a Deso.
They do on the Maledict with the Deso coming out from them. They might be able to chop down these buildings faster. Nico Mineski, they're trying to go for it. They jump in. The last ditch effort to be able to finish off Big One Meepo, but he's finished off Nico Mineski. He's dead. The Alchemist is dead. The throne is done. Ninja Boogie can't stop it. Secret win. Secret do it. They make the comeback.
Mineski end the game up 12-0 gold.
Unbelievable, Team Secret. This is why they were projected to be the winners of the International. This is why they were first in DPC. You cannot count this team out.
If you can't win in that position, what is it going to take? And the crowd is so appreciative of that. I mean, that came down to the absolute wire. You saw KP panic at the last second. He had like 10 seconds left on his buyback, and he thinks to himself, I gotta go in. Nico Baby's gone in. Yeah. Nico Baby was trying to create space. He had the ultimate. He held it for as long as he possibly could. He's like, should I go in? He realizes, oh, Yamsor has a Deso. They're just gonna go for it.
Just so many little things that happened in that, and hopefully we're going to get a breakdown of each and every instance that both Mineski and Secret did to be able to make that such an epic game off to the panel.
Yeah, we're going to try. That was some pretty crazy stuff that just went down there. I mean, before we even break down how it happened, we definitely will do that. Do not worry. I just want to ask, how much has this changed the entire series? Is this enough to potentially break Mineski?
Very much so. It's like a confidence booster that you were close and competitive and maybe could have won, but holy crap, Mega Creep's come back. How many have we seen this TI?
This is 6, I think.
And it was so close. The game was, Creeps are in their base, and I think they needed to be more careful about the timing. Even if they had Aegis and Cheese, they still didn't have a buyback on Alchemist. They should have waited another minute at least.
You know, you bring up the Alchemist, the first thing that I think of is Meepo. It was the Meepo actually the thing that was able to make the comeback possible.
Yeah, in a way, you love, like, Meepo is the counter to Alchemist, but it didn't look like it was going to be effective for effectively the entire game. Like, here I am prepped to tell you why Secret lost, and they somehow pull out this miraculous victory. Like,
yeah, peek
it's
behind
unbelievable.
the veil for a second. Kyle had a beautiful segment set up where he's going to talk about how, you know, Meepo, you would think it would be the counter, and this is why they lost. So what ended up actually playing out?
You make the first, really the cardinal mistake of Dota, which is when you have this one hero your entire draft is built around, and he doesn't have buyback, it does not matter how far ahead you are, when you're playing against one of these heroes that is a base breaker. Like, Meepo will straight up just kill your throne. That's exactly what happened. It doesn't matter what Megas are. Yeah.
Any other hero without buyback. It could be the Wraith King, your carry. They would be able to defend. Alchemist was the guy that had to stay alive, could not afford to die.
Yeah, with the Cleave, with the Radiance, Acid Spray, it would be more than enough to take him down. And the Deso Rubik purchase at the end to have more damage on the buildings, it was on point.
Less about even, I don't want to talk about like Mineski breaking. This is so huge for Team Secret. This is one of those wins that mid one was off in the start of this game, was not an ideal Meepo performance. But you pull out a win like this, it just brings you together as a team. You start to believe in yourselves again. And if there's anything OG has taught us, it's belief that's most important if you're going to win a tournament of this caliber.
I think just about everybody here is surprised to see how this game finally does end up shaping up. But there are a few players that have achieved this goal. Just a select few that have been able to be at every single TI. Let's get a little bit of insight as to how they've been able to do it.
And then there were 2. They're the only 2 people here who have been to every single TI.
I mean, I think it's really cool that it's us two.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a big thing to us. There's no way it's not.
What do you remember about your first TI? Because both of your experiences couldn't be more different. You came in and lost all of the games.
Yeah, it was great.
You came in and won all of the games.
I just scrambled a team, and Dota 2 came out, and some of my teammates thought it's not a serious thing.
For us, it was just like a test. If we're actually the best team, we should be able to win this.
And when did you first meet? Do you remember?
We met first 2008. Yeah, we played together the LAN tournament DreamHack.
And then I'm like the tallest man he's ever met or something, but he already knew that because I was in pictures.
It was like a rocking, like a good hairstyle. I actually.
You had long hair?
Yeah.
Hang on,
Yeah.
I'm gonna look that up.
You were 16, I was 18.
16, yeah.
Oh my God.
Usually people with that hair say Led Zeppelin or something like that, you know? What? What's wrong with it?
No, nothing's wrong with it. I think it's
Jaw-dropping.
It's beautiful. It's,
Yeah, look at that scarf. What a terrible decision.
But yeah, to answer your question, that's when we
Thank you,
first met.
Kuro.
And we played, and we were like, hey, like we like each other, the way we play, or we're smart about the game. Let's make a team together, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was a mutual respect, kind of right off the bat.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. By TI3, you're both on Navi. What was it like to actually be there playing a TI on the same team?
I came with no expectations, personally, and we just did very well. I mean, we're so close to win.
Alliance were quite a dominant team, and their meta was like invincible during that time. There was no beating it. You would just have to copy it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
They were the best. I mean, what Alliance did is, till today, it has an effect of how Dota changed. They just broke the game apart and reinvented the game in a lot of ways.
What made you decide to leave Navi together and form Secret?
You know, okay, we got like second place at TI3. We almost won it, but it wasn't a happy moment for us during the grand finals. There was a lot of conversation between players and stuff, and it was not nice.
Poppy and I are just extremely ambitious, I would say. And when we feel like it's not being followed up by our teammates, you know, we'll go forward. We're going to keep going forward in this game. And just came to that point.
So what do you think happened in TI5? You were heavily favored when you came in. I think you finished 7th. Didn't do so great. And then you decided not to play on the same team anymore.
I think there's a Dota part and the human part. I think Dota-wise, we were not prepared to win.
Team had weak chemistry, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure.
We were actually all the best players, I would say, individually.
Yeah. It was just a raw skill team.
Especially in that team where we all knew that we were all really good, criticizing is a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
You're always bottling in, kind of like, all right, I can't say that or something. You just keep bottling until it explodes, and it did. Good for us.
I mean, good experience, you know, made
Yeah.
us stronger.
Made us stronger.
And I mean, this is the thing we're giving to our new teammates. This is why Poppy can lead like one of the best teams in the world.
Right.
He's teaching them like how to deal with problems and all the things we failed in TI5, maybe even TI4 or whatever. We learned, and we're good at conveying this message.
So were you guys always friends, or did that kind of start a little bit of strife between you guys, or did you leave on good terms?
Not good terms, I would say.
No.
I'm sure that was my toughest time of all in like my career. To look back, we needed to part ways.
Yeah, I think we're both happy where we're at nowadays.
Yeah.
And we already talked a lot about our problems, whatever. It's just like, I don't know, like it's life. It's, you know, we spend so much time together in this game. This game is intense, a very intense game. Emotions go very high. It's not just friendship, it's friendship and business.
How did you become friends again?
After time.
Are we friends?
We just go to yeah. Cut the camera. Take that one.
Happy to be here.
Me too.
And it's cool that we're doing this.
Yeah, it is really cool.
They talk about the raw skill that they were able to have on a team, but how do you refine that? And ultimately, we see them in two very different places. And the question when we look up on the main stage right now is going to be on Puppy. He's one of those players that we look at to not only be somebody who's made it to every TI, but to actually do something that has not been possible yet. Is he going to be able to have 2 championships? Is he going to be able to win 2 TIs?
We'll see. I want to see the real Team Secret play first, because that game, I know they won, but that was a miracle. That was one of those games that it's unexplainable. It's the one mistake. Like I said it already, but the one hero that can't die without buyback dies without buyback. Like I've lived it, and it's crushing.
It's also one of those ideas too, where yes, we know that they are the team that is of a caliber where if there is an opening, they're going to be able to execute on it, right? But they need to be able to consistently create those openings if they want to not only make it through this elimination series, but make it all the way back to the good graces of the grand final. And I do want to talk just a little bit more about some of the things you saw in the draft, because I heard you two really going at it before we got on the panel, talking about all these different things that happened in the draft. For anybody who didn't get to hear the conversation like me, Lacoste, what were the main things that jumped off the page to you?
Well, Alchemist had a really good early game. He was uncontested, 0 deaths. You do not want to be in that kind of position where he just goes that way, and they had a lot of sustain with Witch Doctor heal. Witch Doctor was extremely good pick in that scenario, because he's good against the Visage Birds, he's good against Meepo, Maledict, against the Tidehunter in the laning stage. It was a beautiful pick, but in the end, it really didn't work out for them. It's not about the draft here, it's about late game decision making.
I got it. Like, it's hard to rationalize, but like Mineski won that game, except for the result. They don't get the W, but they won the game. It's just that it's Dota.
Which is even more soul-crushing, right?
Well, and for Secret, you could kind of see that a bit. As much as maybe it's a pick-me-up, they left that booth, and they did not have big smiles on their face. Yes. They had this look like, we got the win, but man, we're lucky to get that win. Yeah. Like, we can't do that again.
Puppy looked pissed. Like, he downright looked pissed when you saw him walking off. And I did want to talk about that, but the thing is, as much as you're pissed, when you have the win in your back pocket, it's going to be a lot easier to swallow, is it not?
You got to look at it from the perspective of Puppy, the perspective of a captain, all right? He knows what you want to be playing your best Dota at TI, and you know what that is. The results are not nearly as important as how is my team playing. And if they feel off, he won't care if they win this series, because it means that they're going to be struggling to win the next one, and winning TI could be almost insurmountable.
Understandable. And Kyle, obviously, you've been in positions that not many people watching right now, a lot of us on the desk would not be able to relate to. Some of us obviously would be able to. But the idea of actually being up on the stage, this is your first TI casting, though, right?
Yes.
But you've been to a few.
I've been to first and the second one.
First and second, and then, So, I mean, ultimately, both of you guys can kind of answer this in some way. Obviously, every player is going to be different. When we actually look at the mental games that are going on right now, because both teams are in a very different mental state, but this almost seems like a mental battle at this point, who do you think does have the upper hand? Because Kyle's saying it seems like...
This might break Mineski. But for Team Secret, they're also in a bad spot, because Puppy understands that if they keep playing like this, they're not going to win this TI. Even in the series against EG, there were some shaky moments, and I'm going to say mid one, you expect this guy to perform, and he always delivers. But in that series and in this game as a Meepo, it was really, really tough for him.
And Fogged actually backstage as soon as he saw that locked in. I think you were actually sitting there with me. I'm not 100% sure, but he was like, glasses are on, Meepo's locked in. Like, this is going to be just such a crazy game. Yeah. They won already.
It felt like, this is mid one. He's bounced back. He's had a bad tournament. He had a bad best of 3 in the win bracket. It's like, okay, mid one showing up. Nope.
Yep.
Wasn't the case.
And we want to just, to back up and say, it's not that mid one is, we're not saying he's a garbage player. It's just that we have such high expectations. The second player all time to reach 10K MMR. You watch him stream, he'll random a hero, go Dagon first and win games. He made a Broodmother abandon playing Gyrocopter because he had perfect CS in 3 minutes. Yeah. Like, the guy does things that defy logic. We expect that at TI.
Yes. Yeah, that's why you always expect him to perform at the top level. And when he's making mistakes, I see actually a lot of the teams making some small mistakes that lead to even bigger mistakes, like canceling your TP, not using your BKB.
And now we start talking about that, but the team's going to be coming out onto the stage right now. And I got to give it to Mineski. They're coming out looking relatively confident here.
And I want to shout out to my boy Ninja Boogie. This is the man that really turned Mineski around. They were not the same team when they were that superstar squad when they had Ice, they had Jabs. This is different because of his attitude, his mentality. He's a goof. He has fun. He takes the game very seriously. They work hard, but he's an excellent person to lead your squad.
And I want to actually get to know their personalities more. Let's jump down to an interview with Jc Mineski.
Ninja Boogie.
Hello.
Nico, baby.
Hello.
It's great to have you here.
It's good to be here. Good to be here, yeah. First time.
This is your first TI interview?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, this is my first VOW tournament.
Yeah, he's never played a major or minor. He kind of skipped that whole process.
I just skipped the whole part, just TI.
That's right. You just joined in June, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So how did you come to join the team?
I'm actually not sure.
You have to ask him.
His name just popped up in one of the lists of players that we could kind of get. Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, you know, we needed an aggressive player, and he looks very aggressive. So we kind of...
Just the looks.
Just the looks. Just the looks. Not the play. No.
No, but yeah, he came in and we qualified.
So when you first come in, how did you get comfortable playing with these guys enough to, just qualify for TI? No big deal.
Well, he's kind of contagious as a person, like in a good way.
Okay.
He's
like a disease?
He just kind of like grew onto us.
Yeah.
And he kind of gave us like the energy and like, because he's like he's not a new player, but he kind of gave some life into the team, like much needed life.
Yeah, I feel like this is what they were lacking when I first came to Mineski.
Really?
His energy just like spread, and everyone was just happy to play again. Yeah.
And Nico, what have you been learning from your teammates?
Like a lot. Like I was doing mostly pop stuff in our games, outside the games as well. But now I'm more, I would say, what's the word? I'm not exactly sure.
Refined.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, kind of.
You gotta support him even out of the game.
Yeah.
Isn't that usually how it works?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, there was I think it was last year at Epicenter with a cybersports interview, and you said you didn't want to put TI on a pedestal.
Yeah.
What did you mean by that?
It's just like I hear from other people, and like it's just people. Usually, it goes when you're in TI. It goes down to like the pressure and how well you treat TI. Some people treat TI too much, and I think last year OG kind of proved that. It was just like step by step. They just want to have fun. It's not the tournament to win. So yeah, I kind of want to build that mindset too.
It's interesting you say that, because as you were talking, I was thinking back to last year and how, I think you're right. If you can play TI for what it is, which is the best way to play the best Dota, and look at it that way first, instead of if we don't prove ourselves here, it's all over.
Because like a lot of people, it's life-changing money, obviously, if you win. But you shouldn't be thinking about the money. That distracts you from. Like, I think just OG just proved it. Like. It was just all about fun, doing it together. And
friendship.
Yeah.
Did you watch TI last year?
Yeah, I did. I think they played phenomenal Dota, actually. At that time, I was a bit bitter, because I was not playing in any tournaments. I was just watching from home. But now, I see that they were actually one of the best teams throughout the whole TIs.
And now you get to be at a TI playing against them.
I hope to get a chance to beat them. So,
one day at a time.
Yeah.
We gotta survive the groups.
With your experience, do you believe that group stage is a good opportunity to create momentum to continue into the main event, or do you treat them as two separate entities?
I think it's different this time around because there's a lot less tournaments this year, right? So going into to TI, you don't really know what to expect from the teams because it's been 2 months or since the last major, something like that. So a lot of teams can be developing new strategies. So you don't really want to show everything, but you want to be able to make it out, and you want to try to make it to the winner bracket. So obviously it's good getting momentum in the group stage, but you don't want to go all out. You want to keep something back, just
hide a little something.
Save strats for TI.
Ooh. Thank you, guys. Great job.
Thank you.
Great job with your first TI interview.
Yeah.
Ish. Yeah.
I hope it's not going to be the last one.
It's still young.
We hear once again about the idea of refining talent. It's a battle of refined talent going up against a team that's done it before. Let's take a look at who's going to be able to take this series.
Team Secret versus Mineski. Game 2.
After one of the most thrilling comebacks in TI history, Mineski find themselves down to one final life. It is win or go home for the last remaining SEA team in the field against one of the tournament favorites in Team Secret. Once again, I'm here besides Febby and Gunnar. Febby, really quickly as we go into the first phase of this draft, how do you think this Mineski group of guys is going to respond to that ridiculous game 1?
They're obviously going to be kind of crushed. It's their BO3. They could have had a game 1 lead against Team Secret out of all teams. So I think the most important thing to do right now for them is to just reset their emotions, treat these games as like 2 BO1s. Don't pretend that last game didn't exist, because like Kyle said, that was a 1 game. It's just that one like slight mistake that was pretty crucial.
Absolutely. I mean, Gunnar, as we see the first phase picks coming out here, very different from the last draft. Mineski opting for the Enchantress, the most banned hero here in the tournament, alongside the Alchemist. Tiny, obviously a flex pick. What do you like? What do you see in this first phase?
Well, one of the big things about drafting in best of 3s that people don't touch on a lot is like the emotions behind the drafting. When you lose a game like that, some teams are going to lose confidence in their picks, and then the way they played and the way they got drafted, they're like, oh, maybe we should have banned the Alch. Maybe we should have, you know, for a secret, maybe we should have banned the Alch, but maybe they won't because they beat it. You know, on Mineski, maybe they're like, oh, maybe we shouldn't have picked the Alch. We should have picked the hero and let Nico play this more hard carry role than Moon. And you kind of get into your head in this draft. So I think the scariest thing for Mineski right now is for them to get into their own heads. I think this is their game and their series to lose based on the way that we saw them play in the first game. I think Secret is in a similar position from the other side. They should still be worried about their draft and change it up a little so that they can get something that they'll actually confidently win the game.
Let's talk a little bit about this first pick, Ogre Magi from Secret. This is one of the hottest heroes in the tournament. Early on in the group phase, we've gone a little bit away from it as the tail end of the group phase and the main event here has come upon us. It's either a 3 or a 5 position. How do you see it in this draft?
It's an open pick. I know Puppy has played it like his whole career. He's played it back when it was exclusively a 5. Zai, at the same time, he plays 5 heroes as 3 before anyone else did. He played Lion offlane before. I'm sure he can play this Ogre. I think they're going to kind of keep it as this open hero and see what happens.
That's true, but I think because of this Rubik pick, it's most likely going to be a 5. Because if it's a 3 Ogre and 4 Rubik, those two, like, you want at least one team fight out of those two. And they have no team fight if it's a 3 and a 4 together.
Yeah, one of the big questions on the side of Secret as we go into phase 2, that Enchantress. She has been banned first phase in over 2/3 of the games here at TI. She is so difficult to address in lane. How do you think Secret deal with that early game threat of that Ench dual lane?
A lot of teams will run a tri-lane. They could do this Ogre Rubik tri-lane with maybe a Jug or a Lifestealer. These, the old counters used to be like Ursa would beat it, but you pick this kind of carry that you can kill at level 1, level 2. Even at level 3, he's not that tanky. Some people even skip Untouchable for Enchant at the first level or 2 if they want a good creep in the lane. So I think they should try to focus on that and shutting this Enchantress's game down. But the fun thing about Secret's ban is they've already banned the Alchemist and the Wraith King. So last series we talked about Mineski really likes the Wraith King. They picked it a lot. I believe that was their first loss recently on the hero. So now they're going to be a little more out of their comfort. They're not going to have either of those heroes. So I think it's going to be a little more on Mineski to try to pull something out that they're kind of confident on.
Mineski's Naga ban was smart in my opinion because Alchemist Wraith King is gone, so Naga is a really good hero this game, and it's pretty good against Naga Enchantress because Naga just cuts the creeps against the Enchantress, and those two would have no interactions.
The side of Mineski, the tiny pick, I know Moon really likes this hero.
Oh yes.
So I think right now I'm going to kind of assume this is more of a Moon hero than as a 4. He's really confident on the hero. He plays the early game really well. helps him with his lane. Like his laning's so good that when you're this hero that gets free 20 damage on every other hero, you're gonna have some crazy lanes that are one-sided.
Absolutely. No, the stats agree with you there. It is Moon's most played hero over the last 2 patches. Raging Potato over that same time span only has 2 games on the Tiny. So we are a little bit biased toward the core Tiny going into the second phase of the draft here.
I mean, I can tell you that too, because I have them saved. I have Nana saved, Moon saved as Tiny. My friend list. That's how much he plays Tiny. And KP, I have him on Enigma, because those two love Tiny and Enigma.
Both Primordials and Underlords, and we will see that they ban the Morphling, another one.
Spawn
that
those Eidolons.
Might lean towards maybe wanting a Lifestealer from the side of Mineski. They could try to take the Lifestealer so that Team Secret can't pick it against them. Morphling's one of the classic heroes, but they're going to go back, stick with their gun. The Witch Doctor kind of carried them through the early game, in the first game.
It just ruined Nepo.
Yeah, Ninja Boogie had an absurd performance on that hero. It's one of his best heroes too, and I don't know, he carried them so hard early game.
Yeah, he made a lot of rotations. He ran to a safe lane, killed the Tide Hunter with Maledict. He went to the mid, he killed mid, he went top, he killed top, he TP'd bot. He probably played like the most active 5, in the early game. Like
he is a very aggressive player. Yeah. He knows like where to be to find those kills.
Now, Team Secret looking like Ogre will be in that 5 position, but this is only the second Magnus pick for Secret in the last 2 patches, and it was Yapsel that played it in their only previous game, so still a little bit open here.
Could be a Zai Magnus, or then, right?
Yeah, I think it should be a Zai Magnus.
Could very well be a Zai Magnus.
Or it can even be a mid-one Magnus. It's very less likely, but yeah.
They used to be ran about a year ago, I think. Back when
I do wonder,
they changed strength.
Are we looking at a Jug pick even with the Void?
Yeah, Jug's decent. If you get the spin off, his Basher can deal a little less damage. It's fairly good against Tiny Enchantress.
Yeah, it negates like the Witch Doctor and Tiny's damage by a lot too.
Yeah, I asked that largely because earlier in the tournament we saw a number of teams go to Jug as that laning core. You were talking about this earlier, Gunnar, against the Enchantress.
I could also see Lifestealer kind of. It does the same role, and I think the hero right now is a little stronger. What it provides, I think it scales fairly well, but it makes a little less use of the Empower, I think, than the Jug. The Jug is going to farm a lot faster.
Nisha special?
PA, a Nisha special, and one of the other, we were going to talk about the Ember as being the other sort of mag combo, but PA right up there with Jug and Ember.
Yeah, Nisha is crazy on that hero. Every time I watch him play that hero, he's like 20-0. He doesn't even die once. He just throws a dagger. The other 5 is dead. This Witch Doctor, he's going to get one shot at some point this game.
Yeah, usually like we don't see PA a lot because he's online very late with his Battle Free into Desolator, into BKB, but now he can skip the Battle Free, so he's online that much earlier.
Yeah, Nisha 10-1 in his last 11 professional games on the Phantom Assassin. 8 kills, less than 2 deaths, 8 assists per match. One of his comfort zone heroes. Are you worried though, does this PA have to worry about playing around the chrono as the game goes on?
Not really. Once you get later in the game, if he even gets an Ags at some point, you can set permanent blur, sit in the back line. You have a lot of these frontliners, like this Ogre is going to walk in for you even as a 5. This Magnus can even get like a 1-2 man RP. You kind of burst that hero and then you try to get out. I think they have some play potential, especially with this hero. They could pick maybe a save for the mid lane.
This PA looks pretty good, like for the lane too, because against Enchantress, PA Ogre lane will just like aim to get the CS. Enchantress doesn't have that much high DPS, and Ogre has a high DPS too, combined with PA's dagger, so he can get a lot of CS. And also, I want to point out that Mineski's damage in the chrono is the impetus from Enchantress, but it's going to miss a lot against the PA.
Yep. Right, so both teams probably looking for a ranged core as their last pick in the draft here. Mineski needing to be able to pump damage into that Chronosphere. Secret needing both a ranged hero and possibly a save. Might be looking at an OD. Sniper still on the board as we go into this last phase.
I would be maybe a little scared of a Mineski Tinker.
Okay, the Moon Tinker, we talked about that, banned in the previous draft.
That's a very good point. They can pick Tinker.
I think Secret might want to either ban it or pick a hero that really counters it. But like we said, Moon is really confident on the hero. He's played it a lot.
DP is a very good ban too.
Yeah.
Another like classic combo with the Void. You can use the Siphon
as silence. Your spirits are still going to run around.
Storm.
So there's their pre-counter to Tinker, I think.
Yep.
He has really good jump. He can catch this Void, follow him The only issue is they do have this like hard disable, and whenever there's a super hard disable against Storm, the Storm's gonna feel a little sad about his game, but at the same time, he doesn't have to carry this game. He's a PA with a Magnus. They're his carry. He is a 2. He can go in, maybe kill support, kill the off lane, die, and he's gonna feel confident that Nisha's gonna carry him.
Absolutely, and that's really goes nicely with what Team Secret has asked Mid One to do all season. That's when they've looked at their best in terms of play style. Mineski looks like they've already decided on their 5th pick. They're gonna huddle up here before they complete the draft. Man, oh man, this is gonna be tough as the game goes on, right? Because you got 2 cores in the PA and the Storm. Very difficult to catch both in the Chrono. Moon Lina is going to be the last pick for Mineski. Quick final thoughts, Febby.
It might be a potato Lina, I think.
You think so?
Yeah, it might be a potato Lina.
And Moon Tiny?
Yeah, Moon Tiny.
Okay.
If they put the Lina mid, it's a really, really hard Storm matchup. I've seen that matchup snowball really, really far to control. The Lina can kill him once, maybe even twice if the Storm tries to go up. But in the mid game, it's a Storm favored matchup. The Lina is squishy the whole game. He wants to go more like the more normal build we see is like this Yule's Aether Lens build. He doesn't really get health. People will go the damage talent, so it's a little scary for both sides of the matchup.
All right, as we get into this do or die elimination game for Mineski, here is Casey with Coach Mushi.
Mushi, I want to ask you before we get into this draft, was the Meepo pick by Secret a surprise to your team?
It's not really by surprise, but because we understand Secret, we know that they want to drag the game, and we are confident that in our draft as well. Yeah, so just let's see who play better.
I saw you huddling up with your guys right before you came out here. Can you share a little bit of what your final words were to them before you left the pod?
In Chinese thing, we have something like very funny, like important thing we need to say 3 times, right? So I just asked them, like, can we do it? Let's just repeat for 3 times. And they all answer me like very confident and very calm. Yeah, I believe my boy can do it.
Liu, Liu, Liu.
Liu, Liu, Liu.
Thank you, Mushi. Appreciate it. Good luck. Back to you guys.
Ninja Boogie, you heard him say in his interview, we have to survive the group stage first. And survive they did. Then they survived through the best of ones. Now, can they survive Team Secret? Blitz, that had to be a heartbreaking game. Being able to get the Megas, but not actually finish up the game. How are they going to be able to come back in this second game, man?
I don't know, because I thought they would be more mentally broken, but you actually saw that they looked perfectly fine. They were smiling in the booth. You saw Ninja Boogie look confident. I think what you take away from that that game is we were leading for 95% of that game. We can compete with Secret. They're not unbeatable. And I feel like that's why Secret also exited the booth, not looking too happy with themselves.
It's like the way that AUI was talking about newbie, right? Pseudo wins and pseudo losses. That was a pseudo win. Maybe you didn't actually get the real W, but conceptually you had that game won.
Yes.
So
that's a pseudo win for
treat it as a pseudo win. Now you just need to take 2 more actual wins against Team Secret.
Yeah, and for Secret, they really need mid one to come alive.
Yes.
Like I have been waiting for this guy. We were waiting for both him and Miracle to have these like game-changing performances, and Miracle delivered yesterday. Now we need mid one too if you're a Secret fan.
And it's a tough game for mid one to be able to deliver, right? A Storm Spirit. I heard the draft panel talk about there was already 1 hard disable, but then the Lina gets picked up. That's just a bad lane for you, right?
Yes, it is one of the rougher lanes that Storm plays against because every time you go for the range creep, she's going to get a free hit on you. It's really easy to set up stuns. Your hero is effectively a melee range hero because of the way that Static Remnant works. You have to get so close to be able to use it.
Trying to go for the bounty rune control. Puppy being the tankier one.
The important part, though, is he doesn't have to have that good of a game.
Yes.
Because he has a PA mag.
They talked about that extensively. They're saying, look, he is a 2 position. Even if he has a bad laning phase, even if he gets caught in some chronospheres, it doesn't matter. He's buying space for his PA mag. But like you've always told me, like in this matchup, Storm Spirit versus Faceless Void, Storm's actually, he's a good hero versus Void, right?
He's okay because he outpaces you.
Yeah.
It used to be a lot better because of the Bloodstone when it used to respawn you instantly. So you trade off the cooldown for your health or for your death.
Yeah.
But nowadays it's a little bit harder. And you see right there, Moon, mid lane, whenever mid one stands near the range creep, he's going to get nuked. He just has to accept that.
And he's going to have to sit next to the melee creeps in order to get that Remnant, and Moon's just going to take the opportunity to get shot after shot on him. We saw some of our side lanes here. It is going to be the Magnus sitting out bottom lane trying to get farmed against Nico Baby's Faceless Void. He's going to be paired up with Yapsor, so watch for any telekinesis skewer plays against Ninja Boogie that could lead to an early death. At the top lane, we do have Ragey Potatoes supporting KP's Enchantress versus Nisha and Puppy with the aforementioned Phantom Assassin. Enchantress has been like a very dangerous hero this tournament. A little bit surprised that they gave that one away to Mineski.
I think after their series versus EG, maybe they rated a little bit less.
Okay.
Secret did end up losing that game where they had it themselves. And they actually lost to it too, but maybe they just don't think they understand the core concept of the hero enough. Sometimes it's one of those things where it might be a good hero, but your team just doesn't play around it well.
Yeah. And they certainly have a really good matchup against it. Nice toss into the tower. Of course, an Ogre with 8 armor and he's 760 health is certainly not going to mind a few shots from the tower.
And he's got a stout shield.
Yeah.
This is one tanky boy.
I believe it's thick, is what the kids say nowadays. 2 minutes in, no first blood just yet. The PA is really good versus the Enchantress, right? Oh, mid one taking a lot of damage here. Moon pushing him back, but he just had the courier deliver some regen for him, so healing cell.
This matchup gets so rough at level 2 once you have that first level of the Fury Soul.
And that's a little extra damage, basically, by being able to cancel some of that healing south. Moon trying to push the pace.
And the thing for Lina is, the Storm can never pressure.
Another toss back. This one, this time around, they have a bunch of magic damage thanks to the fact they've got a Satyr ready to go, but they're not actually going to try and chase down the Ogre. Instead, they're going to keep the pressure on Anisha. Ragey Potato make sure that Puppy can't get back. Whoa, close call. Bottom lane, Zai with the Maledict on him. Will survive 60 HP. He has plenty of regen to work with.
And mid one almost got solo killed right there. Got down to 22 HP. The last hit was flying in. He fairy fires. But
this time he brings himself 2 healing salves.
And you need to in this lane. Mid one trying to get aggressive right now. If he was just a little bit further in, to pop the Vortex. But Moon now has his bottle.
There it is. The telekinesis skewer back, but not actually into the tower range. Paralyzing cast. Does a good amount of damage. Ninja Boogie gets pulled back in though, and might be still chased down as they have the boots advantage inside. Does manage to pick up the first blood. The bash from Nico Baby just happens a little too late.
And he's got to be really careful about his positioning at bottom lane. Ninja Boogie, of course, had such a good performance on that Witch Doctor last game. Just couldn't really close it out.
So it's a good start for Secret, being able to keep him down. But it is going to be a free farm for Nico Baby, it seems. They're not able to do too much. Puppy going to drop low here, turns around, setting up the Satyr, but he's going to be slowed down by the Enchant, and they don't even need the Satyr Shockwave to finish him off.
And KP having completely free lane up at top. Raging Potato, he's
gonna
got him right now. The stun flies out first, doesn't have a toss target.
Toss away, they're going to be able to get Yapsor, but he does still have that haste room. He's going to play in the river, trying to get those high ground shots against Raging Potato, positioning himself. Good LSA. Now they're going to try and challenge him. Raging Potato knows he's dead. They're just hoping to be able to get a kill on Yapsor. The last shot chased him down. Yapsor falls. The supports get traded out.
Mid one still has to be careful. He's completely out of mana. Does pop the mango, but the Lina will always favorably trade with you. And you're seeing some pings. He wants him to TP in to refill his bottle. That's what that ping was for. Saying, come over here.
And then after that, we do have the bounty rune spawning up. But this could be one of those situations where the mid laner just camps mid, right? He already is in such an advantageous position against mid one. Maybe you don't need to help out for the side lane bounty.
And you see what Raging Potato's doing? He's keeping him away from this area so he can't get the free level 6.
Right.
And he's pushing mid one towards this bottom triangle area, which is a lot less efficient to farm because when the creep wave pushes in like this, Cap, you don't automatically go back to the lane when it's safe.
Yeah, you could see mid one already, like he just has to run back to his tower because the push happens so fast from the Lina. Top lane, Puppy, gonna be slowed down by the avalanche. They do also have that tornado up. Toss to finish him off. 3-2 now to the favor of Mineski with a 2,000 net worth lead. Top CS of the board, all 3 of their cores.
And this ward has spotted mid one going into the jungle, and that's why Raging Potato is immediately gonna try to close that gap. What they need to do is Moon needs to push in the lane, he needs to go to the left side, and they need a sandwich. And that's exactly what they're doing here. Mid one. They know he's in this area. They can't allow him to get to the shrine or his level 6, but they have this angle perfectly. They spot him with the ward.
Just catch him before he activates the shrine. They have the Laguna Blade, throw all your damage. That's it. Mid one's dead. Skewer on out. Zai actually gets very low, trying to go for the power rune. That's just about to spawn to refill his bottle. Ninja Boogie knows that though, and he's gonna try and push him away. Doesn't spawn, unlucky. Instead it goes to top.
Let me say, I've seen that move happen to me so many times when I play Storm. That's why I knew it was gonna happen. Some support places a ward in your jungle when you're 5.5, and then they make that play and you always die to it every single time.
Maledict, Zai gonna skewer him up into the high ground here. Ninja Boogie's just hoping to be able to finish him off. It's gonna be close call, but Zai does have the Shrine activated. And now Ninja Boogie will slowly but surely die to YapzOr. He's even given the power to speed things up just a bit.
Yeah, no boots on the Witch Doctor. Good attempt, but nice outplay as laning phase-wise, though, because of the top lane going so good, Mineski up by 2K early on, and this is the second time we've seen them lead the early game dance.
Yeah. Setting themselves up with just really strong lanes, and PI is usually a hero that does well in the laning phase and kind of wants that early lead because of how farm heavy she's going to be with that Empower too.
But now we do have the level 6 on the Storm.
There's going to be their first Chronosphere of the game. Nico Baby's just going to go for the straight up kill on his side. The paralyzing cast bounces back to him, and they have the bashes with the Maledict. That should be enough as he has no more regen left. Give him the walk away, and let's push down the tower. Moon makes his first rotation over just in time because they kept the Siege Wagon alive this entire time.
This is a sick rotation.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, they're sandwiching Puppey up at top lane. KP is level 6.
This is a very deep dive by them. They are going to get the Fire Blast out onto the Enchantress, but so much pure damage. Doesn't matter how much armor you have, Puppey. KP will tear you apart.
I would like them to defend this bottom tower, though. If you can, as Secret, it's such a big tower to take, because it means that Nico Baby, with his next Chrono, can just rotate towards mid.
Yep.
It opens up the game. And it's an unusual maneuver because you normally see somebody TP to top, and they are, in fact, trying to defend this tower, but it's going to be too late. Puppey TPing in to no avail. This will waste his time a little bit longer. And now you have a situation where all three of your lanes have been pretty rough.
Yeah, whether it's like controlling up all these power runes, controlling the jungle, getting the gank on Storm Spirit, taking down the side lane towers, everything has gone the way of Mineski. And Secret are going to find themselves left with less and less map to be able to farm for this PA and Storm.
You know what this means now? Once you take that bottom tower, because almost nobody does it in that fashion, you're going to protect this tower till it's dead. On the side of Mineski,
yeah, your safe lane tower, you will TP and defend it.
Yeah,
from
that's what has changed about this game, and it means that Mineski can now focus all in on trying to take this mid tower. I'd really like to see the next Chrono be used to set up for a kill around that area.
Yeah, you take that mid tower away, and invading the triangle becomes a lot easier, right? That's what you've always told me. And then from there, that takes away some of the Ancients, which we saw, that gigantic stack that they had. Which is going to be cleared out some point by the PA, but just doesn't feel strong enough with only 2 levels of Empower.
Yeah, and you see KP bullying the Storm out of the lane. He's going to go for the Atos early on, and that really messes with all Storm Spirit player timing, by the way.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to go Yules on this hero. At some point, you have to get BKB, so going for Yules feels a little bit redundant. It's such an expensive item for you to grab, too. And it makes it so that you don't have to just rely on the Lina or one of your other heroes. You, as a core player, can have impact against the Storm where you normally wouldn't.
Playing a little bit of Twister.
Yeah, and look at this. They're making the rotation because they've taken all of the side towers out. They can make this play, and they have the counter initiation from Nico Baby.
It's going to pop out with the 2-man avalanche. Look for the toss away. There goes Rubik. Bye-bye. Straight into all the cores of Mineski, who actually missing the LSA. They thought that was going to be a little bit shy, but they're actually going to trade out supports here as a result. YapzOr gets as much damage as he can, but Raging Potato, he dies as mid one comes to clean it up, and this means the tower will be protected.
That took a little bit too long, or maybe they would have been able to make it over, but they are instead just trying to grab all 4 bounty runes. They might be successful in that. Nisha trying to make his way over. The Blink Strike does grab it.
Ooh, just in time. But KP, he wants to punish Nisha for making that play. They do with the Maledict. There goes the blur, the TP in from YapzOr onto the Shrine as well. Mineski did not even look like they were seriously considering going for that PA. Just a little bit of pressure to force rotations, and that's exactly what happened.
I think Mineski, again, they want to take this mid tower, but looks like they're content with just farming a little bit. A smoke even would be all right for them.
Yeah.
And for Secret, the game plan is then simple. Defend this mid tower, try to make it agonizing for them, allow your PA to get as much space as you can. This is still a very strong PA game. You're going to get Bloodlust plus Empower. She can carry them in this situation, but she needs to get some time bought for her. And that's why they're going to go for the smoke, try to defend this mid tower, maybe even catch out this Tiny here.
Raging Potato is going to die, but as Mineski runs down the high ground, they're going to be able to get some sort of opening here. They're going to try and go for mid one. First who actually got tossed in the air. The RP goes on the lead to make sure there's no follow-up on mid one with Skewer back into the tower. But Mineski, they have control of this area. They're going to be able to take down the 2 supports. Maybe Zai will as slowed down by KP. A little bit more impetus shots. He actually gets a little bit more vision. One last shot is not going to be enough. The magic stick actually keeping him alive, but it means Mineski do win the fight and do take the tower.
Yeah, you saw that both teams had the same goal. Nisha, the only way that you can enable him in a game like this is to give him that triangle, and that's exactly why Ninja Boogie is doing the right thing. Ward that area, take it away from him, and just make the map smaller and smaller for Secret.
The weird part is they have this huge ancient stack, but nobody really has the power to take it, not even Nisha yet. So even though Mineski knows about it, they can't really invade confidently and take it away.
Nisha's going to TP out, go to the triangle. Evaded Raging Potato, and so much of this game now, it feels like it's on him.
5,000 net worth lead for Mineski. That's going to build, as they do have the Hannah Midas on Nico Baby. Because at the same time, they do have the Empower on the PA. It's going to drastically speed up her time. It's Haste Rune on the ground. Mid one will grab it here, but the Eul Scepter instantly. LSA, do they have enough damage to be able to burst him down? The follow-up paralyzing cast. That'll be enough to finish on mid one, unless with the Maledict, he has to dodge every single tick, and it's just not going to happen. Doesn't have enough mana.
Even with the strength treads. And that's going to put Moon in such a good position. He's got almost 2,000 net worth, more than 2,000 net worth above this guy. Raging Potato has his Blink Dagger. They're in such a good position right now, but we saw this from the last game. You can't relax. Still feel like Nisha can do it in this game with Bloodlust and Empower. We saw it when EG played against Secret. You buff this PA up enough, she will win you the game. And she's got a nice matchup against the Void too. Void has to build the MKB.
Yeah. You have the opportunity to be able to burst down this Void, so his time lock isn't as effective. All of Secret coming over. They're going to join in the task of bringing down this gigantic ancient stack, Fade Bolts and such, making it a bit easier.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
And it will get them all shared experience as well.
This is a huge stack.
Yeah.
And they're pinging for it right now. They know
how long it takes. They know about it. Mineski.
I'm surprised that Mineski didn't try to go for this.
Yeah,
they have Chrono up too.
They know it would be a slow tank, but, you know, being next to the shrine and everything, they say maybe it's just better to get more map control. They're going to take the tier 2 top lane and go and start pressuring mid as well.
Mid one does have a haste rune, but he's got to be careful. Nico Baby, they're smoked up on this high ground area. It looks like they want to take this fight into the tower push. Secret, not showing any heroes quite yet. They know they're in that triangle area. This ward is still alive. Surprised that Secret haven't found it yet. They had to have known once that bottom tower and that mid tower got taken out, the triangle was going to be the next spot to ward. But instead, they're going to find...
They know where he is. Nisha is going to be caught by the avalanche, even though he's blurred up. Laguna play to bring him down too, and he almost had the Desolator. LSA is going to be able to catch Zai, tossed up in the air to his death. That is rough. He was 400 gold away from that Desolator when he finished up the Ancient stack, and he remains at that number now.
And what sucks about this too is whenever you have the mag on your team, every second that you're dead just feels even worse and worse. Because you know the amount of potential farm that you're losing out on is so significant, and they know that Puppey is there because the ward is still there. Haven't dewarded it quite yet. This is going to be another kill for Mineski as Puppey. He's really tanky, but will eventually go down. Moon is unstoppable, and he has delivered so far in this series 6-0-3. Conversely, the other Southeast Asian superstar, 2-2-1, might get caught out here as well. Moon in the area, Raging Potato throws out the blind stun, isn't able to find a mid one, sniffs it out.
And that may be 4 bounties. No, Nico Baby, I like this. He's playing it safe. He's not getting greedy and trying to get the other one on the right-hand side. He'll just take the one that's on their side of the river. So 3 for Mineski, as he almost has a Maelstrom complete. That'll be another way to help out against that blur advantage that the Phantom Assassin has.
Gunnar did talk about, by the way, that it was going to be a rough early game for the Storm Seared anyways.
Yep.
The Lina is going to be so good against you, but as the game progresses, the Storm always has the option cap of jumping on the Lina. It's so much easier for him to gap close. This is just the awkward part of the game where he doesn't have enough HP and he doesn't quite have the items to be able to just go on her fearlessly.
Win probability. Oh, they're going to be able to jump him with Ranabe Toast freshly picked up by KP and the Blink Dagger of Raging Potato, the last impetus. Brings him down as he skewers away. But
Now
a
that's a
smoke up
9K
from
gold lead.
Team Secret. They're going to move to bottom.
Nico Baby waiting for the creeps. They still have a tower in this area. They're going to drop the ward. They see him. They're going to see him farm up the neutrals too. Do they have enough burst damage to do this? He's got 21 charges and easily the lift onto the creep. Oh no!
He grabs a creep and Nico Baby blesses the stars and jumps away.
That's a freebie.
That is a freebie indeed. Mid one will snag an arcane rune, but certainly not worth all the trouble they made to move to bottom lane.
And we were concerned about Mineski having their spirits broken.
Yeah, doesn't look like it at all. We heard that from Coach Mushi. He said they were fine, they were calm, and confident even in their battle against the #1 DPC team in the world.
Yeah, it's such a stark contrast from the interview that we saw with RZeke yesterday, where it looked like they were just like, yeah, Casey's like, it felt like you had the better job. He's like, yeah, we did. And instead, Mushi's all smiles. He's making jokes with her. He's saying our team's good. Team looks like they're fine. So far, 17 minutes in, they've got an 8K gold lead. They're not out of the woods yet. Last game, if anything, proves to them it's not over till it's over.
The crazy part is that Mineski have been getting so many kills around the map without having to use the Chronosphere. So Secret remains scared of them at all times. In fact, so scared that they lose the tier 2 mid. Nico Baby hadn't showed himself until finally he does. He sees the Storm tiered up in the top lane. They thought that Nico Baby was behind them at mid. That's why they didn't challenge, and that's why mid one showed himself at top lane, and where he gets caught, and where Mineski see the opportunity to push to high ground.
They're going for high ground right now?
They really are.
Wow, this is early. No Rosh or anything. Zai gonna throw out the
RP. Gonna be used. Nico Baby, they don't get the burst cast on the Fire Blast. He's gonna be able to time walk away while Zai sacrificed his life at a gambit to be able to bring down the carry of Mineski. A buyback, and that's all Mineski wanted to be able to see. Raging Potato, he may be the sacrificial lamb, but no, Mineski will protect that little lamb. The Rocky boy will get away. He's got a blink dagger up. He's fine.
And that was the buyback from Zai. This has been a rough game for Team Secret. There's just no plays for them to make. With the type of heroes that they have to continue to just buy time for Nisha. He needs a BKB before he feels comfortable engaging. Ninja Boogie grabbing the Invis rune, drops the sentry. He knows where they have vision.
Dude, they were just top pushing that tower, and Ninja Boogie gets to bottom lane in time to pick up the power rune. Is it just me or is Mineski everywhere right now?
And they're gonna run into potential gift, but there's 4 heroes down here. That's why everybody wants to rotate in. They have a TP on their Faceless Void. They want to bring in more. But Moon, he thinks twice about it.
And they take the fight without Chronosphere. Is this Invis rune going to be enough an advantage? He's going to break several smokes. Going to be spotted by the Sentry. Rod of Atos goes out, but just on a Puppy. That shouldn't really matter. KP, knowing that, retreats back behind this tier 1 tower. You said that Mineski would fight to defend this tower, but will they win this fight? Is they're going to have to do it without a Chronosphere? Nisha almost saying already, the infinite shot, the last one, it hits him all the way and it ends. It nails him, and Nisha falls. Puppy, he's going to be eliminated as the Laguna Blade comes out. Toss away, Yaps are trying to hide in the trees. The telekinesis hitting Raging Potato means they can't find a 3rd kill for that. Well, mid one bides his time. I think he's looking to be able to cut some creep waves, because this is looking like desperate times for Team Secret.
And you see his net worth right now is so low. He's behind the 4th position, Tiny. Raging Potato, he's had such a good game, but it just goes to show you how far behind Team Secret is.
That is 11,000 net worth lead, about to be 12, building up, about 5,000 experience lead as well. That win probability, it's a harsh outlook. Mineski,
we saw it last
in that
game,
situation before, though.
I feel like last game was easier, though, because they had the meatball on their side. They're going to take the base fast. This situation is a little bit different because their playmakers have been slowed down so much. At this point, it does feel like Nisha has to do so much to get this win.
And he needs that magic immunity.
It makes sense, though.
Really...
They picked around it.
Yeah.
They gave him Ogre plus Magnus. That usually means that they think that this one hero will carry them in this game. Ninja Boogie probably going to get picked off once again.
Ninja Boogie's okay with that. He's at the rest of his team.
Oh, they were trying to give him the last hit.
But poor Ninja Boogie only sitting there at 2,500.
I really thought they were trying to give Nisha last hit, and both supports went for it.
Nah, dude, they're trying to give the last hit to the real carry.
Yapsor.
Yapka takes it again. Secret will manage to take this tier 1 tower, but honestly, like, they kept it alive for 20 minutes. That's still a huge success for Mineski.
I will say I think part of the reason why I think it's been such a harsh game for mid one is normally when you pick up this Storm or these like Embers for him, there's a side lane for him to rotate to.
Yeah.
But it's so hard for him to make a rotation towards a Magnus lane and conversely like a PA over lane. Like they're not killing the Enchantress even with 3 heroes there. So it felt like he had no plays to make, whereas Moon, you know, every time he goes to the lane, he's going to pick up a kill.
They're going to pick up another kill, not on a hero, but on Roshan. Give the Aegis to Nico, baby. And Mineski is ready for another high ground attempt. They immediately smoke up too, just to see if they can get
They're
that
smoking
fast
because
initiation.
Moon TP'd at bottom. So they're trying to fool Secret and saying, look, it's a 4-on-5.
Yep. Especially considering this Moon Lina has Boots of Travel and Shadowblade, so he can move his way around the map super fast. That's why they're going to try and catch somebody here, but it looks like it's only going to be Puppey if they can get the bash. Sadly, that's not the case for Nico, baby.
And Secret, they need to take advantage of the time that they were smoked. Nisha needs to push in this top lane. He's almost got his BKB. That's when the real game happens, Cap. If he can win a fight with BKB, it changes everything. If he can't, I don't know if he has a space to farm another item after that. This BKB is make or break right now for Team Secret.
Mid one is so scared at all times because this Shadowblade Lina, he's never quite certain when he can pop out and farm a creep wave. So scared, in fact, that he placed that side lane of the map and hides there the entire time before eventually deciding home is where he has to be.
I will say this Lina Gunner is correct. She's got 1600 HP.
Yeah.
All it takes is one good fight for mid one.
But if they don't manage to jump him, he does have a plate mail now, so it's not in danger of a crit dagger kill anyway. It's going to take some hefty commitment by the PA, but she can die before a single spell is cast for sure.
This Lina is so farmed, Cap. She has triple the enemy mid's net worth.
And they're just playing 4-man together. They do manage to run Anisha here. Hit him with the Avalanche. Radamatos goes down. And there goes the fresh BKB. That's going to be a Fire Blast, but there's the Chronosphere to be able to control him up. If they actually get these Infinites, Mid one actually goes through Raging Potato, be able to finish him off. The Skewer and the RP on it too. Mid one sitting on top of him with the Fire Blast as well. That's going to be the Aegis coming from Nico, baby. But KP's plenty healthy, and that's why he's going to run down Puppey. Secret, it was an okay engagement for them. Got the Aegis out of the hands of Mineski, but it still cost them a hero.
Not the worst trade in the world. And that was the buyback by Raging Potato. They need all of these engagements. The top lane is getting cut. Puppey goes to the buyback. They're going to try to all in for this.
They try and burst him down, but they don't actually hit him. The Avalanche covers the ground, and now Midwife tossed up in the air. Raging Potato made the read. The Chronosphere coming up from the Absol is beautiful, but Midwife going to get there in time. He runs him over. There goes the Lina before a single spell is cast, and now Nico, baby. He's trying to get the bash out. He's trying to finish up Midwife. Can he do it? The bash isn't good enough. Midwife triple kill. Into the trace they go. They find another kill. The PA dies. Actually, Mineski are able to get something out of this, but KP, he could stay alive for a long time, but it's underneath the tier 3. He will fall. Ultra kill for mid one. Secret, you have to be careful against this team. Just a second of weakness, and they will pounce.
And now he's almost got his BKB. That's what we were looking for. Storm in that situation so good on Lina because you'll always get the jump on her. You can get to the back line. She's decided to go for quite the greedy builds. The plate mail, no BKB, deciding to go for the Boots of Travel. She's very mobile on the map, but when it comes to just those straight up pushes, it's gonna be rough. And honestly, that all starts with Yapstar stealing the Chronosphere.
Oh, absolutely.
This fight does not look like this if he doesn't have Chrono here. You see that he locks down the entire team.
He managed to get a 5-man Chrono.
Look at how good
Nico,
this
baby,
was.
obviously, is free to be able to walk away,
The
but
zip
just
through.
a zip that manages to hit 3 different heroes. Uh-oh, back into the game. Mid one, he's been caught out. He used his buyback last time. Maledict, he should be good here as the bottle hits. Combination of dodging the Maledict hits as well.
That's flashy. Does it
be
one more time
fine.
just for good practice. Still a 12k gold lead, but a few more fights like that, and Secret are back into this.
but they can't afford a fight exactly like that. This time around, mid one will not have buyback, and we'll see what Mineski does with that information. Are they going to play for that aggressive win? Are they going to challenge Secret now, hope for the Chronosphere that gets them the kill on mid one and ends the game, or at least Elena Barracks, or are they going to wait for the next Roche?
I think instead of waiting for the next Roche, I think they need to wait for their BKBs.
Okay.
I think that's even more important here. Lena's about to pick up one. The Void is just the recipe away. That's what they have to reset off of. I'm Secret. You said the true carry of Secret, Yapzor. He's trying to make it happen right now, keeping them in this game. The chrono that he hit was perfect. It made it so easy for mid one to get on top of all those heroes. The zip through did so much damage as a result. He lined it up for him, served it up, so that his mid player almost has that BKB now. And so the fights are going to get a lot easier for him.
In which case, there's going to be a lot of pressure on Mineski to find the initiation, whether it's through a simple toss-up of the air and Ragey Potato, follow up LSA, or if it's going to be the Chronosphere to lock down the Storm Spirit. Is that who you focus? Is that you hold that Chronosphere for the Storm from here on out?
I feel like you have to. When Nisha pops his BKB in that situation, it's kind of nice to burn some of the timer out, but you're not killing him.
Yeah.
The blur in combination of the BKB, your bash, for people that don't know, the time lock is magic damage. So you're just not getting any value out of it.
And he's about to finish a basher on Nisha.
Yeah, he's getting really scary now. Once you get the basher with the Empower and the Bloodlust, like this PA is the strongest hero on the map. Her net worth is just boosted artificially as a result.
And it's so hard to be able to push high ground into that because there's always that fear of a dagger that gets a crit or a bash, providing the opening that Secret need. And they can just do that. They can just dagger you over and over and over again, wait for somebody to get low enough, wait for that bash, wait for that crit before they jump in.
I mean, part of the problem was, I think Nico maybe just got a little bit sloppy.
Yeah.
He just didn't think about it. He's like, oh, okay, they have Chrono. I'm still fine. Yep. But he does, he didn't realize, I think, in time, like, oh, wait, my entire team's gonna die because of this.
Yeah.
They still have a lot of map control on the side of Mineski, and Secret aren't out of the woods yet. But this 12k gold lead doesn't look as bad as previous games did. Like, the previous game was 99% over. This one is closer, in my opinion, to like a 70-30. You can still win this if you're Secret. Your jump just has to be real good.
They have BKB on both their cores. You farm up for buyback, and at this point, you might as well wait for Roshan as the potential spawn time is just 1 minute away. And so now the question is posed. Okay, we're actually going to smoke up here. Mineski thinking that maybe they'll catch Secret off guard. In part, maybe because it is so close to the Roshan spawning. Any sort of pickoff could lead into some big wins. They know Zai is somewhere out here. He actually ran forward through the ward and immediately TP's back.
They need the MKB right now really badly. On their Faceless Void, you saw when he was hitting Nisha, did nothing.
Well, that's a ways away. Nico baby,
Actually,
having
no ways
just
to deal
completed
with
the Mjolnir.
None of them are even close to the MKB.
Yeah.
So yeah, Nisha's game continues to look pretty good. He's 0-3, but I mean, they're putting all their hopes on him.
Right. And he may soon eclipse Nico Baby's net worth. There is still Moon sitting at 16k, but as we saw from that last fight, it is very easy to take that hero out of the field without anything being done. Nisha also has to be careful of Lena hunting him down with that Shadow Blade. He's got 2,000 HP, but even just getting caught by an LSA at the start could lead to much, much worse outcomes. 21-12, 13,000 net worth lead for Mineski, 30 minutes in. As you heard Blitz say, feels like this is more like a 70-30 game, and the win probability does agree. If anything, it's even more in the favor of Secret.
What's it say?
Yeah, look at that. 84-16 is what it was at 20 minutes when we had that big fight, the big turnaround now, 64-36.
Yeah, I'd say that's around right.
Mineski is beginning to lose some control of this game. They do have enough to be able to get all the bounty runes, though.
Oh, could you imagine if Mineski lost this game?
2 heartbreaking losses, it would be a story, that's all right. Mineski. They need to be able to pull out this win. Heartbreaking losses. They got Megas against Team Secret, against the huge favorites, a blink away from Zai. Gets away from Raging Potato, just away. And now Mineski, chasing these heroes out, are going to turn back towards Roshan. But Nisha doesn't want to give them that full map control. He's going to push out mid. Can they go to Rosh?
Puppy should call his team. Let's smoke.
Yep.
This is a good fight for them. They've got a Storm Spirit. They're calling mid one over. Smoke by the Shrine.
This is going to be too late. This is going to be too late. The Roshan's going to fall so quickly. Look at this. 1,000 HP. It's going to die. And what are the Secret going to do with that information? Are they still going to go for the engagement? Are they going to think Mineski will be sloppy in their positioning? They hold in the mid lane, waiting for someone to step out a little bit too far. Is that Raging Potato? Is he going to be the one who steps a little bit too far from his team? Sure enough, telekinesis and a quick assassination by Nisha. But Nico Baby, he's not too far away. Secret, run to the right instead of running down lane.
Oh,
They had the Chronosphere. He tells Menace to catch mid one, jumps on the edge. Nico Baby popped the BKB, but the Chronosphere stolen by Yapzor. Can he turn this around? Mid one dies. Just as the Chronosphere fades away, Yapzor looking to be able to turn this, has telekinesis, toss him the air. Yule Scepter, Zai immediately throws out the RP, locks down Moon.
Who's getting low? They need a blow up.
Skewer, force half away. BKB activated. Nisha having a hard time. There goes the Chronosphere, but can they do anything about it? Nisha looking to be shoved on the edge and a crit. Takes out the Lina. He does have buyback though, and Nisha's being controlled up. Can Nico Baby actually get the bash? He managed to get the jump away as Maldic on him. Nico Baby doesn't want to overcommit, but he does have the ages with his telekinesis. He'll actually die to tier 3. Lina does not buy back. She could join her team if she wants to in this push.
I don't think Moon wants to get into a position where he buys back and they have to race again. That was the Aegis used. They've got to reset off of this. And the Yapzor, once again, with the Chrono Steal, the positioning of it was perfect.
The toss forward, the skewer back. KP, can they actually get him? They need another crit to force that away. Nico Baby looks to be able to slow down Nisha. The Rod of Atos actually gets him in PA. Stuck. KP starts getting up. Now the paralyzing cast. Ninja Boogie. What a swing. And Nisha being locked down. He will fall. No buyback there either.
19k gold lead, 3 heroes down. Nico Baby going for the melee racks. They're in such a good position right now. All they have to do, take the racks, reset. The Storm's about to be alive. Secret, they've got to be careful though. They've got no big spells to defend this with, no RP. And now, okay, now they've learned, surely.
Blitzdoda, if you could go back in time and change one thing about your life, what would you do? Mineski, they're certainly contemplating that question. Is that last game, and the choice around the Megas ends up losing them the game against the favorites in Team Secret. They've learned their lesson. They're going to go back in time here with this game 2, try and play it even safer than they did in game 1.
I thought that was a real question.
No, I'm not actually going to ask you that question. That's a little too deep for this broadcast.
Oh, no, I instantly have an answer.
Oh, what's that?
I'd say, yes, OD Pixel. I'd love to pass it.
26-14, Mineski holding a gigantic lead. But there's still that window. There's still that sliver of chance. Team Secret. So they're going to be caught here. Nico Baby, he knows it's somewhere around here, but he doesn't find mid one. He jumps into the shrine area. Fair enough. They'll just take the objective instead of claiming a hero.
This does
maybe not.
Strangely feel like deja vu.
Look at them. Look how safe they're playing. They say not even the shrine is good enough to take right now. They have a double damage on the ground.
You gotta feel for them. They look so skittish.
Look at him. He's just like, wait, I'm not gonna take this DD now. I'm gonna bottle it up. I'm gonna do every little thing that every pro player does to make sure we enable a win here.
This is adorable, because I think if last game hadn't happened,
yeah,
they would have sort of just gone for it.
Oh,
Now
yeah.
they're like,
if you're 1-0 against Team Secret, I bet Moon buys back and they push high ground together.
Try to get 2 sets or something like that?
Yeah, yeah.
But instead, they are they're checking all the boxes because Team Secret is always dangerous. They're so wily.
Yeah, that's a good point. How much of this is just Team Secret? The team, the legacy.
By the way, I think the game might have been over if Nisha doesn't get the crit there, because Moon had a cheese. He would have reset that fight hard.
It would have been over if Yapzor doesn't position the Chronosphere just right, that a melee hero could reach through the Chronosphere to hit the Lina.
His split second timing was phenomenal. And right now, Zai, he's got a 4-staff, he's got a Blink Dagger. He needs to hit a pretty big RP. You can't keep relying on Yapzor to steal Chrono and then hit the perfect Chrono.
Yeah.
Surely he's not going to do it 3 times in a row, right? I'm super down to see it, but if you're Secret, you're like, Yo, a third time? Yapzor, just one more? You think you can do that one more time for us?
Can Secret pull out the miracle? Can Yapzor do it? One more rabbit out of the hat. Number 1 and 2 isn't enough, it seems.
This was a Deso Rubik that we saw in the last game, right?
Yeah. I mean, such a clutch decision making in that sort of high pressure situation. Cool idea by Yapzor to be able to buy that item, help them time walk, trying to get the force staff over to the other side, but everyone from Mineski is here, and they've just been gifted a kill in Yapzor.
When he dies fast.
Yes.
And
yes,
they're going to get the instant D ward. Yapzor was just trying to get out, play some aggressive vision for his team so that they could do something.
Oh, this is big. Abyssa Blade now for Nisha. Now when he jumps one of those heroes, maybe the PA, maybe the Lina. Instant disable into potentially one-shotting that hero.
KP needs armor right now if he wants to survive this. He doesn't really need a BKB. He's not being focused like that, but
yeah,
some armor would help his cause greatly.
They already have the Shivas on, so maybe it's Lotus Orb for KP.
By the way, check out what Mid One is going for. I think he's kind of sold out on this principle. He's like, guys, I'm not carrying this game.
No.
But I can try to make this game easier for everybody. I can give you a mini RP.
Yeah. I mean, the right kind of clump up, whether it's the RP or this Aghanim Scepter from the Storm Sphere, could mean that Nisha comes in with that cleave, with that empower.
It just takes one. It really just takes one fight. If Nisha can get into three heroes, just hit into the center with that cleave, he will blow people up.
That's the mantra of Team Secret right now. It just takes one, and that's the words echoing through Mineski's head.
They know.
Them doubt, causing them fear whenever they try and push for the high ground. That's why they're trying to get these next round of items.
The wild part is how tense this game is. Like, only Secret, where you can see as a caster that Mineski's up 22K, and we're still sort of holding our breaths.
I mean, no matter how many items they get, no matter how much the net worth climbs up, it almost doesn't change that win probability. It is staying deadlocked, giving Secret that like good 10% to be able to work around.
Yeah, Dota Plus at this point is saying, are you gonna do it? Will this be the one fight?
KP, it's gonna be a march forward. Telekinesis, Nisha actually choosing to jump and pop in the BKB. Can they blow him up in time with the Fire Blast? Multicast, they will. No buyback there. Oh, they got the RP! No Chronosphere for Utah! Mineski! They bobble the fight, and now they're gonna lose 4.
There's a gem on the ground too. That's 4 heroes down. Nico Baby, his hands were up in the air.
He was trying to let it go, but Nisha slaps him in the face, says no. Not here, not today.
That couldn't have been more perfect because then Zai comes in with the RP.
Blitz, do you believe in that 10%?
I do. I told you, it just takes one fight.
Mineski. Oh. They're going to start losing some towers. Everything is still fine, though. Don't panic. Mineski still hold the lead. The game is still in their favor. And they can still pull out a 1-1 and push this to a game 3.
They might have to be forced into a buyback situation right now as Nisha has a DD rune. It's still really healthy on its timing.
They don't have the buybacks. They don't have it on Nico Baby. They don't have it on Raging Potato. So they just may say
Secret are going to take Rax first
to the mid lane of Barracks.
They're actually going to take the full set first.
The double damage wears out. LSA leading the way. Just a bit of damage on Anisha, trying to force something out. He does have a BKB and Abyss Blade ready to go, but there it goes. Melee Barracks follows.
Nope, both teams are now even. One Rax
are
apiece. I thought that Secret was going to take the first full set.
Yep.
Oh, and Mineski, that gold lead. Let's see it. Bring it up for me.
It has been plummeting downwards. 13,000 lead only for Mineski. Experience
quite updated yet.
Almost dead even, but look at this in top lane. Moon, he's found an opening. Here's a massive one if he can complete the kill on the mid one. BKB, he doesn't jump away. He gets the kill, but can they force the buyback and not get caught for it? The Ghost Scepter on the Yapzor into the LSA. They got another kill. Moon, he's going to start backing away a little bit. He's a bit scared. Doesn't have his team behind him, and he knows there could be a buyback for the Storm Spirit. He does not want to let that pick be traded away. He got an advantage for his team.
That is a massive advantage too. This is going to allow them to play aggressively, still, the gem that they lost, I think, is the even bigger draw.
See that fight again where they blew up KP and the
hands were in the air.
He tried so hard to get that chrono out. But Nisha, quick with the fingers. It would have been a wipe if he'd actually gotten the range, the dagger bash onto Moon, but...
See mid one, that sigh of relief. And if you're Mineski, especially with how the last game went, that familiar fear in the pit of your stomach has to be growing.
Yep.
It's got to be gnawing away at you at this point.
And we're getting into some crazy level 25s here. I mean, this PA is already a monster. If you get her to 25, the triple strike stifling dagger.
The thing about Secret is they've had to do everything right to get to this point, to even get to this point, to bring it back to 15K. The 2 consecutive stolen Chronospheres, then that fight where Nisha at the very last second gets the Abyssal Blade on a Nico baby and the stuns.
Roshan's up right now. Mid one could buy out for the Aghanim Scepter if he wants to. He'd be about 500 shy of having buyback. But it looks like Secret, they may not be able to get in the pit in time. Honestly, Mineski just taken out so quickly. They're going to be able to get one steer back here. Raging Potato, he does have that Ghost Scepter protecting for a little bit, but honestly, too much control. They trade out Raging Potato's life for an Aegis, and that's fine. 70 seconds for the timing he comes back, but this Aegis will last the 5 minutes.
Well worth it for his death then. 13K now. They cut it by 2 despite the Roshan kill, which is pretty rare to see, but because they are ahead, that kill on the Raging Potato meant so much. And he's almost even net worth with the Storm Spirit.
Blitz, you're Mineski's coach right now. What are you telling them? How are you telling them to siege high ground? What are you looking for them to do?
I mean, first thing I'm telling them is like, why'd you guys hire me as coach? The second thing is, I'm probably telling them, you gotta calm down.
Okay.
The game is still in your favor. Yep. The same principle that applies to Secret applies to Mineski. They just need to hit a really good chrono. Yeah. They catch 2 cores. The game is still very much in your favor. This is the time to calm down, breathe. Because Secret right now, they've got something scary. They've got momentum.
Whoa, that tunnel plus. It just decided that Aegis and Cheese isn't good enough for Mineski, and that the game is dead even now.
Yeah, I think they've said like, okay, Secret is, they just teamfight really well. Let's swing it back a little bit. I think as the game goes on, it really favors that PA-Mac combination, and rightfully so. It's so strong. KP?
Gets away, gets wards down 2.
They should have knowledge that there is vision there. There's no other reason that the Ogre is that far in.
There's a lot of items on Nico Baby. He's got Aegis, Refresher Shard, BKB Satanic. All of these items, 3 of them being activatables, need to be used in this next fight because Secret will have the advantage of buying back when it comes to the high ground push, right? That's the super scary part, that PA and this Storm Spirit can get back into the fight super fast, and it's not simply going to be a 5 versus 5.
Yeah, the weird thing about being ahead like this is you almost feel like you have to be the team that pushes in because you want to take advantage of your net worth, but Secret have such a good high ground lineup. It's so scary going through a high ground where you have to fight through BKB piercing abilities. That's a principle that EG held onto at TI5, you know, pick up Universe Enigma or something like that, so that you can always deal with when a team goes high ground. Even if you're behind by like 10K, you've got a Chronosphere, an RP, something along those lines where the other team thinks twice about just blindly going high ground.
Yeah.
Because in most situations, 20K gold lead, you're just thinking to yourself, okay, let's go for it. What are we waiting for? But in this position, Mineski's thinking to themselves, it just takes one fight. We've got to be careful.
Radabatos on an illusion. Say, fine, we'll take that Storm Spirit illusion for ourselves. Smoke from Mineski. It's not going to result in any easy opportunity for them. Instead,
oh, this game's stressing me out for both sides.
They're going to have to do it the hard way. They just spotted Nisha. Not really, because he's blurred up, but they know that he was in that mid lane. Mood. He's trying to find his opportunity. He's found a small one in Puppy. He's going to try and execute him real fast. He does have the gem. That's why Zion's going to pop his head outside the base. Double 4 staffs, and Puppy does get away.
Oh, that's a Laguna Blade steal by Yapsor.
Oh, no. These ultimates being stolen by Yapsor. They've already changed the fate of this game once and twice. Can it do it again with this Laguna Blade? This Nico baby not going to live to see the light of his BKB and Satanic. Ethereal Blade up for Raging Potato. Big burst damage. He also has the toss requires no targets. That could be a way for him to get heroes out of position when it comes to that high ground push.
Maybe even a save too. You can act
Could
like
be.
a pseudo snowball.
Yeah.
In that regard, try to get your team out. Oh man.
Nico Baby is almost level 25 as well. Do you take that 25% backtrack? I mean, just imagine he backtracks a crit.
I think the bubble is too good. The super bubble is so good.
We'll have to see. This is just going to be all about feel for Nico Baby. How does he feel this game's going to go? What's going to win him the game? This is one of those games where the branches of fate just spread out. The what-if game begins. You ask yourself, Mineski, if they closed out that game one, how would they be playing right now? Would they finished up the game already? Is the fear that they will lose this 2-0 against Secret? Causing them
hero here.
out of position and dead.
The execute by Yapzor. Trying to get to that Aghanim Scepter, that would be huge for him.
Well, if they didn't know about the Laguna Blade steal before, they certainly do now. No buyback for KP, but everyone else in the game does have it. Secret, just to pick off on the Tiny, they know how disruptive he's been in these engagements. They feel confident to go outside their base. A little bit more free area to farm. The triple dagger is up. The Aghanim Scepter is here as well for the Storm Spirit. He's looking for Scythe next. And Puppy, he's gonna play the Bumbling Fool who just goes into the high ground blind, but it's all an act. He knows the rest of his team behind him. He's super tanky. He's already survived through one round of Lina spells. He could do it again.
At this point, the farm is whatever. It really just comes down to the one team fight.
Yeah.
That's why mid one isn't trying to go back for anything like the Orchid or the Bloodstone. He's just itemizing for the late game team fight.
But the Aegis down, level 25 achieved for the Faceless Void. You're right, the AoE is too good to pass up, especially with that Refresher Shard. 2 times of the gigantic AoE Chronosphere.
And the only person that I've ever seen go for the backtrack talents is OD Pixel.
Somebody did it actually this TI.
Really?
I don't remember who. Yeah, that's why. That's why the conversation was only way we would talk about it.
The plus 175 is so good.
Yeah. I mean,
It makes it so that it's so hard to whip these fights.
Yeah.
And everybody has to be careful. There are a lot of melee heroes.
like, how do you get into these fights as a Storm Spirit, as a Mag, as a PA?
There's a Nullifier
Sphere is just
on
going to be
Nisha.
so big. Nisha's Nullifier could play a big part here with the double cheeses on KP. They actually stacked that regenerative item.
This is such a killer build. 3k HP, the Satanic gives him the status resistance. It's not going to be easy to burst down this PA. They put so much into her. They gave her the perfect situation. Mid one to sacrifice his own game with this item build. He's saying, I trust you, Nisha.
At the same time, if Nisha's the one that jumped on, they're going to have a Silver Edge soon for Moot. Looking to break that lure mechanic.
The biggest issue right now for Mineski is they just have not been able to start fights.
Yeah.
It's always been Secret jumping them. We've seen 3 fights in a row now where Secret finds the jump.
You know what? We don't know what's going on in the booth. Is it composure or is it fear? But if it is composure, I have to admire Mineski for just continuing. Like, they'll smoke up, they'll try to find a pickoff like this for Raging Potato, but they never go all in. They never give Secret that opportunity. They're gonna go for Puppy here. Chronosphere does manage to catch Yapzor in the back, but it doesn't catch the core. Midwest gonna able to roll up the 2. The Chronosphere, second time around, they're gonna be able to catch him with the Chronosphere. Yapzor getting stopped. Oh, the little jump! It hits Zai with the OP, and now Mid-One's gonna fight back. Here comes the Chronosphere. The long zip in for Mid-One's not here yet. Now the zip in occurs, but it's a bit too late. Nico Baby's already jumped away. He's gonna be able to grab the lead, though the second RP from Zai. Now Nisha jumps in, wipes out, Nullifier, not gonna be saved by the Gold Scepter. That's Selena dead. Buyback's already flowing out from Mineski. Are they gonna use it on Selena as well? They will. Cheese up for KP. He's gonna eat it again. Can he survive through all this one? Nico Baby jumping in, but immediately gets controlled up. He's gonna buy back as well. Now KP ultra kill. Ultra kill for Nisha. Now Yapzor found no one. They're going to be able to catch Raging Potato. Does have the interior blade onto himself. Ninja Boogie begins to back up. Gold Scepter. They have no buyback on KP. They're going to have no buyback on Raging Potato. Do you believe in the 10%? Are they going to be able to go down mid and force a 3 versus 5?
Unbelievable. They found the double chrono, but Yapzor steals it once again. And that was the perfect fight for Mineski. The Mjolnir actually hits Zai, so he can't RP the Void when he walks close. And if you can't do it with 2 Chronos, what is it going to take at this point? Mineski, I mean, this is a heartbreaking situation for them right now.
Ninja Boogie, look at the spray on the ground. Loser, I've got you, Ninja Boogie. Zai fishes him out. That's another hero without buyback. Moon, Nico Baby. They're the only ones left alive for Mineski. How are they gonna hold? How are they gonna repel the 5-mana Team Secret, who's now inside their base? And this time, they don't have to go for tier 3s. This time, they can go straight for the tier 4s. And this time, can Nico Baby land the Chronosphere? He's got 12 seconds left. Can he pull out the miracle? 8 seconds. 1 tier 4 dead. 2 seconds.
The Dream Chrono.
Another tier 4 gone. 0 seconds. The Chronosphere's up and he goes for Nisha. He's going to try and take out the Venom Assassin as quick as possible. Look at the damage flowing in. The bats are going to be good enough. He's dead. Instant buyback though. Puppy going to be chased. Nico Baby's already flown his BKB. The secret. They said Nisha was a fine target. We are still out. They're going to be able to lock down KB. But now short he dies. KB's up and now the Chronosphere plays against the Storm. He dies to the Infinite. Zai, he actually managed to take it. Can he get away? He's trying to jump away from Nisha. He's trying to finish this up. Zai managed to live. They need the buybacks. They need to be able to get Moon. He's going to be able to get the bash. Moon trying to drift away. Moon's still alive. The telekinesis. This was the one. Nisha's gone. Baby dead. Nisha, he's dead. Secret, dead with 3. Dead with 3. Yaptor.
They don't have buyback cap.
Nico Baby.
It won't be Deja Vu.
He can do it. They're going to be able to run down mid.
Unbelievable. They actually helped.
Mineski. They're going to go down mid. And this time, Secret, they're left with Yapsor.
Can they make their own miracle hold?
They're left with Zai. How could these two possibly hold
we just asked that
against
question.
the course of Mineski?
Could you hold 2v5? Mineski says yes, absolutely. Backs against the wall. Their tournament life's on the line. 2v5 doesn't matter. Mineski, they bought enough time. KP comes in. Nisha went for the win.
Mineski have had the composure to run this game late game against Team Secret. They said to a man, we will take you to the late game and we will beat you. And now that same composure lets them go for the Roshan. Aegis, Cheese, Agnes.
They're paying pressure force right now. They don't want Deja Vu cap. They want this game to be over, but first, they've got to kill these 2 heroes.
Into the tier 4s they go. Zai has to make the RP of his life here.
They need to hold 30 seconds for 2 heroes to come back.
15 seconds for mid 1. 1 tier 4 already down. Nico Baby about to finish up. There goes the skewer. Brought in raging a potato. He has the ult scepter. He has the force staff. He can get out of this mess. KP tries to save that.
They're just hitting the throw.
He's able to stop him. They're going for the throw right now.
Right now.
Speed. 2 seconds. Mid 1's almost up. But Nico Baby, he's trying to finish up the Chronosphere to let it go. And do you believe in miracles? Mineski. 1-1. They've tied up the series. They will go the distance with the #1 DPC team in the world, Team Secret.
Oh my word, I cannot believe Mineski. I thought it was going to be the same situation. That would have been the most heartbreaking way to ever lose. And the crowd, they were cheering for Secret, but right now you've got to show love. Mineski, they lost every fight but the one that mattered.
Oh, Mineski, look at the relief on their face. Oh, what a crazy game. What a crazy series. 2 different rushes to hit the throne, to end the game, to kill the Ancient. That's the name of the game, Defense of the Ancients. Game 3 is coming soon. I cannot wait for more. But first, we have to see the panel.
My goodness, I think going into that game, one of the biggest talking points that we had was, is Mineski just going to be broken? Well, I think we definitely have our answer after that one.
Holy shit.
Wow. What just happened, guys?
I thought we were going to have a replay of game number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know where you begin. Like, mid 1 zips into the chrono. Goes down. Like, Dude, I have worn heart rate monitors playing qualifiers for my house, and I hit 160 beats per minute. These dudes, like...
Yeah, it's like one of those things where us reacting to it right now, we're all going crazy. Can't even imagine what the players are going through. I actually want to take a look at Cap during that matchup.
Will's just like, dog.
Oh man, you know, I know a lot of Dota fans. There's a little saying we have in Dota, and that's "Cat makes us wet," but it looks like he makes himself wet as well. And I think that this reaction is totally justified in the moment. What do we think the rest of the series is going to hold?
I think Cap should start selling his casting water for sure.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good
Write
idea.
that down.
Sell Cap's fluids.
Jesus Christ.
In the end, I think that Mineski didn't even know if they have a buybacks or not because the game was so chaotic. So they instead decided to go for Roshan just to be sure.
Me and Parker are freaking out. We're like holding hands. Where's the sense of urgency? They're killing Roshan. We know that the throne is going to be exposed. There's heroes dead without buyback, and Mineski are in the pit. It doesn't hurt them, but...
And one of my favorite things about being at an event is actually watching Nahaz watch Dota. Nahaz was so angry. He looked so angry during that moment. I looked over, I actually took out my phone and recorded Alan. He was screaming at the heavens during that moment. But is that just one of those things where you want to make sure that you're crossing off your T's and you're dotting your I's?
Well, because you're not doing that. That's the thing. Like,
yeah,
when you're doing that, you're making sure you get the win. What they did almost could have lost them that game.
Yeah.
It was, whew. I mean, that's late game Dota. It's crazy. It's chaotic. We love it.
And it's also a product of this being a BO3 series, right? Because the first game, Mineski, they've gotten the bag, they've got Megas. Alchemist dies under tier force. You can't blame them playing a bit more conservatively in a similar situation.
Yeah.
And Kyle, I know you actually grabbed a little bit to put the microscope on this matchup and how it actually did go. I kind of want to take a deeper look at everything that did happen in that game.
Oh, the story of this series, man. Ooh, hang on one second. There we go. So I want to just break down the early game edge that Mineski picked up in this series. You can see right away, 7 minutes into the game, 3K gold lead, Witch Doctor blocks the Ancients. They're already there, but they're aware of it. That's the key. Now, Storm zips in. Look at this target. Look who they're going for. That's a tiny. He's got boots and a magic stick, 1200 HP and 12 armor. All of a sudden, yeah, sure, you're going to collect this kill, but if we glance over to the right, there's this huge team fight going down that mid one isn't a part of. 5K gold already. Now, those Ancient stacks, yeah, Mineski don't block them. They're there, but if you check it out, the map control, it is only 13 minutes into the game. You've got 3 wards placed all on the enemy side of the map. Mineski, they're spread out, collecting towers, jungle camps, gaining a gold lead. You have nearly all of Secret's heroes on this screen right now. They're taking 45 seconds almost to clear this Ancient stack, and Mineski, they're just taking map control. Yeah, there were some sick plays. You had Rubik RPs, the sick Rubik Chrono with the mid one buyback through, but Secret have to make all of these big plays because otherwise they're just going to lose the game faster. It was an uphill battle the entire time, much like in game 1.
Why do they keep getting in this position where it's an uphill battle? Because that's exactly what it is. We keep getting in both of these situations, it's somewhat like reliant on a miracle. Why do we find ourselves here?
I mean, it's TI, you're in an elimination game, there's going to be some weird stuff happening, and you're going to rely on the late game Dota. Like, no one wants to make a mistake and be punished for it, especially after the second Roche.
I also feel like Secret's maybe drafting too much for the late game because what Mineski have done is partly why they dominate. They pick good laning heroes. They have Enchantress. They have this Lina versus Storm matchup made. They have a Tiny. They have these heroes that can crush the lanes, and as a result, Secret playing from behind 2 games in a row.
Yeah, I feel like I heard you saying that over and over again, the idea of, did you think that Secret was going to be able to catch back up, though? Because I think you knew that they were playing for the late game, but...
This game more so than game 1, because this game, Mag PA, high ground defense is so scary. They lost that top lane of Rax. You still feel like comeback potential was there. Mineski really had to, fight hard before they could get that win. Even when they're up 15K gold lead, it still didn't feel like their lead was safe.
I think Team Secret needed Eon discs, either on Storm Spirit or on Phantom Assassin late game, just so that they can die in the Chronosphere. I mean, Satanic is nice for the HP, but status resistant, it does not work in Chrono.
And we're now on the precipice of a potential history-making moment. If Secret lose this game, it would be the first time in the history of TI, the history of all Valve major events where the 4 upper bracket teams that get knocked down to the lower bracket would be eliminated as well in the first round of the losers. All of the underdogs that survive the BO1s would be top 8. At the richest TI, the richest tournament in history, all of the underdogs, that'd be insane.
It's crazy. Dota, there's just so much parity. It's the playing field is more even than ever. These teams coming out of BO1s, yeah, maybe they're slight underdogs when you're playing up against likes of Secret, TNC, etc. I mean, maybe Liquid less so, but Dota is just in a great place right now.
That means that lower bracket teams are saving strats for TI. That's confirmed.
I think that one thing that we definitely do have to say about it as well, and this goes back to the interview that we actually had with Mineski, where they said we don't want to put TI on a pedestal. And I feel like that is such an easy thing to say. You know that you don't want to be doing that. You've seen where that gets so many different teams. I mean, look at what happened to VP, right? I mean, this is a team that obviously that's going to be a mental block that's in the back of their head. But you can also say, I want to fly. You're not going to be able to just do it. Some things are physically impossible. And when you're here on this main stage, when you know the prize pool, all of that needs to be kicking around in your head. But it seems like they almost don't have the mental blocks that a team like Secret might have here with all the history that they have with this event.
Yeah, I mean, we look at Liquid, it's sort of the same thing, right? It's a different story playing TI as the favorite. And that's also what makes like what OG's doing insane, because they're just casually winning games and feels like maybe it's because no one had them coming into the tournament as the favorite, right?
That was
they
smart
were middle of the
OG,
pack.
you know?
Yeah, they were just sandbagging it the whole year. We're not a threat, guys. Look at Secret. They're winning all these majors. Yeah. They're looking dominant. You know, people are calling every individual on the team like the best at their position in the world. At TI, everything changes. And now it's just one game. Who cares about the points? They don't win you anything.
You keep coming back to the idea of absolute insanity, and that's exactly what the crowd is as well. We are surrounded by insanity right now, and luckily there's one man who knows insanity better than anyone else. Slacks is in the fray right now. What's going on, Slacks?
Rich, things are absolutely blowing up here. People are freaking out. That was an amazing series. Boys, you like the Dota so far? Everybody having fun? Yeah! All right, I'm in the crowd to talk to these guys. Let's not forget, somebody's going home after this series, so these teams need a little bit of encouragement. Sir, who do you hope is going to win?
Secret.
All right, you got anything to say out there to Puppy?
Puppy, go. Be happy.
Be happy?
Yes.
Yes, be happy because you're going to win with the Storm Spirit, huh?
Yes.
All right. Sir, anything to say for Mineski?
Yeah, Mineski.
Any more?
Go!
All right, any Mineski fans? Mineski, go!
Mineski, go!
Sir, who do you hope's going to win?
KPI. Go for KPI. Go, Mineski. Go.
Mineski! All right, boys. Are you guys ready to see the end of the series? Someone going home? Let's give them one more yell. Boys, let's go! Back to you.
Thank you so much, Slacks. He is the Gilbert Gottfried of Dota.
Maybe Gilbert Gottfried is just the Slacks of real life.
True, it could be that as well, but we can see already just so many fans right now really just adding to the fire. I think when we first saw the teams come out, it seemed like overwhelmingly people were cheering for the boys that are playing against Mineski, and it slowly shifted. Yeah. At first it was all Secret, now it seems to be more Mineski.
Right now I think that they're cheering for good Dota overall. You've been to SEA a lot of times, I've been only once for Dota event, and I think this crowd is probably the best one I experienced for sure.
Everyone's just loving what these two teams bring to the table. KP himself, a guy who played in China for a long time, so he's got a ton of fans here, which is why you heard the Chinese fans shouting him out. And it's just great to see another 3-game series when we're here at TI.
Yeah, and I do think that is something that we have been hearing quite a lot when we're listening to the fans react. It is just the idea of good. Anytime you have one of those big team fights, everybody here screaming. It doesn't matter who's fighting.
I think it's important we recognize, like, if you look at these teams, this is Nisha's first TI on the main stage. Mid one, he's played here before, but they've never had the results that you'd expect. Mineski, they've got their coach combo, Mushi and Kenshi. They brought Fnatic to 4th place at TI6. Ninja Boogie, one of the most calm and collected players in the game. And yeah, it's Nico Baby's first time, but you know, everyone else, the composure, it really feels like they're the team just playing better Dota right now, or at the very least more controlled.
Yeah, Nico Baby's ultis were placed extremely well, besides the part that he's not using the second ability after he places. So a lot of the times Rubik's stolen that Chronosphere.
I do want to say as well, it keeps coming back to this idea, but I do think it's so important when you just look at the big picture right now of TI9. It's this idea, are we going to have our first two-time champ? But it's the underdogs that keep coming through. It's a lot of these people who are at TI, potentially even for their first time, that are coming out and just really able to break down these teams. And I kind of want to think about whether or not the history can almost be a negative.
Definitely. I think with Puppy and Secret, though, it's more the recent history. Because, yeah, Puppy's won a TI and he's looking for a second, but the one he won, it was TI1. That was a long time ago. And more recently with Secret, the story around his team has been the disappointments of TI and their results. So overcoming, you know, that similar mental block for VP where it's like you dominate throughout the year and TI, you just don't quite get the same results, is currently what Secret's struggling with.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I feel like it's just, I keep looking at this series in particular, even with the stat that Kyle pulled up about the potential history that could be made. There's just so much parity to all of the matches that we have seen. But now the players are going to be coming out. They're going to get into their seats, and we can pretty much rip all the pages out of the history books. This game is going to decide these teams' fate. Everything else, they need to wash it out of their minds, and they need to focus on the task at hand. Game 3, an elimination series, Mineski or Secret. Only one of them will make it to play again tomorrow up on this stage here in Shanghai to try to lift up the Aegis. We have seen just, I think, the craziest series of Dota that we've seen so far at TI, and the story really has been Secret finding themselves behind in the early game. We see an upset. Then we see Mineski able to hold strong. What is it going to look like once we actually do touch down to this draft? Is it going to be the same story? Are we going to be holding on for a miracle? I'm standing up. I'm so excited.
I don't care who wins. I want to see another Mega Creep come back. That's all I want to see. Some crazy Dota happening, chaotic, a lot of Roche fights, especially the late game with Aghanim Scepter upgrades, with Moon Shards.
Well, I mean, we've seen so many of these Mega Creep comebacks, we might need to rename them.
Oh, yeah, we're going to rename them to Omega LOL Creeps.
I like it.
Yeah. They would have won. It doesn't matter how strong the creeps were. What are you...
We worked on that one for a little while. We worked on that one.
That's what you're doing backstage? Me and Gods are over here prepping. You guys are just
we had highlight clothes good to go.
Yeah,
we wrote down everything, and it all led to that joke.
This is all the preparation, all
Nailed
these
it.
pages, just for that one joke.
10 pages.
Yeah, you know, every team come to TI, everybody who comes to TI, including the talent, you have that road, you have that preparation, and me and Lacoste have just been sending each other Omega LOL gifts nonstop. Kyle, what was your preparation like?
I watched the series. I mean, like, I don't know. I can't really turn my eyes away. This is why we love Dota. The reason TI is the biggest event of the year is not anything to do with the prize pool. I mean, well, it is. It's what the team, what it means to the teams, because it's about the pride. There's no excuses here. What you do at TI is what you did with your year. Yep. All the majors, all the minors, it's just to get us here.
I think that's such an important thing to mention because, you know, I've interviewed some of the players after their loss actually came in, and, you know, you can talk to them as much as you want about how great they did throughout the year, how great even they did in groups, but once you get to this main event, nobody gives a crap. Yeah. All you care about is how you do at TI.
Exactly, and some players really step it up, others kind of underperform, and I think the one player I really want to highlight who's played sensationally is Moon. He's been the absolute superstar of this series so far. He's dominated mid 2 games in a row. You know, he is looking incredible.
He has favorable matchups, though, both times. And that's what I think's got to switch up for Secret here. You had 3 losing lanes in that game. You're giving this just momentum-based squad, the last team remaining from Southeast Asia, a huge lead. And then you have to play catch-up the whole game. You have these miraculous team fight wins, but you know, don't put yourself in a hole. Let mid one rock. Give him something that can body Moon, or at least give him a fair shake.
Definitely seeing some patterns with playing against Enchantress and losing lanes. But I do want to kind of look at, you guys are talking about which players you want to put your focus on. Is there a particular position right now, Lacoste, in this matchup that you say, okay, look at these 2 players, look at this head-to-head. It's going to be incredibly important to how this third game actually does shape up?
Well, definitely a mid lane. Mid one needs to step up a little bit if they want to win this series, and I think they need to draft better lanes, stronger lanes, because at one time they were, if you were paying attention like Kyle, they were taking 2 tier 1 towers at the same time.
Yeah.
What do you think you can do to not completely get blown out in the laning phase, but still put this focus on that end game that it seems like they really want to do, because it's something that does seem safe when you're here? Maybe you play for the late game. Go for a strategy that doesn't have as much variance. I think that's something that God's started to allude to. So what type of heroes do you look for in the draft?
I mean, maybe it comes down to some of the pick order that you can swap up. Sometimes you'll see teams then go from having, first pick to second pick, so they're going to have that last pick of the draft. As long as mid one has a favorable matchup, or at least an even matchup, and then give Nisha hard carry. Putting him game 1 on a Visage, that's a big no-no for me. Yeah, Secret won that game. Yep. They shouldn't have.
And also, I think the 4 position. You give YapzOr Rubik twice. It's a signature hero. That's what you want him on this main stage, but the early game impact's not there. You've got Potato running around on a tiny in that second game. Like, you could see he has boots and a stick. 12 armor, 1200 HP. You're so much more impactful, and it's allowing Mineski to always win even-numbered trades around the map. If they have 2 heroes in a lane and Secret has 2 heroes in a lane, they're going to have the edge, and it puts the impetus on Secret to make plays just to equalize things.
Yeah, I don't know what impetus means, but I will say the one thing that I do know is, Kyle, you basically said in that first game, Mineski won. They won, but they still get the L. There's one opening where all of a sudden we see Team Secret come through and grab the win. Mineski is looking hot here. Are we going to see the upset? We're about to find out as we jump into this game that will decide it all in this series.
Team Secret versus Mineski. Game 3.
The DPC champions and the last best hope of the SEA region, Team Secret and Mineski, have already delivered one of the most memorable series in the history of the International, and we are moments away from the deciding game. Winner moves on, loser goes home. Our panel talked a lot about the lanes in the last part of that discussion. Do you feel like that's got to be the focal point here in this draft, especially for Secret?
Yeah, in both the games, like they said, the early game was so bad for Secret. They were down, against an Alk. They get last pick Alk. They try to respond with a Meepo. The Meepo doesn't even lane that well against Alk. He has Acid Spray. And the next game, they pick Storm and they get Lina. So I think the mid is the most important matchup for this game. I think mid one needs to get this hero that he is confident on in the lane, and make sure Moon doesn't get this 10th pick Lina that's just gonna 9-10 you, 90-10 you.
Yeah, I agree with Bunner. Like these teams, both Mineski and Secret, their mid player is their tempo controller. We have Moon on this favorable like Lina, DP, Ember, Tiny that creates tempo. So does mid one. Mid one's favorite heroes, Ember, Kunkka, Tiny, like those tempo controlling heroes. If they lose the lane, the side lanes can get a lot of pressure. Even if the side lanes win, though, it's gonna just tilt over to their favor.
Right,
whoever wins the mid.
You're talking about the importance of the side lane. Koss brought up that point that we had 2 tier 1 towers taken by Mineski before the 8-minute mark, practically at the same time. That's the first time that we've seen something like that happen, I believe, in this entire tournament. And that really catapulted Mineski into the mid game here. It almost felt like Secret wasn't even going to make a game of it.
I think it was mostly because of mid. A lot of what these teams do, if you watch Secret when they were rolling a lot of tournaments, mid one would play like a Monkey King, for example. And if you watch his early game, Secret do a lot of lane swaps. Once they feel like this hero, Monkey King or whatever in this example, is really strong, they're going to rotate it to their safe lane, where there's going to be a lot of pressure from the opposing team. And Nisha will now take this mid lane, which was already won by his team, and he's going to be able to kind of sit there and farm and catch back up there. And now mid one's kind of relieving the pressure. But in the last 2 games, mid one was under pressure. His safe lane was under pressure. They had no one to rotate and alleviate that pressure as the strong hero.
I also want to note that Secret had a lot of late game heroes that game. It was uncharacteristic of them, I think. Storm, Magnus, PA, all those 3 heroes, they don't provide anything to the team when the other team pushes, So I think that's why we saw that picture of the both side lanes getting pressured at the same time.
Absolutely. Do want to give a quick shout out. It was a defeat, but YapzOr in that last game, 6-5 and 22 on that Rubik, in on all 28 Secret kills in that game. His damage was number 2 behind only that PA, and that Rubik is still on the table in the first phase here for Secret.
I could see them taking it on the 10th pick, depending on the next 2 heroes. As well, they have this Tiny, right? So this Tiny's open. So
Absolute flex pick.
they can kind of like not have to feel forced to pick the Rubik now. They can take it into the second phase because the other team also doesn't want to ban a Rubik in second phase.
Absolutely.
So you're gonna have a little opening in the draft.
And that's one thing that if you compare Secret's drafting from the group phase when they were winning to when they started struggling, they have been picking YapzOr as hero in the first phase almost exclusively, which is not something that they did a lot previously in the season.
I think like the first 2 games, yeah, Secret won the first game, but the quality of the game, it felt like Secret lost. So I feel like they're kind of changing things up a little, and they're not giving him the Rubik. Maybe they listened to the panel and like they felt that Tiny like on Potato like did too much. So maybe they're picking it for YapzOr.
The one nice
really
thing
Tiny too.
I like about Team Secret's new bans are they banned the Enchantress. So I think that was one of the big issues with the second game for Mineski. They have this Enchantress, and he kind of crushes this offlane for Mineski. So now they're going to have to kind of dig into their bag, breach out another lane-winning offlaner for KP. Like we said, one of his classics is Enigma. They really like him on a position 3 Enigma. He gets to deny creep every wave, but they're going to go back to the classic.
And Wraith King is a hero that, Febby, you mentioned coming into the series that you thought was potentially a key for Mineski, but Secret are going to come back with this Omni Knight pretty good to me against this open both heroes of Mineski.
Yeah.
One downside of Omni Knight is it heavily lacks lane push, which Wraith King is very good at, so Team Secret is going to have to pick a lot of lane push. Because I know Mineski Mushi, I've been playing with him for a few times, and he, as a coach of Mineski, I'm sure like he's telling his game plan is all about pushing lanes.
So one of the cool things about this Omni is some teams run it as a 5 as well. So right now, their 2 heroes are kind of flex picks. They can the Tiny can be mid, offlane or 4. The Omni can be offlane or 5. But the one thing to note is that mostly when people talk about Secret and their flex picks, they're flex picks to the outside. They're not flex picks on the inside.
Yeah.
So Puppy has this plan. He says, we're picking this Omni, and this Omni is going to be our 5. You know, and this Tiny is going to be our mid. And he has this like complete idea. And they can kind of change it. You know, if this Tiny gets really hard countered, they'll put it as support. Same with the Omni, right? But unless the hero gets hard countered, he has a kind of set plan, and he wants to kind of move towards that plan and draft around his idea of the game.
Absolutely. I mean, we've talked so much about that as the defining characteristic of Puppy. He is the lightning rod. He is the guy that takes it all on his shoulders. And time again, he's delivered, just not yet at TI.
Yeah, it seems like with an OD ban and Omni at their arsenals, Team Secret is going to pick something really aggressive for mid 1. Something like Slark, Monkey King, those hyper-aggressive heroes that can be at your face.
Mineski banning the Broodmother and the Batrider. They're kind of trying to protect their safe lane and their mid with those 2 bans. And they pick a AA. That's a kind of classic combo with the Wraith King. People were picking it a patch ago. You can get a cold feed off and then a stun from the Wraith King. The hero's usually going to get stunned at the end. You have a lot of magic damage with your Ogre in the mid to late game, so just a nice, stable hero.
The other thing about the AA pick here is it really deters if Secret were looking at the Alchemist. That's probably a deterrent for them. And remember, the game 1 draft, Mineski did run the Wraith King in the first phase along with the 5th pick out.
Do you think it'd be too crazy that they still out?
That's what I'm saying. I think Mineski...
No,
Oh, Secret. Oh, man, I don't know. That's part of the problem is that, you know, Moon... Mid 1 has had such a tough time in this tournament. I really worry about picking him a hero that's potentially going to be in real trouble if he gets frostbitten in these fights. But I do like the ET pickup here. It does reveal a little bit more about the roles, right? But this is a hero that, again, we mentioned this hero's record in the early game of this tournament, 17-5 in games that end at the 35-minute mark or earlier. That is Secret's sort of pressure release valve if Mineski play this early game run at Udota again.
The way I could see Secret kind of turning this draft is if they're confident with the Alkir, they can put it in their safe lane. They can run this ET, he'll kind of protect the Alchemist, and they do have Heavenly Grace for the AO. It's going to reduce it by 50%. Instead of, you know, being like a 12 seconds, it'll only be 6 seconds of not healing. They can kind of disengage with the GA as well. So in the Echo Stomp, so they're going to have a couple ways to kind of play the fight back. I'd be a little scared if I was Mineski of an Elk right now.
All right, we're waiting on the 4th pick here of Secret. Febby, man, how do you block it all out? Because the first 2 games of this series have been as crazy, I think, as any games that I've seen this year. You know, maybe going back quite a few. And you've got to refocus here. All 10 of these players. Oh, my Lord. That is not what I... Okay, that's throwing me for a loop. Do you like this Void pick?
It is not good against Rage King and Rasta, but it is good with ET.
It's also not good against AA. You won't heal when you get ulted by the AA. Maybe they heard the fans. The fans really like big team fights. They like the big chronos. They now have, GA to turn a fight, look cool. They have, Earth Splitter. They have this cool Chronosphere. So maybe Secret's doing this for the fans. I'm a little concerned of the Void versus Rage King matchup, though.
I think Team Secret needs more damage, and DP doesn't look too good too, because they have AA on Mineski's side, and AA is pretty good against DP.
You need something, a ranged hero 5th pick to just dump damage into that Chronosphere. You talk about the sniper still on the board. The OD they banned themselves.
They need a lot of stuff right now on Team Secret.
Yeah,
they
I
lack
agree.
wave push too. Void Omni doesn't push out waves that well.
Core Invoker?
Yep. Mid Invoker.
Yeah.
Gets banned.
I mean, it's one of his best. Yeah, there you go. It's one of his best heroes on his career.
They could still do Tiny mid. I would be really scared of their damage, though. I think they are forced to put this Tiny as a 4 now because of the Rage King. So they need a mid 1 hero. They're going to ban as well, a mid hero from Mineski. They're really scared of him from Moon getting this last pick. So they're going to try to find a hero in the draft that fits them and only is going to have 1 hard counter that they can ban out.
One good thing that Secret have going for them is the team fight. Mineski's heroes, they're all single target, so I think Mineski will kind of want to split them and dodge them, play this cat and mouse sort of game, and try to go late game. While Secret wants to use their big team fights. Omni wants to fight early, even if there's an AA on the other side of the team.
When you look at mid 1's hero pool, the heroes that come up that aren't banned still on the board here: Ember Spirit, Templar Assassin.
I'm looking at if of either of those, it's more the Ember, I think. He's going to have Heavenly Grace, so he's going to be able to go in on the supports and kill the supports. Save this Chrono more for the core, the Wraith King.
Could just Storm again.
Yeah, they could Storm. I think it's okay with the Grace, but it's also really scary against these instant hexes that are built into your heroes. It's you're much more confident going on it when you force the enemy to build Sheeps to try to protect their cores, or build Yules to just Yules the Storms and try to have to be forced to defend themselves from the Storm. When the supports have built-in ways to defend against him, this Wraith King's gonna have ult, so it's you have to burn a lot of mana to kill him the first time. It's a little scary for them. And they're gonna ban the Elk. They're still scared of getting last picked Elks. No, I would be too.
Yeah, they're traumatized from the first game.
Coming into this 5th pick, do you feel like Secret's lanes are stronger in this game? Are we gonna be able to hold up to the pressure better than we did in games 1 and 2?
I think so. The ET is one of the strongest laning supports right now. His Astral Spirit gives him armor, gives him moves, he gives him damage.
Oh, the Yapsor Rubik once again. Sorry, buddy, go ahead.
So it's mid-tiny.
Yeah, mid-tiny.
So Mineski's going to know that. They're going to be probably going to pick more of a strength hero. Maybe some hero that's going to build 1-2 bracers, even if they go agility or int hero. Once the main issue with Tiny as a core, that was in previous patches, was that people would build Bracer, and his combo wouldn't kill you anymore. And when Tiny blinks in on a core and his combo doesn't kill them, his fight feels really awkward. He's a slow hero. He's tanky, but now he's committed to 4 or 5 heroes, and they're going to be able to disengage, stun him, and keep following it up.
I'm kind of worried for Secret's lanes again, because I thought the Tiny was going to be a 4, but right now their side lanes don't look so hot. Yeah. Especially the Void lane is going to suffer.
Death Prophet's a really nice pick versus the Tiny and the Omni and the ET. Whenever there's a bunch of strength heroes, DP is one of the heroes you think of like Timbersaw. The Spirit Siphon's going to do more the more HP people have. Tiny, he gets a crazy amount of HP really early in the game. He has a really high strength gain. He goes Echo Saber, he might go BKB. The Spirit Siphon's going to heal up the Death Prophet, and he has the AA, so he doesn't have to be worried about getting his healing stopped. The only issue with it is that if this Death Prophet gets chronoed, he can't be bursted.
Exactly. All right. Well, we are headed to a deciding Game 3 in one of the most thrilling series of the event. But first, here's Casey with a coach interview.
Yeah, we got Sembi here. This has been a crazy, crazy series. We've enjoyed watching it. Also, the drafts have been interesting, too. From mid-1 Meepo, we have Yapsor Rubik. How much has the draft made a part in how your play has been?
I have no idea how to answer that. I really don't. I mean, draft is obviously very important. I think the first game, I'm not sure if we were so happy with the outcome of our draft. Second game, we were more happy, but we couldn't secure the game. Third game, we feel pretty confident. Hopefully we can pull through. rob a game if we can. See what happens.
What's the mood in the pod like right now?
Angry.
Really?
Oh, it's good. It's good. Angry's good. We want to win. You know, like angry, like hey, we need to take this. It's ours to take. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Back to you guys, but I do want to say, Capitalists and Blitz, will you guys please stop throwing water around? Did we get you a change of shirt, Cap?
No change of shirts. It's actually just completely dried out. We'll cast in any conditions, KC. We're like postmen in that regard. But I just want to say, Dota is such a wonderful game, and what truly makes it great is the people. It's the people in this competition, the players in the booth, the homeless man behind the wall behind me. Whatever it is, that's what makes Dota the best esports in the world. Let's get hype for Game 3 of Mineski versus Team Secret.
Oh, this is quickly becoming a classic.
I'll be honest with you. I didn't go into this series thinking it was going to be a classic.
Dude, I didn't either. I'm going to be 100% real with the audience. I thought this was going to be a stomp. I genuinely thought Mineski, I was like, all right, like, what am I going to do with all this time I have?
You barely managed to beat Na'Vi. Team Secret barely lost to EG. Transitive Property says Team Secret's going to blow you out.
Yeah, you're going to get work. But that's what makes TI, it's the best.
It's the best.
There's nothing else like it. This needs, 100 TIs. Just keep it coming.
TIs every day.
Oh,
every day of the year.
Me and my kid are going to be watching TI one day. Oh, it's going to be wonderful.
Okay. We started off this series.
They just high-fived.
As we implied. Oh, that's cute. As we implied, we thought Secret was going to beat Mineski. And we started off that series introing saying, hey, this is a David versus Goliath matchup, and no better time for TI for you to be David and slay the giant.
Yes.
And now, after game 1 should have gone the way of Mineski, now, after they do manage to clinch game 2, is Mineski the Goliath? Is Secret the David all along?
I will say that Mineski, in this 2-game series that we've seen so far, they've been the better team for about 95% of the series.
Yes.
And the fact that it's 1-1, if you're Mineski and you end up losing this best of 3, it'll haunt you forever. This would have been one of the greatest what could have been situations. And for Secret, you'll take those wins.
Oh, yeah.
You will take that game 1 and you'll say, we got away with it. And maybe this is the wake-up call that they need, that they're not invincible, that they can't overlook anybody. Such a big game for both teams.
And that's what I love about Dota, is all the emotions that go into it. We heard Sunbeat. What do you guys, what's the mood in the booth? Everybody expected to hear,
it's good.
It's solemn, we're good, we're calm, we're laughing about it. You know, we're gonna get this game 3. No, we're angry.
Yeah.
We're pissed off. We're Team Secret, goddammit, and we're supposed to be beating Mineski. And we're gonna see how that anger translates into the game, and how they're able to make their way through this laning phase, as we have Moon versus Mid1 in the mid lane, Death Prophet versus Tiny. Certainly an opportunity for Mid1 to take his aggression out on the Mineski players with this kind of tempo mid.
This is where star performances are born. We can forget the other 2 games. The fans can forgive your other 2 performances if you clutch it out in this game number 3 as this Tiny. I feel like I've just, I'm beating a dead horse, but at this point, Mid1, you have to show up. He got out damage dealt by a Rubik last game. Yapzor almost carried that game for his team. It doesn't matter though, you only need 1 to look good.
KP is going to be playing the Ogre. Core Ogre at top lane with Raging Potato, babysitting him on the Shadow Shaman, Nisha Faceless Void. This time, he's going to be the one trying to get all the clutch Chronospheres instead of Nico Baby. And they're running it with an Omni Knight as well, looking to shore up their team fight as much as possible. That's what it really looks like to me. Mineski, meanwhile, fast-paced lineup with plenty of push power.
Yeah, and I actually really like Secret's draft. I think that they have the late game. They have really strong heroes at just running at you. I could very easily see them just take a lead and never let it go. Because I feel like when it comes to the 5-on-5 team fights, if they can get the jump on this DP, there's no real save for her.
Yeah, that is very scary. She does have great frontliners in her 2 cores of the Wraith King and the Ogre, but if Secret get around those heroes, if they get on top of Moon.
And so far in this mid lane, relatively even, but Moon has outplayed Mid1. But this could be it, Cap. I can't stress that enough. All it takes is one game. History only remembers the winners.
That's true. 14-6, 12-4 so far. Team Secret are walking away from the laning phase with a pretty good CS lead between two of their cores. The Faceless Void, though, is having a rough one. 4-1 right now, really being shut down by this aggro dual lane from Mineski.
Yeah, this is a great situation for the Ogre. You can trade easily. Secret have two different heroes, Cap, that are meant to just win one-on-one fights.
Yeah.
And this is not the case right now, as the Ogre can bully you out, the Shaman can go toe-to-toe with the Elder Titan. You can see that Raging Potato is actually using Puppy's creeps to farm up the neutrals.
And Puppy, he's trying to do something about it. They're going to man-fight a little bit, but one last shot. Fable, can it stop the damage? It's not enough. Raging Potato gets the first blood. His life will be traded away very likely here, as he cannot run far enough.
KP thought about throwing out the Fire Blast, but doesn't think it's worth it for the mana, and he would be completely correct. The trade-off, though, is that the Omni Knight at bottom, this hero just seems to win lane after lane. It's so hard to deal with him when you have this low damage support 5, and you have no way to immediately burst him from the get-go. I think if you can't set the line immediately, this lane just completely goes in Omni Knight's favor at some point.
It's also a lot about the Heavenly Grace Dispel, right? Like, once the enemy team has picked up their 5 position, if it has an ability that you can kind of deal with, like the Cold Feet, for example, or this Raid Fire Blast, the damage over time that happens, you're going to be able to purge most of that off, get yourself a heal, and it's like the attacks never even happened. Raging Potato, 5-minute bounty runes are about to spawn. That's why Yapzor and Puppy are both here. KP, though, pulling some of the creeps with him. He wants to challenge. Raging Potato's going to walk back with him. 2 versus 2 over the bounty runes. How's Puppy going to take this one? He's going to try and go for the stomp.
No, he's going to take way too much damage for it. No, he's actually going to go for it in
Stomp misses. KP. Telekinesis isn't there. Mid one's actually going to be able to grab the bounty rune as he shows up with the bottle, and Zai actually manages to get the other side. So that's going to be 3 for Team Secret. Mineski were the ones who actually had the better bounty rune control the entire time last game, and I think the game prior.
And that's going to give them a little bit of a gold lead. Pretty negligible, though, at 5 minutes. And we've seen what these two teams look like. It's one of those interesting situations where you never know how somebody's going to match up. Maybe Mineski just matches up really well against Secret, and that's why we have the sort of series that we're having right now.
Zai, level 5 already. We've seen the power of this Omni Knight before, and this kind of like very aggressive lineup of Mineski, like being repelled by an Omni Knight, just being frustrated, not being able to get that kill that you started off on. That's certainly going to cause a lot of issues for Mineski.
Yeah, it's similar to game number 1 where Mineski, in fact, had the Omni Knight. They just weren't able to bully him out. If you can't do it from the get-go, your odds just decrease so dramatically.
But that's where that Ancient Apparition Ice Blast has to come in clutch, right?
Yeah, but you can just get pipe, I feel like, on Omni.
Yeah.
Isn't that what you would do as on the offlane?
Oh yeah, absolutely. In this kind of game?
Yeah, you just get pipe and all of a sudden it's the same situation because they have so much magic damage.
KP going to be pulled back potentially into his doom here, but he's so damn tanky.
Let me tell you. Yeah.
Bottom lane instead, that's maybe the offlaner that dies. This time the Cold Feet does actually latch.
It's so funny that you see Omni Knight die and you watch an Ogre just kind of walk it off.
Yep. The Chainstones are good enough for Mineski, and with these skeletons pushing in, also just tanking up the tower shots, that's going to let the Siege Wagon do tons of damage.
This is the same rotation he made last game, and this is a big rotation for them.
And they're going to try and rush a defense here from Zai, but he's going to TP in. Is he going to be in trouble here? Have the Grace on him is going to slow down a lot of these disables.
But they're protecting the catapult, and that's what's important. That's why mid ones also come in for this. Last game, he didn't make this defense. This game, I think they understand how important this tower is.
The Siege Wagon dies, and the Tier 1 tower does not fall. Moon could have used Exorcism to finish off that tower when he first showed up, but he thought the Siege Wagon was good enough. He thought it was free.
And that's Secret. They're a veteran team, Cap. They're making those adjustments. They realize Moon's play. I think he was anticipating that top push, but because so many teams are doing it, he's just sort of going for the play that Secret doesn't expect. No one's really assaulted Secret's offlane tower before like that.
Especially once you give, like, Zai has a good lane, But a rotation like that shuts him down. If they'd caught him again that second time when he TP'd under tower.
Oh, that ruins his game, and they might even go for it here.
And they try. Moon's going to show up. Hits him with the nuke. Looking to be able to slow him down with the Spirit Siphon. Zai, the Heavenly Grace, protecting him a bit right now, but Nico Baby has another round of stuns coming in. The Crypt Swarm's not going to be good enough, and they don't want to dive the tower. Mineski. This is what we're talking about in trying to go for these kills and not quite getting it, not getting the kill.
Look at this tempo.
The objective.
Look at this tempo.
Oh,
They're
wow.
going to TP top and just go for it right after. And this is how you alleviate pressure from this bottom lane for Nico Baby. If you can't do it in one lane, do it in another.
Can Zai get there in time? He's just about to get back to the base. He's going to have a TP scroll soon. Nisha's going to be stunned up, fire blasted. They do have the Hex. That's going to be enough to be able to get the kill onto Nisha. And this exorcism will be used to bring down a tower.
They're outpacing them right now. In this series, they're thinking 2 steps ahead. And Secret, their focus is on that bottom lane, but suddenly there's somebody top. And you don't even really want to dive this Wraith King because you know he's got ulti, he's got stick charges. If they could take this tower and defend, this would be such a huge boon for them.
Part of the reason
was used though by the DP.
Yeah. And that's going to be an opportunity, right? Team Secret, they're not going to be as cooldown dependent early game because their mid is a Tiny, who's always going to be ready to fight.
Yeah. But they don't want to trade this cap.
They do
this
not.
tower is still healthy enough that you can bring heroes in and try to defend it, and it would extend your game so hard, but they might have no choice. This might be a little bit too late.
And that means that core rotation from KP kind of hurts them, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Now you've got 2 cores on the same side of the map.
So that's a win for Secret.
It's funny how in Dota you can have these little wins and losses without a hero kill actually happening, just purely due to things like positioning and rotations. 10-minute bounty runes are coming up, though, and we're going to see who outpositions the other. We've got Ninja Boogie. He's going to join them for this fight at bottom, but if he dies right away, Mid-1 knows he's here. He's trying to hide right now, but unfortunately it's going to be found. The Avalanche Toss is going to be quite enough, but the Purification will get the kill. And that means they have to give up in these 2 bounty runes, which puts pressure on Mineski to make the play top lane.
Oh, they're going to get all 4 of them, Cap.
But stop, Nisha. He's going to run to the other side. 4 bounties for Secret.
That's massive. Even though they're leading in kills 3-2.
Yeah, they've gotten over 1,500 extra gold off of the bounties on Team Secret's side.
That's the difference itself.
Yeah.
A Ice Blast gonna come in, try to defend this mid tower. Yapsor stealing Bloodlust.
Good play. With the Siege Wagon hitting the tower, that's a few extra shots. Well, in the hard camp here, the Siege Wagon is up there. That means it's going to be a little bit delayed in its push forward. I wonder if Mineski are going to try and make a play towards that top lane, or if we're just going to see them continue to farm up. Surely a more passive game is that to the favor of Team Secret because they have this Void. Oh, they're actually going to go for the kill on his eye. The Ice Blast is there. Nico Baby holding on to that Raid Fire Blast. Tries to get a crit. Whiffs. Zai does manage to duke into the trees. They're going to spot him one more time now that the Heavenly Grace is on, and they do have the Cold Feet. They're going to try and chain the stuns here. The Purification going out, and oh man, that status resistance just lets him do so much, but it looks like Nico Baby may just hit too hard. He's got a little bit of mana to be able to work with. Zai's trying to duke into the trees right now. Nico Baby gives up. Zai jukes it away and gets out by just the skin of his teeth.
And he is indeed going for the pipe. I feel like there's no better item choice for him at this point. I think what both teams have learned about it is it comes down to the team fights. A lot of the times in these matches, we just see one team rolls over another in the laning phase. But for these 2 teams, I mean, they know what the mid and the late game look like. Raging Potato likely to go down here. There's 2 cores up here. But in fact, they actually just retreat for it fully.
They don't actually have any aggressive vision on that side of the map, so maybe Secret just feeling like because they don't have vision of the Tier 1 tower, the Shrine, they don't know if these TP rotations are coming. We know that Mineski is actually playing a little bit more passive, maybe in part because of the Hand of Midas that they have on the Wraith King, here. But the smoke up with Moon, they can play with that core. They're going to try and slow down Yapsor here, get him chain stunned. That's a kill. Is that a tower, though?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, Mid-1's here. They're going to be able to catch the Ancient Apparition. A pick off like that could mean more. Ninja Boogie dies, but the Exorcism being used.
I'd like them to drop the wards here.
They are going to drop the wards. They're going to be able to get vision of Nishu actually teleport in and get the chain stun. They do have the shackles. Where's the follow? The Fire Blast actually used on the Omni Knight. They just don't have Moon here to get the real damage. A 3-man silence. That's going to be a lot. With the Raid Fire Blast onto Tiny. Mid one down to half health already. The tower's taking up some damage as well. But Team Secret, they're healthy enough. They're going to go for the Chronosphere now onto the Death Robin. Trying to nuke him down with an toss up into the air. They're going to be able to finish off Moon. A good stomp comes out from Puppey as well. They're going to focus on KP. He's dead. Ice Blast on its way. Nico Baby on his first life is about to fall, and all of Secret very healthy, certainly healthy enough to bring down Nico Baby a second time. Team Secret hold their mid tower and repel Mineski.
And they might even grab it themselves. The wards, the last of them about to fall. 4 heroes up here, Zai. You can see that he's just too strong of a force to be reckoned with at this point in the game. He allows Nisha to get in and out of those fights so cleanly. Mineski's lineup, in fact, feels a little bit greedy. AA as a support, you're so ulti reliant that you can't really quite get in there, whereas in the backline, Puppey just kept throwing out stomp after stomp. It's a different beast entirely.
Their game is certainly a lot easier in some ways, right? With this mid one Tiny making these plays. You saw the way they just, Zai is forced to be fire blasted there. Otherwise, he would have saved Nisha.
The teamfight positioning feels really rough right there for Mineski as well. It didn't really feel like they were half committing.
If Moon was able to actually follow up that Shadow Shaman play, get the silence onto the Omni Knight, then maybe KP is able to fire blast down Nisha. There's no Chronosphere, and the fight looks a lot different.
And they just have so many tanky boys on the side of Secret. They've got 4 melee strength heroes, or 3, and a Void.
Zai. They do have the rotation coming in from the Shadow Shaman, so if he comes back, but they're spotted by the illusion. Nisha does deny the mid tower.
I don't really know what their solution is right now for Zai.
Yeah.
Feels like this is going to be an uphill battle for Mineski. They just need more farm right now. And speaking of greedy, their Ogre's going to go for a Hand of Midas. Their Wraith King has a Hand of Midas. Their 2 supports are a little bit greedier. They're going to run into Zai here, who gets trapped for the time being. Phase boots his way through.
The last little bit of nukes, but it's not good enough. Zai, the Ice Blast wears off.
Yeah, he's further proving that point for me.
Yeah. I mean, he picked up the bounty route too, by the way.
They use so much to try to grab him, but the status resistance in a game like this feels so value. And now, mid one, he's got a fully completed Axe right now, Cap. He has...
We're seeing this Aghanim Scepter being picked up faster and faster for these Tinies. Can you explain some of that?
I just feel like it's a value item for Tiny. It makes you a teamfight beast. It solves a lot of your issues where, you know, oftentimes Tiny, he falls off because you have to go into melee range. And if you can't burst people down immediately, you just get kited. Well, this item makes it so it's really hard to kite.
Ice Blast just poking at him. Gets a little vision, sees what Secret's up to. They're going to stick around for this tier 2 push. If they're backing up, that means the push at top lane from Mineski should be retreated as well.
Yeah. I will say in the previous 2 games, Mineski had quite a bit of a lead going into this phase of the game.
Yeah.
I don't know what the game looks like when Secret finally has a post-laning phase lead.
There's something I want to talk about, though. This Wraith King, right? Traditionally, in many, many patches of the past, Wraith King's considered a early to mid-game carry.
Yes.
And with the Death Prophet, we're looking at, you know, trying to push down towers by 20 minutes, go high ground by 25, 30. A lot has changed for both of these heroes, particularly the Wraith King. We've seen a lot of these Hand of Midas Radiance build. Hector, especially from Infamous, has shown that Wraith King is no slouch late king. You can really push this hero to the limits. Is this just about, what is it about? It's about the Aghanim Scepter? Is it about talent changes? What is it?
I just feel like this hero is good against the other cores. You never feel bad about having him frontline for you either. A lot of times in Dota, you saw in the game that we saw just happened, when the Void goes in and he gets bursted down, you mess up the team fight, suddenly you've lost.
Yeah.
In this position, he's so forgiving to play.
So it's about ease of execution, and at TI, there's nothing more important, right?
He's so easy to work around. he dies once, you don't even feel that bad because it gives your team time to reposition themselves, whereas the enemy still has to clump around. The fact that the Wraith King, you've got to kill him twice.
Yeah.
It means that there's no mess-ups.
Well, there's that Aghanim Scepter from mid one, pummeling KP with trees, and now he's going to get the tier 2 bottom tower.
If you build the BKB, you always have time to get the BKB on.
Yeah, that's true. Aghanim Scepter, usually we've been seeing Echo Saber into Aghanim Scepter. Here, mid one's going to go the other way around. I also think Aghanim's is a great farming tool. It's a real low cooldown, and you can just kind of freely use it in fights.
Oh, look at this, 20 minutes
push down lanes.
18 minutes. They're just kind of going for it right now. They've dealt a good amount of damage to this tower. Mid one is, we said, give us a star-making performance, bail your team out. So far, so good. 7 out of your 8 kills.
Hex, Raging Potato, I think he knows he's been caught and he's just trying to stall things as much as possible so his Serpent Wards can actually get the kill on the tower, but sadly there's a glyph. And the glyph now, especially with the multi-shot, is so good at clearing out the creeps and defending.
Yeah, now this is just going to be food instead for Secret as they clear up all but one of those, I think.
Radiance for
farm.
Moon. Death Prophet's another hero that can go late game a little bit better. The new Aghanim Scepter that was introduced for the hero, that's a core item.
The scary part for Mineski is I don't know at what point in the game they're going to win this.
Yeah. I mean, if they're not winning it already, right?
Yeah, it feels a little bit scary right now.
Ninja Boogie.
I don't know if this is like an issue of pace.
Yeah.
Because I felt like previously they had heroes that could just run at you. And Moon had some sort of hero that could just collapse on the side lanes. You could set a tempo. But in this game, it sort of feels like he has to be passive with his DP. It feels like they've gone a little bit away from the principles that led them to success in game number 1 and game number 2. And so now it becomes much more about this Wraith King. Like in the previous game where Nisha had to be the main hero, I think Nico Baby, so much rides on his shoulders.
20-minute bounties, mid one free to push out bottom lane with his volley, take control of those. Mineski, are they going to invade, or are they going to try and get more than just this one? It seems they're willing to concede all map control to Team Secret right now. They just know they're weaker than them. They have to ride the line. They have to rely on their carry. A man they brought in late into the DPC season, this Radiance. Can Nico Baby change the fate of Mineski right now?
The good news for him is that he is good against the cores of Secret, aside from the Omni Knight.
Yeah.
Of course, he's going to always be able to survive out the Chrono. And more importantly, he doesn't get bursted by the Tiny. Both upsides for his hero. The only downside is like he's going to need help. If it means that he's, the Chrono doesn't do anything for him, Nisha's just going to say, I'm not going to Chrono you, I'm going to Chrono Moon every single time.
Yeah.
And that makes Moon's game so hard to play.
Is that why he's not, he hasn't actually queued up the Aghanim Scepter, which everyone goes after the Eel Scepter. Does he need, an early Aeon disc? Yeah.
That feels so bad. Terrible. I feel like you go Axe, and then you can go for the Aeon disc.
You just have to do it.
I'd sort of maybe even get the Shivas first.
Before
I would
the
kind of be
Aeon
okay.
disc?
Yeah, I'd be okay with that, but I do think you need an Aeon at some point.
Oh, he goes Blink instead.
Maybe he just wants to fight. They're going to get the Radiance timing, and maybe they just want to run in secret. That's how they want to come back into this game, rather than just pure farming.
I mean, the AoE silence can come in really clutch here against this Omni Knight, right? Because you always know the Omni Knight's going to be running forward to protect mid one, or to protect Nisha, who's been initiated on.
It's very good against the Faceless Void.
Yeah.
Nisha already has a BKB. That's so scary.
Means the silence is going to be very ineffective against him.
It also means that he's always going to get Chrono off.
Yeah.
Which is pretty disastrous for Mineski.
Pretty much the only one who can stop that outcome is Raging Potato. And I just don't see him getting lasting shackles in these fights. He does have the Ether Lens, though.
He feels like he's paper.
Yeah.
And I would say that Mineski would be all right, but I think this Omni Knight, I've been saying it from the beginning of the game, it might just prove to be too much. Gonna walk up the hill, but they don't have their Death Prophet here. Secret. Fighting around their Shrine, they've got the numbers advantage. The pipe has been used almost immediately. And Zai, I mean, he ends any thoughts of aggression.
He just doesn't care about you. Raging Potato does manage to get the Hex off. There's the Avalanche. The Ice Blast is coming in. They do manage to get the Guardian Angel. That will help protect mid one. Here comes Yapzors, but it doesn't actually nail a whole lot. That's going to be the Ogre going down. Nico Baby still trying to focus on mid one because they have in the Grace. Mid one is actually going to be fine here. Now we have the Exorcism them out. Yapzor does manage to force snap down to the low ground. Moon pursuing, trying to get another Spirit Siphon, this time on mid one. Can they actually take down this Tiny? Well, they've already lost most of their support. Chronosphere catching them just on the side. Mid one tries to get away of the tree ball route, and now the Death Prophet's dead. Nico Baby comes back with his second life, slowed down, and this is going to be the second team fight.
Now he's here to die.
Team Secret absolutely outclassed Mineski and almost wiped them.
And Zai's still chasing. He wants the full team wipe. They're going to extend their lead 7K. The Blink Dagger, I feel like, just doesn't really do anything for you.
Yeah.
It helps you evade some situations, but... And what they want to do is get on top, and I would agree if the Void didn't have such a fast BKB, and if you weren't playing against Heavenly Grace. You fulfill those two conditions, maybe you're all right. But as it stands, I mean, they're trying to do what they did last game, which is take these mid-game fights, push in for the towers, but you know, they don't have the firepower. They don't have the heroes.
Yeah. You see that team fight again. They thought they just had the burst damage, but a fast Guardian Angel coming out from Zai was so key. It slows down the damage that Nico Baby was putting on a mid one, and then he just doesn't get enough. The Ice Blast wears out about right now.
Yeah, if mid one dies in that position, maybe the Void doesn't have enough damage, because he only has a Maelstrom.
I mean, Yapzor just barely died there. He almost got the Tiny as well, but Nisha being able to get that Chronosphere, he held it for so long too. He read that the fight was going to go their way without it. He only used it once mid one really, or excuse me, Moon really committed to that fight. There's now a Mjolnir for Nisha. Mineski.
There's his damage.
Twice now they've been repelled by Team Secret. At some point in time, you're going to have to start thinking about an exit plan, a plan B. What are you going to do with this game threatening to go late?
Yeah. Plus, I feel like in the previous two games, Mineski had the vision advantage every single time.
Yeah.
They de-warded so many different wards. In this game, that top ward saw them coming the entire time, so they knew to be set up for the fight. Small mistake as Secret did not end up denying that top tower, which only had 20 HP. And this is going to secure them 2 bounty runes. I mean, they haven't gotten 2 bounty runes in such a long time. Moon's going to go for the plate mail and the Ags, both items that I advocated for. I wanted to see the Ags first into the Shivas, but he opts to go for the plate mail.
Yeah. Just a little bit of help. I mean, it is a lot of physical damage.
Yeah, I like the casual plate mail.
Yeah, with the volley build coming out from mid one, like he actually has to worry about the physical damage coming from the Tiny, not from the Faceless Void. Because Void's got a very magic damage heavy build. Mjolnir and his bashes, that's most of his damage right now.
Very true, Cap.
5-14, a 7,000 net worth lead for Team Secret. We have not seen them have this kind of lead once in this series. It's only until this game 3 they get mad, and they are just not letting Mineski get any openings here.
One thing, though, is throughout the season, when Secret has any sort of lead, they just sort of go for it. They take fights nonstop, but I think they've sort of developed like this mutual respect. Secret is saying, like, Mineski, you're a good team. You can hang with us. Let's not just throw.
Yeah. The Raging Potato jumping forward. They're going to try and blow up Yapzor. That is a target you can certainly burst down.
That's like
mid
the
one
easiest target.
Mid one, he's hard, but Yapzor, that's easy.
And he's got a BKB mid one. I love when your cores still go BKB when you've got an Omni Knight. I feel like it's the worst thing in the world when you purely rely on your Omni to save you in those situations. It makes it so hard because then he has like 4 different heroes he has to constantly save. Every BKB that comes out makes Zai's life easier.
You're one of the biggest BKB enthusiasts that I know. You always say you have a lead, secure it with a BKB.
Yeah. What's the point of having 10k net worth if you don't have a BKB?
Yeah.
You get Hex once, your 10k net worth.
It's gone. You just die. Just like that. Though, how much gold was Yapzor worth? I remember saying this was a 7,000 net worth lead. Now it's only 5k.
Dude, he was worth a lot. Their A is worth 2,800, and Ninja Boogie's like most expensive item is his Quelling Blade. Life's been hard for him. That's his luxury item right now.
Raging Potato's done a good job of keeping pace with Yapzor. In fact, we're pretty much core for core until it comes to the difference between our Death Prophet and Mid One's Tiny.
Yeah, Mid One still unblemished, 5-0 and 6. I mean, he's no fool.
How do you push into that?
You don't.
Yeah.
You, if I'm straight up honest, you don't.
Mineski. It seems to be their turn to sit back.
Nice.
Ah! Moon still got it.
The crowd like that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, an attack, a projectile like Death Prophet's, it's not fast. It does that little swirly animation as it makes its way to its target. KP. He's going to be slowed down. Fire Blast onto the Void, trying to slow down the damage. There goes the Heaven of the Grace. Ninja Boogie's already dead from Mid One. He managed to get the initiation onto him at the same time they were going on KP. So that's 2 dead already. But Mid One, they're actually going to go for this one, threatening the Chronosphere. Moon does manage to get outside of it. The Guardian Angel will protect him against this Exorcism and the lockdown on Nico Baby. They're going to try and focus on Moon while they have Nico Baby just naturally die out. The Circle Wards are there, the BKB. They've almost finished off Moon. The volley almost does it, but Death Prophet managed to survive off the Eul Scepter, and so instead, they're going for the Wraith King, who's had half health. They're trying to play around these swords as best as possible. Blink's
healing.
Going on the Yapzor, Spirit Siphon healing up. He managed to actually heal through all of that one, but Nisha's now locked him down. A ton of damage on Nisha. Quickly stopped by Zai, who gets on the Purification. KB, who came back into this fight, may just exit it just as quickly as Silence goes out. Onto 4 from Moon. They go back into this one.
Yeah, Ice Blast.
Can they finish him off? He's dead, but the follow-up there comes out from the volley to be able to finish up Nico Baby. Moon, blast down Puppy.
They want
Jump
the team wipe.
forward. They're going to be able to get the Omni Knight. That's going to be a wipe. This time, Secret. They challenge Mineski. They say, we think we're stronger than you. Let's put it to the test, but the buybacks, that's what makes the difference. Mineski used 3 different buybacks, but it wins them the fight, and it just might win them Roshan.
They Rosh. If they could Rosh, this would make it worth it. If they can't, then all you really did was make it so that the fight went even. And they're going to ping into Roshan. They know it's up. I mean, it's not very quick, though, without the Wraith King. And Moon doesn't have Ags.
True, but Secret's not buying back right now.
I think they also agreed. They're like, we don't think you can do Roshan either.
Oh, it's going to be close. They almost have the Aghanim Scepter on Moon, too. That certainly would have helped. Solar Crest is pulling in its weight here.
Yeah, this Rosh took forever, but Puppy, does he have a TP? No, he's not going to TP.
Yeah, they're just giving it up.
a while, but this is a big Roshan.
Yeah.
Now the gold lead's set to 4K. Moon can comfortably buy Ags without having to worry about having buyback or not.
The Axe also means the Aegis is more effective on Death Prophet than it was in the past. In the past, you weren't a good Aegis hero because you were just an Exorcism buff. That's all you were. But now Aghanim Scepter adds a lot of damage to this Death Prophet when she does have her ultimate on cooldown.
That was such a go-for-it maneuver, by the way.
Yeah.
If it goes poorly, Mineski lose a game right there.
Yep.
When they all bought back, and I thought it was going to go disastrously for them when they ran in 1 by 1.
Oh, yeah.
That's looking a little bit dicey.
Moon TPing in and getting the 4-man silence. I was like, okay. That's a cool silence, but what are you going to do with it?
Runs after the Tiny, but isn't able to find anything. I think he was just trying to get him out of that area. Because Mid One, of course, still has the BKB. And they still have to be cautious on the side of Mineski.
Yeah.
They used a lot of buybacks for that. In fact, they have only 1 up, and it's on Ninja Boogie, and that's because his net worth is so low that as long as the timer isn't up, he'll have it. AC completed by Nisha. They immediately go for the smoke. They might run into the Wraith King here. They've got to be careful.
They're going to dodge the Wraith King. They're going to go for anybody else. If they can actually intercept Mineski here, which they go.
Nisha?
Raging Potato blinks away. They're still going to be able to catch Ninja Boogie. Volley will be able to get it. They don't have to use the Chronosphere here. 2-man silence, but immediately that's going to be cleansed off by Zai. Jump into the air. Eul Scepter.
They want to get out. The numbers disadvantage, I think, is a little bit too rough for them.
Yeah. I mean, without the Ancient Apparition, like, how do you deal with this Omni Knight? I just don't think you can.
Yes, and that's why, you live by the 5AA, you die by the 5AA. He's so easy to kill, but he's so important for the rest of your team.
Ninja Boogie, he came in big time for them in game 1. With his Witch Doctor, he's going to need better positioning
They really don't want to give up this tower.
They do not, but they just might have to here. 5 seconds up for the Ancient Apparition.
You just cannot get multiple hero chronoed, which is easier said than done. Nisha's got the advantage in positioning, but they're going to back out.
They're actually going to go for it here. Yule Scepter catching the Omni Knight. Follow-up Silence, Ray Fire Blast, and a Hex both being used. 4 staff after 4 staff.
And the volley from the high ground. This is going to split their fight in half, plus the ET Spirit. They wanted to threaten for that. It looked like a good timing for them. But Secret, they positioned themselves very well, and they've got a DD on their Faceless Void. This is going to force them into a fight, regardless of whether or not Moon has the Aegis.
With the double damage and the Ice Blast used. Oh, they're going to use the Yule Scepter, dispelling off that double damage. And the Ice Blast is about to come back up, but first Nisha and Mid One try and find their opening, but Raging Potato again with the fast blink dagger away. Now Secret have overextended themselves. They're going to try and catch Yapzor, Puppy, managing to stop it. It's Mid One who's going to get caught. Instead, they do have the Ice Blast. Purification goes out. BKB and the Guardian Angel. Bye-bye damage. They can't bring down Mid One anymore. Puppy throws out the Earth Splitter with the Chronosphere as well. It's not going to be able to hit. Can they bring down Moon? It's going to be a close call, but he does fall. Now they're going to turn back into Nico Baby. Never mind, Raging Potato's a better target, but because of the Aegis, they need to be able to get out. But he's been caught in the shackles. Raging Potato, they have their Heavenly Grace. They're going to be able to save Nisha. A little bit more of the silence. No, it's good enough. The Force gets away. The Force Staffs again come in clutch for Team Secret. Mid One inside the pit. He's ready to go back in, but he has to blink out. It's Raging Potato jumps forward. KP, he's going to be able to get the initiation on Mid One side. He's trying to make his way to be able to bail out Mid One. The Ice Blast comes in though. They bring down Mid One. He's dead. They look for more. Sai and Yapzor running him down. Hex on one. Ray Fire Blast quite soon on the other. If they can actually get him, double Solar Crest as well. That means that damage from Nico Baby. He's about to bring down the Omni Knight of Zai.
He's still going for the multicast. One more hit.
Stop it!
And they're right in front of the base right now. That gold lead has been completely evaporated. Mineski have in fact wrested it away from Secret. They will not roll over.
What is happening right now? Moon silence the Mid One so he can't actually get the volley off. I can't believe they're going for this tier 3 without the Exodus, and the buyback goes in their retreat.
And that's 2 core buybacks that you forced out. They weren't able to get any kills. This was a defensive buyback. Mineski, they're actually up 1K on Secret. The fights last so long and it got so split. You saw Secret, they were on the low ground. It felt like they were going to be just fine. They were force-staffing each other one by one, and then they overstayed their welcome.
Yeah.
If they all just started retreating at that point, they would have been fine.
Yeah.
But what they did was they looked for the fight after.
Because of the exorcism used, they think Chronosphere on Moon, we can go ahead, burst him down. Second life, he won't have the exorcism, but Mineski still proved to be too strong. And now, the win probability is in their favor as well as the net worth.
I can't even believe this game. It feels like a departure from our previous two, but what a fun one is. I mean, it feels like these two teams just bring out the best in each other.
Oh,
They're willing to fight nonstop. The team fights are what determine it all. You get into these crazy 5-on-5 situations that seem to last forever.
This AC, dude, these Wraith Kings, man, once they have the Midas and Radiance, items just start flowing in everywhere. He's actually going to go for Nullifier next.
And both teams have all their ultis up. Secret, they're looking for the angle right now. Nisha, been heavily graced. He's trying to set.
They want to make sure if he does get stunned, that status resistance will let him get off his BKB.
And Moon nearly has the Aeon Disc. He's sending the courier back. This would be a massive pickup for him. If they can't just burst him through the Chronosphere, you see how tanky he can potentially be. And his ability to come back into the fight after the Yule Scepter is so good.
Crystallis up, Mid One, that's a lot of damage now. The Echo Saber, that provides the disable, the slowdown to keep them in the volley, but it's really the Daedalus, or in this case, the Crystallis buildup, that's going to deliver that sort of game-ending Chronosphere into volley combo.
Secret have to be so careful, Cap.
Dude,
they use the 2
really
core
do.
buybacks. If either of those heroes die at this point...
Oh, look at this. A sneaky little play. Raging Potato trying to finish out that tier 3. Not good enough, though.
Very nearly does. And this Roshan fight, Cap, is going to mean everything to both sides. If Secret decide to take the fight, it'll be without the buyback on the Tiny.
They're going to go for it
or
here.
the Omni Knight, Cap. It'll be 2 core buybacks that they don't have.
And Team Secret
Will it be hubris? Will they get caught in this mid lane? A lot of them are behind Yapsor, but not everybody. First defensive force down. You could see Mineski not going to take the bait here.
They're being patient right now. They don't want to overextend themselves.
They just picked up the Aeon Disc, but the Death Prophet just showed himself on that ward. Secret should know about that saving grace.
Yeah, that's a big item pickup for both teams. Now you can't just blindly Chrono Moon and hope for the best. You have to position it correctly. So we wait with bated breath. Roshan about to spawn, and that's going to mean a mad dash for both teams. And neither of them have buybacks, but it's Mineski that's limited by
They actually had a ward in place. They're going to be able to see that Blink Dagger in. Raging Potato, defensive force staff away, but a volley. Finish him off. Raging Potato down, BKB used by mid one, and Mineski. Everybody out.
Roshan, 20 seconds until he's up. What team's gonna go for it?
A fast Roshan like this with 90 seconds for Raging a Potato.
Ice Frog just wants it. He, just 10 more years of Mineski versus Secret. What gives the most dramatic situation? It's that 20-second timer on the Roche.
And if they get it, there are going to be so many items coming in for Team Secret. Like the Lotus Orb for Zai, that's going to be crucial because the whole Blink Dagger Death Prophet play is then canceled.
And there's a nullifier on Wraith King.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is going to be an explosive team fight.
Dude, he's going for the Orchid. He's going for the Son of Doom. Shout out to OD Pixel for that one.
I hope you're watching.
But all of that, right? All of that can go away off of a Lotus Orb or Heavenly Grace coming out from that Omni Knight. They have to hunt Zai down. This really is a game about hunting Zai.
I will say his build, not going for Greaves, has hurt him so much because he doesn't have the ability to remove that silence easily.
Oh,
now they're going for it.
They don't care. Ice Blast in the pit. Moon showing himself in bottom lane. Dude, is Mineski actually going to fight around this?
This is going to go really quick.
Seeping in. Can they get in there in time? Nico Baby gets vision off into neutral. Then trying to go for Nisha. He's already popped his BKB. Chronosphere to be able to pick up the Aegis and cheese. He's got that. Now he's going to be able to jump over to the side, trying to go for Moon as best as possible. Now time lock out.
Spider ready to be the first light.
It might be the Aegis as well. Look at Midwan. He's TPing back to the shrine right now. He's trying to stay in the fight. Zai's gone. Get out of the river, but Zai's gone.
He doesn't have buyback. And Nico Baby, he's blinked forward if he can get any more. But 104 seconds now for Zai. 2 minutes on his buyback. They've got the numbers advantage.
Aegis and cheese, but for what? No Omni Knight, no Chronosphere.
And a DD rune.
Oh.
How fortuitous for Mineski.
Ice Frog intervenes once again. He said, look, I gave Nisha a double damage rune. He didn't get to use it. You're going to have the same opportunity.
And what can they do with it? They don't have the Exorcism, but they do have the Serpent Wards. They're right in front of your base, Secret. You don't have Chronosphere.
Wards out. Trying to stall right now. That's all Secret is looking to do.
They have Aegis, but it feels so useless when you don't have Chronosphere.
Yeah, what can a Void do without his ultimate?
And that's going to be Rax.
That is definitely going to be Rax. Can Mineski do more? Or are they going for the tier 2 mid? Yeah.
No, just calm down.
Yeah.
Gather yourself.
Are you talking to me or Mineski right now?
Both.
But I'm about to lose my mind where this game.
I can't handle it.
Mineski. 2 siege wagons. A bunch of the boys. And a tier 2 falls. Let's see some shrines.
They are going to get so much gold because of that fight. Yeah. They're going to grab the shrine here. This shrine, once Roshan's out of the equation, the other shrine doesn't matter as much.
Yeah.
This shrine controls the triangle. It makes it really hard for you to get outside your base and farm. And it just forces Secret to sort of hole up.
25% backtrack.
Oh!
Nisha win for it.
Oh, he's gone for it. All right. Let's do it. Let's see what it does.
What if you backtrack a crit? It's the same situation here with the Wraith King.
Maybe he just feels like the All right, you know why? I think it's because he thinks that his Chronosphere isn't very good against the Wraith King or the Death Prophet at this point.
Yeah.
I think he's made the executive decision. I can't deal with these two heroes. The better talent to dealing with these two heroes is the backtrack talent.
Yeah.
And Zai needs the Lotus Orb. He's been waiting for it for so long, but the problem is his buyback's about to come back up, but he won't have the gold for it. So he's put into this weird position where he can't teamfight without an ability to get rid of the silence, which is why I feel like he needed Greaves in this game so badly. it's of course in hindsight,
Yeah.
you want to get phase boots for the laning phase, but it feels so rough to fight without it.
I mean, is Zai going to have a buyback? I think you might buy out the Lotus Sword.
Maybe if you think you're invincible anyway. He definitely is. He's waiting around that area for a reason.
I think that's the only way to solve some of the team fight issues. Oh, Jesus. That's a lot of gold. That's a Hannah Midas multicast, Brock.
And he's got the 40 strength.
The 40 strength.
Boy's a beast.
Attacking a third hero that Chronosphere is just not going to do shit against. KP right now is walking around with 3,600 HP, 1 billion armor. I think that's what that adds up to.
I can't believe we're in this position right now. We're Secret 8K down. Cap, they were most people's favorites. Mineski, bottom 2.
Yeah.
They're about to join Infamous potentially in the top 8. Liquid Dota, where are you at? You had these 2 teams as your bottom 2.
And look at that.
But the team fight is all that matters. Yapsor pushes forward.
Telekinesis onto KP. The first initiation, the Shivas, Chronosphere, it only catches the back line. He didn't actually lock down Moon. He will be able to finish off Raging Potato, who doesn't have half buyback. KP is almost dead, but look at that. Trapped inside the trees, the Guardian Angel barely goes offside. He's being hunted right now. The Ice Blast takes him out. Nisha looking to be able to finish off KP, but he's so tanky. The Ogre's good. Mid one, pummeling them with the volley. Trying to be able to finish off Nico maybe as best as possible, but Moon, he's getting an access to some damage. A Fate Ball to be able to finish off the Ogre. He does have buyback. Mid one, he also dies as well. Moon's able to chase him down into the high ground. Nisha, man fighting against an Angel Boogie. He gets 1. Can he get 2? He gets 3, but no. He's gonna die here. He does have the Aegis on his second life though. Nico Baby and KP sit on top of him. They need to be able to chase him down. Ray Fire Blast 1. Fire Blast 2. Ice Blast in. Force down. That's not gonna hit.
The tree volley over the top.
They're gonna be able to turn. They're gonna be able to fight. Can they bring down Moon? The Ice Blast stolen by Yatsor.
1 second for the blink on Nico Baby.
And he gets away. The Avalanche doesn't hit him. Now it's KP's turn.
And this was KP's buyback.
They have the silence though.
The counter
Yule Scepter being countered by the Lotus Sword. Shiva's out. 3 versus 4. Nico Baby. There's
1 second.
Oh, the Nullfire trying to finish off the Faceless Void. But again, the Force Staff is going to be good enough.
Who's in the middle of everything?
Nisha has a BKB though. They running out of physical damage. Nico Baby's trying to go for mid one instead. But Moon, he's being checked down.
1 second.
He's dead. Fable.
He doesn't have buyback. He doesn't have buyback. He was 1 second away from the Yules.
Nico Baby, he'll be able to at least get Puppy, but the rest is Secret. They're not tanky enough. They can't actually go to the second life of the Wraith King.
But 1 second and Zai is about to be alive. Secret in a great position now. No buyback for 106 seconds. 74 seconds on the deck for the Ogre. They've got to make something of this. What a turnaround for them as they barely hold in that fight. If that Death Prophet gets Yules off, they're going to win that fight. And she was 1 second away from it. The target fire precision on Secret. 1K gold lead now for Mineski. Oh, my heart.
Oh, they're trying to execute the Faceless Void. They know they are at a disadvantage, but again, the Force Staffs. Oh, he's coming in.
He's got the 2 supports.
Onto the 2 supports with an Ice Blast, with an Earth Splitter. Bye-bye, Mineski. That's 4 dead. Make it 5. The reincarnation. 1 versus 5. Oh, baby, Nico, baby. You got to get back to the fountain, and you've got to stall Secret, because once again, they're going for your throne. Telekinesis pullback, mid one, toss him over to Nisha.
And he's just trying to waste time right now in Secret. And they're obliging right now. They're walking away from the tower. They don't have Glyph though. And this is going to be a hard hold. There's no buybacks. He's going to have to do this 1v5.
They did it before, 2 versus 5. 10 seconds on for KP, Nullifier, onto Puppy. Looking to try and execute the captain of Team Secret, but he can't finish him off. He's still trying to go for it.
Secret's just ignoring him.
Dancing around. Nico Baby does have the reincarnation, so he's man-fighting here. He even wants to die. He needs the AoE Wraith Fire Blast. That's why Secret aren't finishing him off. The Guardian Angel, good for the throw. It's exposed. Tear Force down. Nico Baby is trying to finish up anybody he can, but Nisha swinging away.
They don't do enough damage. They have it.
Throwing it. Team Secret has done it! Another comeback!
Unbelievable!
Victory for Team Secret!
I can't believe they pulled this one out. The fight lasted so long. Barely able to pull it out, and Secret, they went for the win when mid one went for the buyback to help out the rest of his team. That could have been the decisive moment where Mineski wins. They sense blood. They all bought back to try to get that fight done. And instead, it is Secret that walk away with the victory.
What makes champions? It's the difference between good and great. Not what you do in practice, but when the lights are on, when you're in the booth, when thousands upon tens of thousands of eyes are watching you and your backs are against the wall. Team Secret, 2 times in this series, had their backs against the wall. The DPC champions, that is why they were the #1. That is why the way that they were able to come back, and that is why they will move forward against Mineski.
And all the props in the world, by the way, to Mineski. They showed us such great Dota. I mean, they made this an absolute monster of a series.
Southeast Asia has just had its heart broken. And fans around the world at this point, Mineski, have made a lot of fans with this series. They are sad to see Mineski go. I am so sad to see them go. But somebody's got to be eliminated. It's a harsh, harsh competition, the international.
Whew. I'm tired after that. I'm
exhausted.
I feel so
I can't imagine how Team Secret and Mineski feel right now.
Look at Nisha.
God.
He's smiling ear to ear.
Team Secret, congratulations to them, Mineski. Oh, you gotta feel for them. You gotta feel for them. But we have more of the international coming up. Upper brackets up next. Panel. What a series.
Oh, Cap, yeah, definitely quite a series. And I think we all agree with you in quite a few ways. We're going to break it all down, talk about that game, and get ready for the next one. My name is Rich. I'm going to be your host. I'm joined by Sin, Trent, and we have Dove here. I mean, where do we even start with that one? Mineski, they play so well throughout the entirety of the series. The first game, it looks like they're going to take it. The third game looks similar in some ways with the fact that for some reason Secret's able to find a crazy opening and get the win. But the big difference this time around, Sind, is the fact that it does seem like Secret does win the lanes.
Yeah, they came off to a better start this game. I don't really know how much it matters in these games to an extent, because one team wins the lanes. It's all about these mid-game and late-game team fights. The advantages that they built didn't seem to directly translate into a clear direction in the game, because there's just so many crazy 5-on-5s where it's down to who uses the 4-staff better, who has the better Lotus Orb, who's better positioned to begin with. And just a treat to watch. The teams were super evenly matched. And going forward in the tournament, the question is, was Mineski amazing today or Secret weak? And you got to think ahead for Secret, right? One of the favorites.
Yeah, I mean, that really is such a huge question, Dove. When you look at the performance here, are you saying that, yeah, because when we were actually watching this for a while, you were like, oh, Secret, it looks like they're not doing so well. And do you think that this does come down to Mineski playing out of their minds, or is it Secret falling behind?
No, I think just Secret. I mean, I don't think they're happy that the way they won this series, because you can see the eye, like Puppy and even Zai, they look very serious and they're not happy, I can tell.
It happened not only in this game, but throughout like the entirety of the series. I kept saying to some of the other people who were on the panel during the first 2 games, I was like, Puppy kind of looks pissed off right now, and he just won, especially after that first game as well.
Yeah, I mean, you saw Sunby after game 2, right? What did he say? He said they are angry. They're not in that booth. They're not all super excited. They're just mad, and that definitely translates. They were happy, sure. They popped off a little after the win, but then after that, they came out of the booth back to serious mode, like, let's get through this lower bracket.
Maybe a sigh of relief here, but you don't want to have a sigh of relief, right? I mean, especially when you're Secret going up against the team. It's the story of Puppy trying to go for a second TI chip under his belt compared to an underdog story.
It's also the story of Secret struggling again, and it's one of those things that can get into your head, where we talked about it with VP yesterday as well. Like, you have these teams that get to TI, they're good all season, and then they have a history of struggling sometimes during the season. And yeah, you know, it matters. It definitely matters.
And, you know, we're trying to extrapolate how they feel. We're talking about how they look when they're coming off the stage. Luckily for us, Casey right now is going to throw us to that interview, and we'll see how they actually do feel.
Yeah, okay, thanks, guys. Yeah, I'm with the Yapzor, and you walked in. I think they were talking on the panel about how must you feel. And I think you and I agreed on a word. Oof. Oof. That's all I keep saying as he's sitting here. You look exhausted. I feel exhausted from watching it. You guys, in every single game, those late game team fights were intense. How were you able to come out and win after all of that?
I have no clue, to be honest. Like, every single game was just a throne
So like it was always about the throne. Like I don't even think we said the word "get the barracks" once.
You're kidding.
It was always just go throne.
Oh my gosh.
So like, it was really stressful to play, but we kept as calm as we can.
That seems to be the story of the tournament so far. Every team that is successful comes back and says, we were just able to, stay focused and trust each other as a team. There are already a lot of people tweeting pictures from inside the pod where it looks like, gosh, how do I put this? Puppy and a few others looked a little intense after the draft and during the game. Your thoughts on that?
After which game?
This was the eye that Puppy gave. I think it was during game 2.
To who?
Zai and mid 1.
Game 2. Oh, game 2. Ah.
Wait, does he have different eyes that he gives for different? Okay.
No. I don't think it was like anyone's fault. We just kind of were out strategized at the start. Then I chronoed my PA and we lost. So
I'm sorry, bro.
If anything, I should have got the look.
I can bring Puppy in here if you want to get the look from Puppy. No, you're good.
Oh, I'll get it later.
We talked with your coach. I think it was right before this last game, and I asked what the mood was like in the pod, and he said angry.
Yeah, I mean it's like the good type of anger. Though.
Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
like I hate my teammates.
Right,
No,
right.
it's just like anger as in like we want to destroy them.
Yeah.
We gotta destroy them because it's like yesterday's loss was rough, but today it's like it's our chance to redeem ourselves and like hopefully progress further in the tournament. So we feel like we have and don't have something to prove because it's like if we lose, we lose, but if we win.
Is it really if we lose, we lose? I mean, come on.
You kind of have to like trick your mind to thinking that way.
Really?
So that you
Okay.
don't think of pressure.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Even though it's like we could be a favorites of this tournament, but we're actually ourselves coming into this tournament knowing we can lose to Mineski, knowing we can lose to anyone. Like we're gonna probably I think we're facing Infamous next, and
You are?
we know we can lose against them, especially them.
Well, we look forward to seeing that game. These have all been amazing games. Thank you, Yapser, for talking to us. We really appreciate it.
Thank
And
you.
we'll send it back to you. Do you want to do your... Whew.
Indeed. Yeah, I think that we definitely understand how you might be feeling after hearing that, but it's not an easy thing to go through, and you hear them saying, yes, we know that we can lose to anyone, especially when the competition is this close. We talked about the emotions on their side. We talk about Puppy maybe giving a new definition to the word puppy eyes, but we do need to see the emotions on the other side. Let's check in with Shiver and see how Mineski is feeling.
Yes, thank you, Rich. Ninja Boogie, that was a crazy series. It was exhausting to watch. I can't even imagine how it was to play. Do you first want to have some words regarding what you just went through?
It was a tough match. I think we could have won the series, but we made crucial mistakes, which caused us to lose. Yeah.
You said earlier that this TI felt very different from you playing last TI. Can you talk about that for a bit?
Oh yeah. Well, we came to this TI with no expectations. We were ranked pretty low among a lot of lists. And last year, we won a few minors and a major. So we went into TI expecting maybe top 4. But for this TI, we're just like, let's just play our best and hope for the best.
You guys gave an enormous showing, and TI is not just, the interview that we're doing right here. It's not just about the result of the tournament, but this is like the ending of a year, or in some cases, an entire career. You've been playing Dota forever, for feels like almost a decade. With that in mind, can you give us some closing thoughts on your performance, on Mineski's performance, on your team? Because I know that you guys grew a lot as a squad this international.
Yeah, well, I mean, for my personal objective every year is just to keep improving, and I felt like I ended that with at a high note. A few months ago, I wasn't even sure I was going to be in TI. So I'm happy I'm here. We almost beat Secret, and I think the team has we can be proud of what we achieved. It sucks that we didn't win, but we still silence all the haters and we proved ourselves. So.
You really, really did. I also know you guys have got a lot more fans since the start of the tournament, and I would like you to address them with some final words before we hand it back to Rich.
Thank you for all the support. Hope we didn't let you down.
Back to you, Rich.
I think that, yeah, you can definitely say that you can be proud of what happened there. It shook an entire arena. I think people here right now definitely respecting everything that Mineski did, especially in a series like that, going up against one of the favorites in the tournament.